Wow.
Well, that's not bad.
We weren't recording. I pushed it earlier and it fucking popped up and had that red button.
I'm against
Sorry.
the idea just
sorry.
for the proliferation of the adventure. I'd rather see everyone engage instead of the item itself. I'm slipping into player here.
That's good.
That would then be kind of just like bringing along a non-player character that takes care of the business. I'm against the.
Isn't it nice to have a non-player character take
Give
care of
everyone a
business?
little thing.
Yeah, rather than have everything evolve around a specific item that would cure everything at once.
Take away
If that's what the adventure is, we poo-poo it anyway.
Well, if you went with like 2 magic items, they wouldn't necessarily cure your adventure, but, you know, cure the problem, but yeah.
Yes, I was
understand.
reading much into Dennis's exposition.
Yeah, he doesn't get to choose what they are. So
Voting is a great idea.
Well, then, let's do it.
Let's
So what do you want to do?
try.
Voting for what?
That's what we want to vote. I think the first vote should be,
What are we voting?
take the magic items, or let us teleport. That should be our first vote.
Agreed.
Yeah, so what do you want to do, teleport or?
Listen, I was already past this, I had them both at the
I don't think he was agreeing to that.
Well, the way you put it.
I do think that first we need a motion to have a vote.
Is that motion enough here?
Your motion doesn't appeal to me, honey.
Well, I guess we need to appoint a sergeant at arms to enforce Robert's Rules of Order. Is that right? Okay.
I have none.
Who wants
You
to
have
take
no
the
Robert's
magic
Rules of
items?
Order? Well, all right.
Magic items?
All we're going to do is by a show of hands?
I think that's a great idea. Magic items.
Sure.
Okay, these
We're
are.
voting now.
We're voting on who wants to take the magic
I
item.
want to sleep
I can
over
tell you
the
which.
Okay, we
items.
understand that. But we have a majority that would like to do the magic item. Very good.
Okay.
That doesn't mean anything
Now,
right
you
now.
can choose not to take a magic.
Yes, it does mean, so that means we're going overland.
Yeah, so you're going overland.
Yes, good.
Okay.
Well, apparently the motion has been made and approved.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
Did we ever ask whether we can keep these
They can
things?
be fun.
Oh no, what could
Okay.
keep them?
Lose them.
Now, you guys want
Like
to,
something else.
are you guys looking for smaller magic
Oh, you're
items
the big one, you're
for each
fine.
person? Or are there some people objective to magic items in general and you rather just have 2 for the
Can we
party?
find out what they are?
2 for the party? Or
Can we find out what the 2 for the party are?
yes, if you'd like.
Oh, after 40 years.
The Orb of Dragonkind and the Rod of 7 Parts.
Wouldn't that be one?
Yeah, you have to put it together.
That is just not happening. That would be wonderful.
Oh, you got the first and the second. Everyone's
So King, what are the 2 magic items?
All right, the king
Or
goes to
multiple.
consult with his sage to find out what he has planned on giving you guys, since you guys are looking for just 2 higher powered items.
Well, we want to
We
know
just
what
want
they
the
are.
choice, but we want to know what they are.
Well, he's gonna go see what 2 items he's gonna.
Okay, good, yes,
Does
okay.
the King Sage look like Gene Wells? Never mind.
No. He has a short, trim, gray
She wrote
beard,
Sage
you
advice
know,
for them.
nice trim, gray beard, older guy, looks like he's 60, you know.
Great, yeah. It's not a good
That
thing.
sounds like.
Not a good thing. You know, dresses in leather breeches and a silk shirt.
And the 2 items are
One of them is a wand,
a wand of,
fireballs.
Ooh, I like it.
not if it only has 1 charge.
It's still one fireball we don't have.
What is that? How many charges?
It's one more than we went in on.
17
Holy
charges.
crap balls.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it uses 16 for fireballs.
And the
That
other,
just lights your stogie.
and
We're
the
able to
other,
track our party by the cinder it leaves in it.
The other is
Which way they go? You see that
The other is a
fire on
bastard
the right?
sword?
There they are.
it's a Vorpal bastard sword,
Wow.
+3.
I hope it's a holy horrible bastard sword.
It's a regular.
Is it a lawful horrible bastard
It
sword?
doesn't have no alignment, it's not intelligence.
It's not intelligent.
I have no problem giving that to our paladin if
Oh,
I
what
take
is it?
it.
Excuse me.
That's bastard sword +3.
We have a
Body
paladin?
parts.
We have a paladin over here.
What is it?
Wait, oh.
It's
This is
a,
Warrior paladin?
Oh.
Fighter.
We're paladin.
pretty much any
Seems to
fighter.
me, the paladin has
Goody
abilities of his own
two-shoes.
already.
Screwing up everybody's life.
And that should be.
And you didn't have to
someone
so.
that really
Yeah.
needs it. Someone like me.
I didn't like magic.
You hate monks too, there's no one.
I fear magic.
No.
And that is why I need this sword.
Of course.
If it tries
Oh,
to get
Are
me.
you kidding? That's my first
Okay,
character
so-
in 74. That's first
Do we want that, or do we want a little
First
something
character
for
I had, a
everybody?
dwarf fighter.
I know.
What are the little somethings
Yep.
for everybody?
The little somethings for everybody.
And you got a
little
nice
somethings
track of
for
land you
everybody.
never.
You'll have to tell the
never
mage.
Retired to.
You'll have to tell the
Save
mage
your back.
what you are,
Going
as in
overland
your
again.
character, like, I'm not gonna remember.
Someday I'll find it.
Elf, and
Yeah.
he will pull something from his
He gets over the
Little
next
bag
hill.
of tricks.
little bag of tricks. It could be
It's only
something as
40
simple
years
as,
old.
it could be something as
Yeah,
simple as a
I'm
scroll,
retired. I got the
or it could be
birthmark.
something as simple
I
as
get it.
a ring or something like, could even be a wand, but it may be a low end wand.
17 charge wand or fireballs is pretty good.
Yeah, let's go with those. Does it also say?
It says satisfy your.
So to whom do we entrust this?
Your magical
wondrous
inclination.
rod?
Anybody who
Surely
can
not
use
one
it.
of them.
I can.
There we go. I'd be happy to throw it at you.
Well,
As
there's
much as I can.
two guys, you can use it also.
There is a, what, me, I'm
He's a
not a
magic
magic user.
I'm not.
He's a thief?
No.
I'm a crossbow user as well. I'm a crossbow user as well, but I'll be glad to handle that for the good of the party.
I'm good with Tim having the wand. Anybody else?
Unless we're going into
already
a
got
place
the
that's
lightning.
all 5 by 5
He
by
does?
5 foot rooms.
So that means we can't
Fireballs
cross.
are gonna be.
I certainly threatened you with a lightning bolt, didn't I?
Okay, so we're gonna go with the two large items then versus the little small ones?
No, of course not. No, I'm just a simple cleric.
I'm just
with
a
the
Yeah,
ability-
yeah, they're all in denial here.
Everyone
We
who
start
wants
torturing
something
the
for
party members
themselves,
tonight.
raise
Does
their
everybody
hand.
want something for themselves versus just the two items?
Yes, if you want a little something for yourself.
Instead of just the two items, anybody?
It doesn't
pulling
look
their
like we
out?
have a
Come
quorum.
on, little something for yourself.
There's just three.
There's only three. that are trying.
Everyone gets something.
No.
God says I don't need sectarian.
There.
Yeah, really.
No.
I am abstaining because whatever direction I've gone, it's gone backwards. So if I go backwards when I'm abstaining, I stay in place.
On this.
You're taking the wand of fireballs?
Temporarily.
Yes.
Alright, who's taking the bolt of sword?
Okay, we have that sword to figure out.
Who's getting the sword?
Who's getting the sword?
Who belongs to
For any fighters at the moment?
There's a fighter
She's
here.
a half-orc fighter, I believe. Aren't you? Aren't you?
You're a half orc.
That's a half-orc fighter.
Yeah, or
There's a paladin, dwarf paladin, and there's.
Deciding
What's
who
the
has it.
other half?
I think
That would be
you're, you're a human, right?
I'm a human.
We have a human fighter, we have a dwarf paladin, we have a half-orc fighter.
I nominate the paladin for the weapon because paladins are easily duped and controlled.
I don't make a half orc.
Not if you're telling.
I think a half orc would be good at
Okay,
slicing.
I nominate the half orc too because she's cute.
Slicing off limbs is a half orc's business. I think.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Okay, the half-orc's getting the sword.
Okay, she's got a +3.
+3 Vorpal bastard sword. That is.
Plus 3 for
Very good.
Yeah.
So if you run into any more bastards,
It's a +2 bastard sword, and you have a chance to cut off the head. Vorpal gets a chance to cut off the head on a 19.
You may not make it.
If you want a 19, you're attacking, cut their head off. Oops. +3 sword up to hitting damage. And that's considered powerful magic weapon.
That's cool.
Who else is evil in this group?
You are the only one.
No one would get to that. No one is. What is that? A pole?
He's evil all against me.
Everybody else is neutrally good.
We don't really
I
talk
don't
about
know.
you.
I
We
like
talk
that.
about paladin.
Here, buzz off, Mr. Inquisitor.
I'll still bring it in and stuff, collecting
Did you
it.
steal that sausage?
Alright, so you guys got,
We're ready to mount the horses and ride away.
y'all get your good night's sleep, get your spells ready, next morning take off across country. Huh?
Get any drinks?
They're just there, right here, they're not here.
What do we
Real
got?
drinks.
Whatever you brought. I don't know if you just brought water or free drinks. I don't know.
We're all drinking straight vodka.
There we go.
If you want some other water, he's got some stuff upstairs to bring down, he says. It's what, 8 proof?
You'll burst 8 proof water.
You better talk more, I'm gonna tell you dead.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is your one chance to play with a bunch of the big guys.
Yeah, I know, I'm sick.
He said you're really good, so I'm gonna see some stuff here, okay?
Not just.
You have to wait till someone
Sword, you
has
can
it.
see lots of stuff.
She wishes to wait for the action to start.
She's ready for the action. Hey, I didn't care which way y'all went about it, because it can be funny.
I'm meaningful.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're going overland.
Yep, we're about to leave.
Yeah, so glad.
Everybody's packing up to down in the morning, y'all just going on horses, anybody taking wagons, anything else?
I always ride a griffin. That's not a problem, is it, Doug?
No, Jack,
Those are good.
Is that the name of your horse? Put it on a cart.
Funnier than me on that.
I like it.
Is that the name of my horse? Great.
No, it's the statue.
I just went from an 8-ton griffin to a 200-pound horse, thank you very much.
Grouse, I don't wanna see.
I'm on a pony, so.
Grouse, I don't want to see any more holes in the tail end of your horse.
Yeah.
I know you have that habit with the dagger of as you're riding along, just chopping away. And I don't need to be using any more cure lights to
Why
fix
would
your
he
mouth.
admit to his life? Why would
Now, you guys, one thing you don't have on your sheet,
Proud of
one thing you do not have on your sheet is your character names. You said you want to name your character, so you refer to by name, you're more than welcome to name it, whatever.
Isn't my character
Crocs.
James M. Moore?
There you go. Yes, Jim Ward, that's your character.
That's my
You're more
character.
than welcome to name your character, so.
Yeah.
I didn't do that for you.
I
Draw
like that. Do you have any more of these cards? I wanna do it, Frank, and.
What are you talking about?
I have a piece of paper left over.
What kind of cards are this?
No, Frank has millions of cards.
Excellent.
You'll be glad.
Oh, these right here, some of these.
This'll work.
It's
Yeah,
not
there
as
you go.
good as Frank's.
I only have one.
It's
No,
okay,
no, no, no.
because I can use this one and another person if they want to use Frank's.
Yeah, there we go.
Uh,
All right. So I'm gonna ride out of town, across country.
I have a whole pad of these that just a little paper will do.
At the countryside, where you're at, it's kind of low rolling hills, nothing high. You see the mountains off in the distance. I mean, they're a good 2.5 days away at least.
okay.
You're gonna make a beeline, follow the roads. You
We
go
wanna
across
do it-
country.
We
or
want
you
to do it
take
the
the
most
roads?
difficult way possible, Doug.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right.
straight up.
Please, and we went with like an encounter in the morning
I'm
and at lunch.
I'm telling you though, it's rolling hills, so you can choose to go across country, so you can choose versus stay on
Well,
the
first
road.
we have to plan out our party order as we're.
Yeah, you have to let me know, so that's
Can we
know
all
how you're headed.
go in a circle and do
Never
it?
decide what happens.
Are we all on horses?
It's a wagon train, we're a party.
Who wants to be in front?
I do.
Do caracol.
Who's in charge?
Yeah.
I am.
Who's in charge?
That could be difficult. Rex, one of the
Where's that even think he's?
You're gonna ride at 6 o'clock, call them twos, call them
Who else do we
threes,
have
nine
as
abreast,
big and powerful?
you know.
You?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, if it means I can be in charge, yes.
Like a
We'll
good
let you
leader,
think that, no
would-
problem.
as with most leaders, would you like to be in the rear?
Don't answer.
It's a trick question.
In that position, you would be trusted with guarding not only the
Yes.
party rear, but both flanks, having the best point of view. Whereas
course.
the paladin up front is looking ahead at the future.
Always thought that was just guarding his own.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay? Huh? No.
okay, and then all the rest of us in the middle, right?
Now, that's my question. Are we gonna ride in single
The center
file?
target.
Are we riding 2 abreast? Are we gonna ride 9 abreast? You know, how are we riding across country here? Like the Magnificent Seven?
So why are we assuming a dungeon order for an outdoor adventure when we should
Yeah.
have a point scout?
Well, that's
It's
up to
called
you.
the paladin.
However you want to
The
do it.
paladin's out front, how far?
You want a point scout
I'm
out
just
there?
not
acting on
the
it?
party.
Now,
I didn't
if
say
we
half mile ahead.
If we all have long
saying
black
you didn't let me know how
coats,
far
then
ahead
we
you want
should
to be.
ride 9 across.
That's right, so don't fill in the blank.
I'm not, I'm asking.
Alright. I wanna know
asking
who the
for
point
us.
scout is first.
It's the paladin.
I'd say roughly 3
What kind of
across.
armor, what kind of armor are you in?
I understand he's
Plate
sneaky.
armor. A point scout in plate armor. And do you have your helmet off? Cause you're gonna about see this far. Okay? Great, I guess I'll be a point scout with I'm wearing chainmail.
Okay, so Rob's gonna be up here. So you're taking
Well,
one,
yeah, and instead of an armored guy going, I think
Hey, Rob,
So Paladin here in front of the main group is the advanced scout. Most of us are behind the Paladin, roughly 3 across.
roughly 3 crosses?
Roughly. It's not changed down there as
Just
the
gotta mix.
outdoor
There you
terrain.
go.
right.
You got
I'm
it.
in the middle between the 2 tallest
And
people
you're
in the
bringing up the
room.
rear.
Whereas Kraus will be in the
By the
rear,
way,
watching
Doug.
flanks and rear.
How far out in front are you gonna be?
Driving the rest of the.
Can I finish my sentence before you edit?
Yes, I haven't had it.
Okay, before we leave, I wanna make a selection of one of the faster horses there, cause I know it's gonna.
The king, hey, you're choosing from the king's stable, so.
You can
you
have
ask
an
them.
Arabian
If you ask the stable hands, they'll tell you
You
who's.
stop playing the puppet master.
They'll tell you. The stable boys will tell you who's what, you know.
Horse
I
mount.
don't need it.
Oh, your horse. You can have the best horse.
And I'm talking to you.
I'm just saying, so you decide what horse you
He's
want.
not even rolling, this is
I don't need
big
to roll.
archery.
Okay, right, okay, select a very fast
Fast
horse.
horse, okay, Rob?
And I'm only wearing chain, by the way.
Sure.
Okay,
Gotcha.
and I'm gonna secure down anything that jingles or jangles or does other stupid tunes.
I got you.
Can I have a
But my question is, how far out of
Pardon
advance
me?
are you?
Bonnie.
Well, I'm a professional on a horse.
My profession? Are you
Split my
coming up
life
to me
apart.
and speaking to me, Crumbs? Because we've not been introduced. So if you wish to catch up with me, I'm at the point.
Yeah.
I need to know who's in my command.
There we
You know,
go.
Not me.
Line up,
How about that? That
line up
disproves me.
now.
Okay?
No?
Rob,
That's my
I've
responsibility.
never seen such a motley crew of third and fifth level player characters in my life.
It's kind of like colonial
Oh, really?
militia.
Singers.
If you give us good ideas and we like them, we'll do it, just like colonial militia.
Yeah.
If you don't, we're going home and pick corn.
Well, if we don't like the ideas of the leaders, we kill them.
Well, they are like to do it. Yeah, that's what
Master Rob,
I'm going Germanic.
Okay.
Master Rob, how far out ahead of the group do you want to be on point? How far ahead out?
It depends upon the terrain. I'm gonna vary it up according to terrain, so.
Okay,
Starting out, what am I seeing ahead of me?
you're about to leave town, so right now it's just the, you're just
Well,
outside.
I'm not point if we're in civilized area.
You're just exiting
You
the
know, it'd be
town.
like the Butch Cassidy and Sundance scene where they're going down the hill for the gold.
Are you guys-
Rob is coming up.
Are you going across country or down the road? Have you decided?
Let me ask you something. How far out do we get in the wilderness where there's gonna be the point?
Well, I don't know what you consider when you do that.
I just specified.
You said how far out in the wilderness do you need a point man?
No, I said,
Okay.
how far to the wilderness when we need a point man? We're in civilization. I step outside the castle door, we got woods before some bandits?
No,
Come on.
no, look, again, the description is, these are rolling hills, so it's plains, tall grass, spotted trees here and there, there's no forest yet.
Do they protect their own lands here, or are we
Oh, yes.
protecting them for
Yes,
them?
no, they
Okay.
So you're headed out across the rolling hills and.
To be clear, the dwarf is going straight down the road.
Where do we get the demarcation point to the point where it becomes, where the guards start watching? I asked parties. How far out you guys patrol to the point where you get to the?
They patrol about a mile outside the city, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
This is a kingdom, huh?
Yep, mile
Right,
outside.
it's a very small kingdom.
Wait a minute, going. That's,
I say we just sack this place and be done with it.
now we sound like the nuts at the dinner table.
I say we just
20 miles across.
These guys are idiots.
Yeah,
Okay.
the city can be 20 miles across, they only patrol about a
They
mile.
have a kingdom, they can't patrol a mile outside the border.
What I'm asking,
Pretending anyway.
what I'm asking is, you're gonna be 50 yards or 200 yards ahead of the party once you get out there in the wilderness or on the road,
Don't think you heard that one.
you know?
What?
You wanna be 50 miles ahead, or
50 yards or
ahead?
250 yards ahead of them on the road or in the wilderness.
As I said earlier, it will depend upon the terrain.
Correct.
How far I'm out. Okay, so you're gonna have to specify the terrain as we're going along, and I'll tell you how far I either.
Currently, the terrain is
Okay.
rolling hills.
Yeah.
And it's
Now
grass,
I'm going
not
to
tall.
elucidate again, so when we get outside about the mile that they patrol, I'm gonna start extending my range from about 50 yards out to 100.
Okay, 50 to 100 yards. Okay, now this is rolling hills,
You flail
grass
in
about
front
this
of the
tall.
tank, you're gonna
On
set up
occasion,
lines.
there's a clump of trees
And I'll
here and
give
there.
you the roving pattern I go in.
There's no heavy forest or anywhere that you see at the moment, it's just the rolling hills. Are you guys gonna be on the road or in the grass?
Road.
Okay, you guys are following the roads, that's fine. I just need to know if we're on the road.
I'm
Okay.
patrolling Strider roads and I cross occasionally in this kind of pattern.
Okay,
In I double back a little
Doing
bit,
that for
get
us.
the flanks up
Who's
front.
this man?
So it's gonna be, the pattern's gonna be kind of like this and.
You won't even talk to me.
The king hired her.
So if these imbecilic people see on the road.
I think it's a
okay.
Now, I would suggest that, who's bringing up the rear?
That would be me.
How far are
It's
you
been
off
established.
the closest person? Then,
I haven't got to him yet, how far are you gonna follow behind?
10 feet.
10 feet.
a whole 10 feet, that'll give you a great warning for an attack. Okay,
Some people are just
oh,
that
by the
good.
way, here they come.
We represent the king.
No one will attack us on this. I'm gonna be all.
Oh, now, hey, Mr. Paladin, that brings a good point, you are representing the king, do you happen to wanna what? Carry a flag with the king's symbol on it or something?
Yeah, be a target.
You know,
Be a target. We're not there. Listen, bro.
that's it. Dennis,
I am.
left side of the grass. Everybody else road.
Oh my God, so we have no protection in the rear in case
What are
we're.
you talking about?
He's the
Kraus wants to kill them all.
Yes, we have him.
No,
I
we have
trust.
no, we have warning
That
that needs to
evil
be invested
character.
because we're in the hills, we're already dealing with the attack. What I'm saying is we need maybe some warning.
And I have that for you.
Ah,
I have my horse kettle drums, and as we get past the mile marker, I start going bumbity bumbity bum, bumbity bumbity bum. And so, don't worry.
besides putting in my earplug,
Excellent.
Bumbity bumbity
and setting up a stand, the band was like your
Flip the stand.
roadside stand
Okay.
for the bandits to purchase your pet.
So is that your warning? Is that what that is, your warning drum?
Exactly.
Okay.
You're drawing them in. Let the bandits come to us.
No, I'm drawing the bumbity bumbity bum.
Bumpity, bumpity, bumpity.
Okay, well, while y'all headed down the road doing the bumbly bum.
Yeah. I do it a little better than that, right?
This is his own bump.
On occasion, as you're riding during the first day, as you're riding down the road away from the castle, you really don't encounter anything, but on occasion, possibly another traveler on his horse coming this way, kind of giving you an odd look for the bumbity.
I can understand that.
And every once in a while, you spot someone, one or two people, like they might have a campfire out near one of the clumps of trees you see off the road, a few hundred yards or something, and they're all kind of standing up to look at the sound of what the hell?
Bumbity bum.
Who's the bumbity bum? Yeah, you get some odd looks from people throughout the day, but
Surprise.
Lupus ignores it.
On my way, I see me carrying the king's banner.
are you gonna carry the banner then?
Absolutely.
Okay, you got the king's banner, okay. So we got the bumbity bum and a king's banner. At the end of the first day, you have, it's dark, sun's
See
going
how
down.
good it's gone?
So it's going, you haven't encountered anything yet.
And when we get to the first town,
First night, Kevin, there comes the king.
You're gonna go collect taxes, okay?
Excuse me.
That's a wonderful
Are
idea.
you a duly appointed tax collector?
Just say yes.
Of course.
I'm a irregular.
Let's
Anybody
see
has
your
a question?
paper.
Papers.
Yeah, okay, now y'all are gonna, what, just wanna camp out here side of the road?
I'll stop drumming at sunset.
Okay, stop from sunset. Now, you do notice that there is a small village not too far ahead, maybe another hour ride as the sun comes down.
Oh, wow.
So you can either camp outside of town, or you could go to town if you like. That's your
Great
choice.
visibility.
By the way, when Jim stops drumming, I give
Clear
him a
air,
copper.
no impact.
Okay.
Is this one of the towns that have been hit by bandits?
You'd have to go.
Thanks.
I think it'd be a good idea to go and talk.
An hour in the dark.
Not during the
Out
other
there,
part.
just
Say
another hour walk.
It's another hour ride on horses. I mean, you can pick it up. I'm assuming you're just kind of trotting horses along.
Of course, we
You're
can
riding
answer
hard.
the questions in the morning
When they're sleepy.
It's just up to you. But you're another hour ride at your current pace and just.
We might
just
get
trot
confused
gets you
as
there.
bandits. I could start drumming again if I really had to.
I have hay fever. The town would be better for my sinus.
But a whole hour walking in the dark?
I told you, pal.
That's what sports is for.
Stay here.
You don't Griffin? No, let's stay here.
I just want to camp out here.
Can't for the.
Hours, let alone.
Oh,
That's right. Tim, we now have a new character of Holland.
Where you're stopped at the road, okay, you're kind of at a high point in the road, so you can kind of see down off behind you, down the hills, a mile or so. You can see the town out ahead, another, hour away, you can see the town. Little dotted lights and smoke in the sky.
So we're traveling at night.
Well, no, it's sunset, and they're thinking about stopping. I'm just telling you what you see at your point, where if you want to stop here, this is where you're
How
at, making a
far
decision.
away is this village?
It's an hour.
Okay, I'm going to skirt away from the party. I'd say I'll be back. I'm going to investigate the village to see what's up there. Maybe we'll. Okay, so I'm going to come in roundabout.
So y'all are
into the
gonna,
village.
well, I'm trying to find out if they
Well-
want to stop and wait the hour, or they want to go the hour.
Oh, okay.
They want
I
to.
thought you were there.
We're
Yeah,
heading
yeah.
towards the town.
There's-
It would
there's-
take at least an hour.
How about if we
We're gonna
continue but slower
Take at
while our
least an hour
scout
to set up camp.
advances and to see if there's anything, so
Yeah.
he'll be further out ahead of us, that's all.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a real close inspection of this, because
Okay.
usually we're good ambushes are set up. But I also wanna get in the city and tie my horse, somewhere, outside of it, and kind of walk in amongst the shadows and start listening to what's going on. Is there activity in the city?
Yeah, activity in the city.
How big
It's
is
not
town?
like, well, as you get into the town, you see, it's a decent sized town. It's probably 500-600 people most. So there's, there's buildings, there's,
Where's the activity center tonight?
there's tavern, there's, just odds and ends. Sometimes there's a party down there, one of the barns going on. There, you see people walking down the street, off in the distance, catch some silhouettes of people near their homes. Who knows what they're doing. Lights in some window stills, fireplace.
So it's
smoke.
pretty normal activity.
It's just like normal activity. Nobody's alarmed or anything. You're just a rider coming into town. Nobody's really paid any mind if
So
somebody's.
they haven't had, I take my horse outside of
Yeah.
town and I walk.
Yeah, walked in. I mean, nobody's paid you any mind as you walk through town. It's just been like a normal little town village. Nothing's happening. No alarm
So I
bells.
check it out and.
There's no guards
and
at
then
the
I go-
town that stop.
There's no guards, and I go back and rejoin the party.
Okay.
While our scout is missing, I'll point out that if we were to raid the place as if we were bandits, it might piss off the real bandits, and then they would come out to investigate.
Or the angry villager rule might be,
Yeah, pitchfork on our butt.
and then we hear
Yeah,
about
we
the
got
traffic
fireballs.
Yeah, listen to him.
overland, and each village would then be forewarned.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, let's run it. Glupus, you wanna vote again, Council?
I didn't want to vote the first time.
Oh, okay, that means no.
I don't know if
Okay.
the local
Lupus.
town's gonna allow the burning of the village, but hey, I'll let him deal with that.
Your sense of humor,
Alan.
of course, there.
You can't even handle the hollow, let alone a decision, who cares? Okay.
Are we riding towards the town?
Yes.
Y'all been moving there slowly since he took off, and if he's gonna come back,
We've
Well,
just been
we're-
waiting to get the report.
by the time he gets back for the report, you're probably another 15 minutes
It
out of
seems
town.
like normal activity.
He did his thing, came back, he's, Mr. Fast Horse, he got maybe 10, 15 minutes to town at this point. So I decided to stop here and move on into town.
Do we recognize him as he's returning, or should we open fire?
Do we have anybody that's,
Oh, I'd imagine we did put in some
provision?
hands.
Who's the elf? Who's the elf?
We didn't say that before you left, now, did we?
Half elves, orcs, okay, well,
Well, you can shoot
recognize-
everyone who's coming down the road, you know.
That's one way to find the bandits. Eventually.
Oh, you're not a bandit?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I got one
Just
eventually.
give him the bandit.
So you're gonna come into town, or you gonna
Believe it
be
or
right
not.
into town? Where y'all headed to?
Okay,
Staples,
I
Tavern?
refuse to be
Hotel.
taken for a bandit, so I have to begin. Bumbity, bumbity, bum. Bumbity, bumbity, bum.
Okay, so you're about
Here
2
we
minutes
come, bumbity, bum.
It should be
2 minutes out of town, he starts to bum your bum.
Exactly.
Okay, he starts to bum your bum.
Telephone.
Telephone
Suddenly,
ring.
the paladin's phone rings.
Yeah, right.
Noise
Hello?
complaint.
Yes.
Boy, it's more noise than being under a descending flight path at DFL.
Well, since they should have been on my server in the first place, and I'm in the middle of running something, so I can't take care of it. Call David.
Didn't like to hear that, obviously.
Yeah.
One of my texts, but anyway.
Those texts.
Yeah, one of those texts, I can't take care of the job. All right, where was I?
So we're drumming into town.
Oh, you're drumming into town, that's right. You're drumming into town, and of course, when you start to drum into town, the town changes a tad there, because the drumming's unexpected, obviously. And now you see a little more activity, some doors opening, windows, people coming in the streets, like, what the hell's going on?
What's the marvelous?
Oh, it's dark, yeah, you see people
Is it the certain
You see
star?
the silhouettes of people coming outdoors, trying to figure out what's going on.
Ah, those drum fans.
Mr. Bumbity Bum here coming up, now it's not so loud with them at the moment, but you can hear them. I mean, it's a crystal clear night, you can hear the drums for a distance, obviously.
Long way.
So as you approach the edge of town, there's people standing everywhere trying to figure out what's going on.
Going ooh and ah.
Yeah.
No, I think they're throwing.
They're not doing it on because they see the banner, okay? There's
Yeah.
firelight people out there with torches now,
Banner.
lanterns. They can see the banner that he's toting, so they know it's the King's Men. They have no clue why you're there, know what's going on. Everybody's chit-chat.
We're gonna take taxes.
in charge here, right?
Well, you're not even to the cave,
Oh, we're
you're still
heading
to it,
towards
a day
it.
and a half away, yeah.
Yeah.
This
we're days away.
village is a lot closer.
We're
to
days
the cave
away,
than-
we're days away of
Right,
bumpity,
so-
Yeah,
bumpity, bumpity.
yeah. It's a day and a half from the cave.
All right.
You're a day out from the.
They're aware of the bandits' danger.
They've heard that, yeah, they haven't ever been hit, but if you
haven't
ask
been hit
around,
yet, but
they haven't been hit. It's, most of that's happening closer to the cave. Seems like the bandits come out, do the raid at night and return, so it's, it's pretty close, most of the raids. Not more than probably a few hours right away, so you're probably not gonna hit, that's some of the stories you get. You're probably not gonna hit the villages that have been hit unless they're a little bit closer to the cave.
Who's in charge here?
Well, that would be the mayor. Somebody's already sent to go get the mayor, goes on the other side of town. He'll be here shortly.
Kinda busy
Who are you
for some
guys?
reason.
What's going on?
Good. Tax collectors.
What's
that idea?
At this hour?
Secret tax collection.
So, I mean,
Good idea.
you know, you stop and talk to people in the street, you're gonna head to the building.
We're here, we're here to take care of the bandit problem.
Oh, the bandit
South.
problem, we've heard about that.
Who we are.
So y'all are on the way to head to the bandit problem. Oh, well,
Take care of that.
Oh, yeah, there we
y'all
go.
gonna stay the night here? Y'all just coming through town? What's the?
Bumpity, bumpity, bump.
We'll be staying the night.
Oh, stay the night. We have two
It's
ends.
more like a traveling.
Main Street,
troop
two
of,
ends at the end of the street.
drunk
They're
lyrics.
right across the street from each other.
Which is the nicer inn?
The nice one's on the right. Yeah, the nicer, the Black Dragon Inn is on the left, the Red Boar Inn's on the right, the Red Boar Inn's the more expensive inn.
Okay, when he says nicer, he doesn't mean, you know, really quality, like this hotel. He means,
Okay.
the people have to be sweet for him to go.
You're not talking about nice, like, you know, like fancy.
Yeah, he's not talking fancy, he's talking pleasant people.
Pleasant people, you got the same kind of people run both.
Oh, that's just.
In order to get some sleep, I
Excellent.
go to the stables.
You go to the stables, that's fine.
Well, which of the two inns do we want to commandeer?
You can obviously try that, he's got the King's Banner, so you know,
Yeah.
no reason why you couldn't get a free night possibly.
Well, I hear if you say the magic room, Doug Ray, and write it on your tab, it's all free.
There we go.
Happy pink badge.
We should go to the
I
board.
think that's a mage spell, the ray,
Yeah.
ray of Duck.
Ray of Doug.
Horse
So you're gonna go to the Red Boar Inn?
No,
Yeah.
such things. Wait a minute, do you drink?
No, but he wants us over those drinks.
Everyone's drink.
Rouse likes that.
Come on.
He just likes questions. I want to ask you about that.
So you're gonna ride up to, now you're gonna ride up the stables, the stables are just like a block past the inn, so you're about a block past the inn and stables,
Ah, yeah.
okay?
Oh, he's safe
He's-
on the
he's
Are
real guy.
they combination stables for both ends? Are they public stables or?
The stable you're at's just a public stable, you can check your horse in, you wanna sleep in the hay, whatever, they don't care. The inn has their own set of stables, so unless you wanna stay in the inn.
Where are they staying?
We're
Well, I haven't
the
decided,
board.
Red
Red
Boar.
Boar.
They're going to Red Boar Inn, the nice place, on the right. And when you get there, it's a nice place, guys.
That's why I got this.
It's a
You wanna
nice
stay in those
place.
stables?
All right.
Okay, so you come out there, guys, a couple guys meet you out front, start offering to take the horses around back, put them in the stables for you, rub them down your horses, whatever.
Of course.
You know,
Do
what
they
would you
work
like
there?
Yes, they all work, they actually wear little, like,
I will
uniforms.
check to make sure the people who want our horses
They have like these
actually work for the
rust-colored
stable.
shirts, these little rust-colored
I've
shirts.
been taken in this way before.
Oh,
Once I was I'd eaten my horse.
No, they look like, they appear to work there.
Alright.
Okay, because they're all wearing the same little uniform, they all got little red, little
Isn't
rust
that
colored
cute?
shirts with little black
It don't
collars.
matter because I'm
That's
staying.
beautifully red
up in the hay.
Yeah, they'll come in and they're gonna ask you, hey, you know, do you have any special requests your horse, oats versus hay versus whatever,
There we
you know,
go.
things like that. And they'll take the horse around back, start to rub them down. If you were to follow them around, they're just in the stable doing their job.
We should ask around to see if anybody at this inn is from the area we're headed to. Maybe they can tell us something useful.
Wow, that's a good
They'll
idea.
check you around, how many
The best
rooms you
I
guys
can do
want.
that so
How many
far.
rooms you guys want?
You win a quack.
Well, I naturally.
Everybody wants a room,
because
or
I have to
y'all
do
share
my drumming.
rooms, or?
I have to practice it every night.
I'll just find a nice quiet spot near the fireplace.
Oh, you're hanging out, are you hanging out in the little
Yeah.
bar area downstairs?
No, I don't take up much
Little
floor
common area?
space, yeah.
I'll get my own room.
Okay,
And I
separate room.
carefully place my loaded crossbow on my
What
knees.
sort of,
Cocked.
outside
Just so nothing will get screwed. Why do I make?
Now you're asking the people in the inn?
No, I'm asking our people.
Oh, okay.
Watch schedule?
I'm not even in.
Surely we don't need
I'm
that.
watching the horses.
Can't we just go to sleep and not worry about that?
No, the thief is right.
He's not a thief. He's not a thief.
And you're not in trouble.
A good boy.
Go
Mayor.
The exceedingly lawful cleric volunteers to share a room with you if you wish, but only if you wish, just to alleviate financial concerns.
Oh, like that.
Very wise.
Isn't the king paying for everything?
Yeah, I know we come and get this thing.
I don't know how y'all are playing I don't know how you're playing the banner yet, so I don't know, you know.
Oh, no, right, I use the leaf for my pollination.
Before I go to bed, though, I'm going to be checking in over at the stables.
See how he's
With our
doing?
Scout.
Yeah, Scott's making himself at home there in the stables,
Okay.
wherever it is he's in.
Now, everybody is
I
noticed.
bury,
loft.
I'm right near the edge, and I bury myself under the hay.
There you go.
Everybody has noticed, I'm sure, that a nearly defenseless,
Camouflage.
lower level major dangerous mage is all by himself and hiding out in the the stables and we could burn it down and get rid of it.
They have the horses.
He's not a mage, he's our scout.
Besides that, are you a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout?
You should have asked me beforehand.
What do you look like?
I look like something with a bunch of hay on top of it. Are you there?
There we
No,
go.
but I traveled with you for the last day. Do you look male or female?
Mostly you saw his
My name
butt,
is
he was out
Lupus.
ahead of us.
Lupus.
Lupus.
So you're
just like the disease.
That doesn't end
Well, I
well.
think he probably was thinking of.
All right, so you guys-
I will
Over in
take,
the stables?
I will take the midnight to 4 a.m. watch.
What a
I'm
good
not
guy.
taking a shit.
You're not taking a shift, right?
But I have something to do before I
You're
go
gonna do
to
some
bed.
watches, yeah, now this is, and I remember, the sun just went down about an hour ago, hour and 2 hours ago
Yeah.
maybe. So it's not that late at night, it's, it's probably a couple hours till midnight, something like that.
So I'll take a couple hours in the afternoon.
Okay.
What a good guy you
Where
are.
do you come
I
up
hope,
with this
I hope
thing? Burn it
my
down?
drumming down in the hall doesn't disturb your nap. Bumpity, bumpity, bum.
Okay, if you're actually gonna start bumping bump in the hotel, so
Yeah,
I'll be up to the room shortly to ask you to please cut out.
I thought I'd do it for the folk down in the
You're
hall.
disturbing the rest
In
of
the
the.
background.
Really? They don't enjoy the music?
No. We need you to please.
Nor the half-hearted attempts at making music.
Yeah.
Neither of them.
Do we get an answer to our question about whether any of the patrons
Hey, Bernard.
of the
You'll need
inn-
to-
I just wanna get your room situated, and then from there, I guess you can go downstairs.
Come up and talk to
area
me.
and ask around.
And walk around in a threatening manner and my hand on the hilt of my sword, questioning
As
patrons.
soon as I get you in my grasp, you're not
Okay,
gonna get away.
throw a couple questions out so I can hear them. I gotta see how people are gonna react.
What compass direction is the band from?
North.
Has anyone,
You guys been in the north?
has anyone here traveled recently from the north?
Nobody in the room.
You.
Nobody's-
Timid looking old man.
I will if you want.
We came from Wisconsin. Did that count?
Okay,
That's metagaming, don't do that, Frank.
did you take the banner upstairs with you to your room, or did you leave it down there?
I'm not gonna carry it over my shoulder.
No, what I'm asking is, did you lean it against the wall and leave it in the common area, or did
So
you
it could
take
We
it
all
up?
saw it brought in and carried up.
Not necessarily. So that's
Some
not.
may have.
Okay, if it's in your
I'm not
room.
making
God, I
a
get
show.
it.
I got, okay, good. I got a roll, but I was determining whether it was in the room.
Presumably wearing some kind of livery.
No, you don't have anything else specifically from the king other than the bell.
Okay.
The saddles,
I'm
if
not
somebody
a
were
soldier.
to, if somebody were to inspect your saddles, they would find the king's emblem on the saddles, but there's
King's
no.
emblem, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't find anything like.
This is why.
Then they would take great big spy.
Okay.
Because we're gonna end up
You're
killing
asking,
each other.
now that you point out you, he's just a little afraid, he's just
I
kind
would have given that
Everyone-
closer there.
He's a little.
Here,
Over there, you
have
see it collapsing.
any recent news about the bandit?
Where do you have Frank?
Yeah, we've heard that they raided a village like 2 days ago.
Which village?
There's a village to the east of the cave. The east of the cave, yeah. There's a village to the east of the cave, I believe it's called Grolsch.
Ooh,
Like the beer.
That's a Dutch beer, yeah.
Dutch beer.
Lupus.
Grolsch, yeah. And we heard they raided there a couple nights ago, and they really burned the town pretty bad. Yeah,
That's
actually
just
burned it
wrong.
pretty bad.
Did the beer
Killed some
survive?
people. No, they burned in the past. They burned buildings and fields in the past.
They burned and killed.
Yeah, sometimes from what we understand, they create distractions. They might burn the field, get the people in other houses, then they come in, ransack the place. If anybody gets in their way, then they kill them.
Efficient.
It's just general. Okay.
Yeah.
What do they?
They take valuables. They steal stuff from the church, the gold, silver, anything people might have.
Oh, that's just wrong.
Yeah, they raid stuff. Sometimes they take
Yeah,
food, sometimes they take cattle, depends. They just steal whatever's needed to steal.
Just trying to.
But not too much at once. They don't. Yeah. It's not like they come in and take 600 head of cattle.
You
but
buy
they
me
might
an
steal
injection.
some,
People have
they just-
seen these bandits and survived, right?
Yes,
And they're, what are they, humans?
yes, they all seem to appear human. Yeah, nobody's ever noticed anything other than human. They haven't seen any like,
Half-orcs.
yeah, orcs or elves. or
pointy
anything.
ears.
Not to say there could be half elves among the group.
The pointy ears, I hope.
Come in, are they mounted or on foot?
Mounted.
Snaggly teeth.
They're mounted.
Say smooth.
The orcs and their spear.
They're always mounted.
Do you think you should talk to some of the local horses or other animals to see if they have insight into this matter?
I guess that's yes, I can talk to them.
Just wondered.
Go talk to some animals.
You hit the stables kind of
Yeah,
thing?
sure, horses are pretty
Yeah,
popular.
horses are good.
They
You're in the stable.
I never knew that.
You're in the stable asking, those type of questions. Or
Yeah,
inquiring.
to our
You
own
don't-
horses.
You don't,
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
Well, our other horses are from
Other
the,
horses.
from the
there's
kingdom.
other horses from some of the
Now,
other
wait a minute, well, if they're in a
patrons
short,
that might be there, but none of them really have any information on anything they're aware
could
of
be a horse.
related to the bandits. They're not,
That's what we're looking for,
Yeah, they're not-
information.
they don't have any feelings about it.
Well, unless there's a bandit scout in town right now that rode in one of those horses.
No, I'll be sure and hit all the horses that aren't our horses.
Also make sure that how their feet are when they're talking to them, How are your boots?
Are you there?
Yeah, he's in the hay. Remember, he's in the
Exactly.
hay. He's in the hay, remember?
That's right, I'm in the stable. I can talk to the horses all night long.
Is there?
yeah, can they understand?
Yeah, so there's nobody really has any new information
Oh,
other than
You're not there.
some 2 days ago. It's just what they heard here saying.
No, I'm
nothing.
not.
The 2 days ago raid is useful info.
Yeah, well, and if you were doing a little more inquiring, or if you previously had come and you find out that they only seem to raid every 2 to 3 weeks. It's not like it's a everyday raid.
And the latest one.
So it's 2 days ago,
No,
so
we're
it
not
could be 2 or
fooling.
3 weeks before they raid again.
Let's
How
go to the
far
cave.
is it to that town?
That town's probably another day and a half ride. So if you go that way versus go to the cave.
I say
same
go to the
distance.
town and get fresh information and maybe pick up some clues or a trail.
Yeah, if you ride that direction, you get there, you probably have another half day. Well, not, if you have about
Not that
6
far out
hours.
of the way.
Yeah, 5 hours to the
Sounds
cave
good.
in there. maybe.
Okay. So, when I'm out on patrol from midnight to 4 a.m., anything happen?
What's your patrol like? Just walking around the outside of the hotel, inside the hotel? What do
I
you
am
do?
trying to stay unobtrusive as possible.
But
Stay in
inside or
shadows-
outside?
Outside, oh,
Outside the hotel,
definitely
okay.
outside, around the outside of the town and all.
Yeah, no, if you're just patrolling around town, you don't really see, every now and then you'll catch somebody at night going somewhere, but they don't seem to be, you don't get the feeling that it's malicious. It's just somebody maybe going from point A to point B. It could be the scullery maid coming in the early morning to start her shift at 2 to do something, whatever it might be. It's not,
Anybody dropping earring in the gutter?
no, you don't know. Yeah, so it's uneventful, you guys, your shift, nothing happens, it's all uneventful. 4 o'clock comes around, I don't know how late y'all sleeping.
Well, before I went to bed,
I guess they call him Millie, all right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to
I
read
went out to the
that.
stable,
Okay,
as I said. In the
Yeah.
process, I encouraged
Millie
the
for
druid
short?
to chat with animals,
No, feather.
saving me a spell.
yeah.
Yes, I did.
And I also wanted to see if Lupus is okay up in the loft,
What a nice guy.
see if he's got anybody up there with him. Do you?
What?
He's not safe.
He's wondering if you had anybody else up there with you.
Are you up there with anybody?
He doesn't with and tell.
No.
I wanted to let you know, if you take off and leave the party, then we'll bring you up on charges of abandonment. So don't get too wild and crazy.
Go drink some more fucking wine.
We're being
We
recorded.
have kids and we're recorded too.
Or, excuse me,
Yes, we're live streaming and we're also being recorded.
go drink some more wine and shut up.
That's all right. Okay,
That's better.
I know you're a wild and crazy guy, but you gotta keep it together and behave a little better with the rest of us. All right, you got it?
Shall we kill him?
Erol.
Is he talking to Lucas?
I think so, yeah, he's talking to Gould.
I don't know.
I
what
told
you're-
you I was coming out to the barn.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sir Clark. Why don't you go and sleep some more?
There we go.
Well, you hear what I'm saying.
All right, so
You've been warned.
it's 4 a.m. I mean, I assume everybody's still sleeping fine, 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
The dwarf is out.
Between 5 and 6, you start, those who happen to sleep light will hear the rooster start to crow. You'll hear some bustling going down if you hear it downstairs in the kitchen area, pans,
No way.
stuff. I don't know if it's gonna wake anybody up. That's at 6, 6:30, 7 o'clock, you hear people up and down the hallways. They're starting to move about, I don't know what time they get up. That's without the morning starts to go.
Besides, I already yelled at
The
them
news we have about
stagger
raids,
the horses.
the various raids, do they take place in the daytime, at nighttime?
Always at night.
Or any,
Always at night.
always at night?
Yep, and they range from anywhere from right after the sun goes down to dead middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. So they're not always at the same time, but they've ranged anywhere from as early as right after sundown to 4 a.m. Or right as people start to wake up kind of thing.
Then they must be close enough on those raids, they'll back where they're going by light.
That's what I'm saying, they're usually within a couple hours,
Okay.
2 to 3 hours of
Okay.
the cave, you know.
Anybody got any light
4
spells?
hours of the cave, something like that. Depends on what time they hit it.
Fairy fire, which is
That's about it.
exactly.
Continue.
You got a con? Okay. All right, I'm tactically, I'm gonna bring a short term, just a regular light.
Okay, we
During the day?
Yes.
Okay. I just kind of find it unusual.
Well, you see, night comes after day. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed. And thus, by the
If you're
absurd
still
Banshee
alive,
rules
yeah.
of this system, I have to take it during the day, so I have it in the evening.
We're studying and, shifting.
Those clear.
So we're heading out of town too,
All right, I'll get ready to leave town. Y'all head out.
Are
Otus is
people that
done.
put torches and lanterns and things?
Yes, you're more than welcome on your sheet to put any type of items you
But-
want. It just can't be magical in
The
nature.
orc has tonnage.
You can even put stuff like potions, as long as you don't go overboard. Tell me you got 60 potions in your pack.
You
you're
keep
gonna fall
saying
and
that.
break it, okay?
And I have a small office.
Don't go all overboard.
I only
Put
put down 6 potions of wishes.
A potion of wish?
Yeah, why not?
Did you invent that one?
Somebody did.
It works backwards. You make a wish, then you drink some. Then you make another wish, and you drink some more.
There we go.
I'm good with that.
I think that's called Jim Beam.
80.
You might be right.
See, what the world doesn't know is that potions, though technically created by magic users, are around here. They all call it alchemy, so they don't realize it's magic.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
See, so
Science.
those who make the potions
Science.
sell it as science, so that they're not being hounded. So
Oh, quacks.
everybody's okay with potions, but they're not okay with the casting of the spell.
I take out my journal and record all that.
So wrong.
Yep. All right, so you guys want to head out the same direction down the road again?
Yeah.
Keeping
That's
watch
the
out
direction-
too,
in
so
the
it's
direction
not
of
just a
Roche.
journal, but a journal sentence.
Rolsh, you mean?
Rolsh.
Very good.
Rush.
Okay, the direction straight ahead north is towards the cave. We're also going to be a little more northeast. Gross gonna be northeast. In a couple hours, you'll have a fork in the road that you can take towards Gross. Straight ahead takes you to kind of north.
Should we go to the town that was recently hit?
Wouldn't it be more fun to go to the cave?
We should go to the cave.
We should go to the cave.
Yeah.
We should go to the cave.
No, we should go to the recently raided village and see if we can't pick up some more first-hand information.
It's not.
Everything we
very far
got
out
is
from
second-hand,
there,
third-hand.
but It will take a lot
Second.
of time.
All the information we have is
It's
based
not the
on,
side of the mountain. You can see mountains
so
closer
second
to
and third hand.
That's real mountain, it's a
Let's
mountain
go to the
range.
source.
We seal this cave and
The
it's.
source is at the damn cave.
But we don't think so.
But let's get more information
General
before
question,
we
is the mountain more like
dive
Rocky
into the
Mountains
hole.
Mountain or Appalachian?
I'll stick my
Mountain?
hand in the hole if I know there's
Like a
a
Rocky
mountain.
Mountain.
Not if there's a ferret or
No, they're tall, jagged, like mountains like this, yeah.
I would suggest that we take a vote on.
Vote again.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
And when we have some
What's
straws.
the vote?
He gave me the
I have
character's
some
alignment.
straws.
I'm ready. What's the
I
vote?
suggest we take a vote on whether to go for the cave or circle the mountain to look for other entrances and other traces of
I
these
second that vote.
Everyone says they're.
I think the vote should be, do we go straight?
Scout
to
the area or go
Do we
straight
go
to the
straight to the
cave?
cave, or do we visit the town that was recently
That's
attacked
the-
to
yeah.
collect
That's a
information?
different vote.
Well, then we'll have a three-way vote, because then we have three options. I think we should go get this, the
If-
most current information.
If we go straight to the mountain instead of a nearby town, do you think, please vote on whether we should go straight to the cave entrance or circle the mountain to see about other entrances, traces, etc.?
No, then you're denying the third option, and that's go to the other village.
No, I said, if we go to the mountains,
He has an
Yeah,
A,
the second-
B within the second one.
I see.
Okay.
so,
great.
so
Right, we can
he
make
makes a motion that we have
two rounds.
two separate votes on
Yes.
going to a town or going to the mountain. So
But-
who wants to go to
but
the
if-
town, who wants to go to the mountain?
Town.
Town, fresh
Does
information.
mountain mean around the mountain?
No,
You don't know
you
yet. Good.
No, mountain is either in or around.
Do we go
I
to
don't
the
wanna
town?
go around.
Do we go to the town first or
Which one I
not?
vote for?
Town first or not, Errol?
That's
That's
the
Town,
question.
fresh
Town first or
information.
not? Town for
We
information.
got a town?
I
Yeah,
got
but
four,
I
I
don't
got
know where we're up against.
five going to the
We
town.
got a
Town.
town.
All right.
Oh, I think.
So I want to head to the town
We
first.
can make a more informed vote.
You sound
on
very
the
far away.
issue after we get
It's,
I
the town ride from here is about the same distance to the cave, it's just northeast versus north.
So is your God a God that I
Flip
would
off.
like?
So from there, you have to come back a little bit.
You're an
Yeah.
atheist cleric.
Absolutely.
What's he get his
If you're
power
riding,
from?
again, if you're riding your horses at your north
Every
pace,
year.
That means
it's your
I
north
can
pace.
count
you're
it
not
out.
riding
Well,
south,
I claim
down
there's
back to
God,
the
but I
cave.
haven't seen proof yet.
Oh, you're a deist.
that meant a warrior.
A deist cleric.
Yeah.
So you're going to the town?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You're-
Welsh.
Yeah, Welsh, all right. It's about a day and a half ride, so the next day.
I don't hear any drumming.
We haven't started yet.
Yeah, you got started.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bumpity,
All right, bumpity, bumpity. All right, as you exit town, so you get out of town a little ways, there's a fork in the road, head toward, you know to take that towards Gross, you get towards Gross. Again, it's the same type of terrain, it's mostly rolling hills, there's not a ton of trees, just every now and then a patch of a clump here or there. You know, and then the day goes without event again.
Right, isn't that
You have your bumpy
nice?
bum on occasion, a straggler.
We did see, we
Somebody
saw
rides
Pikes
by.
Peak up ahead,
Yep.
another Rocky Mountain.
Every now and then, of course, someone may ride a little wide of you coming down the road, you know, they see the
Can't
flag, they
understand that.
hear the bumpity bum.
It's a drum, so you can't get far enough away.
Suspicious?
No, they're just travelers in general.
Good question.
Yeah, they just look like a travel, sometimes it's one repair, and they're just riding along, nothing suspicious, look like a normal person, might even pass a wagon, you know, carrying some produce or something. Nothing.
Carrying it away from the destroyed town?
Yes.
Well, maybe we should like
Yeah, that's gotta
empty
look
out
right.
that wagon. What do you guys think?
You're moving
Why don't we
away from
just
their
back to-
destroyed
You still gotta sell your stuff and money to rebuild the town.
There could be
Well, but you
treasures
said
in
it
that
was
wagon.
destroyed.
You said there was
Couple
a
towns
produce
was fine.
wagon of some sort?
Yeah.
Well, we stop him.
Okay.
We wanna know where he's
Cabbage.
been and where he's going.
And where did you hide your produce so the bandits wouldn't get it?
Well, the bandits didn't steal everything.
They don't like
just-
vegetables.
They hit certain areas of the town, they just didn't have to hit
They're
our stuff.
carnivorous bandits.
Because I've got some stuff here that we actually just picked, you know, in our fields, and we're just taking it to the next town to sell. I mean, we're trying to help. You know, we lost our storefront, we still have our house.
How much?
I give him 2 silver pieces and take a banana. Well,
How
whatever.
much of the town was burned?
Probably a plantain.
It'll be, it'll
Okay,
be a
plantain.
banana. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
How much of your town was burned?
They probably burned about 8 or 9 buildings in town, in the main part
Out
of
of how
town.
many?
So wrong.
Oh, in the
For
main,
a percent.
in the main, oh, the percentage, probably 10% of the main street.
how big is the town? How big is the town?
The town's about 400 people.
Whoa,
And Cross, it's
Well, this is
Cross.
Libby.
Cross.
How many were killed?
This bandit bunch is.
We only had 4 people die.
It's like a farmer would work his maple.
400. Yeah, it's real
Tap them
small.
for some.
Do they recognize the King's
Back up,
Dominion in this
tap them
area?
again.
Yes, yeah, they know the
Pretty
King's
crowded
Dominion.
plot.
There's actually a bear in this area, but the king,
They're-
the
they're-
the
they're
bear is part of
thoughtful
the king's
individuals.
crew there.
Yeah,
They're his
yeah, they're like culling their herd, not what, you know.
Is the Baron
If
fertile?
only, if only they would bring them over to the surface of the planet.
He can't be.
Well, no, that's like
The baron, no, but the baroness is probably. All right, so, yeah, I mean, you ask some questions, you can tell you they burned some of the buildings, you know, when you get downtown, there's parts of the buildings that are gutted from fire. You know, there's a couple of buildings on the outskirts that would be homes that got burned. One field off to the left of the road before you get to the town's burned. But, you know, he's on the far side of town, his storefront was burned in town, but his produce that he has, he's picked recently, he's taken it into Gross to sell, because he's gotta come up with some funds.
Was there anything in particular in common with the people who were killed or the buildings that were burned?
Probably wrong place, wrong time for whatever they were trying to steal.
When you
You
die.
know,
it's
and
usually
they were in the way. You know, most people run and hide when something like that happens, if you're in the wrong place, wrong
Do
time.
the bandits ever take captives?
As far as they know, they've never taken a captive.
Well, let's talk to the mayor.
We're not even to the town yet, Joe. You're still.
Oh, sorry.
You stopped the wagon road, and you're coming to the end of the day, and about a half a day's ride still from the town.
Half a day.
Yep.
Bandits leave anything behind in any of the towns that they talk to?
Just other than destruction and dead people. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they don't leave anything else. Destruction and dead people.
Well, thank
So,
you for your
you're about
information.
another, as it comes to the end of the day, again, like before, you're rolling plains, you know, whatever, you can stop at the top of the hill, where you can kind of see all directions. There's another town, a good half a day's ride away, you don't see it, but off in the distance, You know, you might see, if you look close enough and it was still a little daylight, you might see smoke from chimneys and stuff. It's off in the distance.
As we get closer to town, I'm trying to look for the hoof prints of the bandits.
Okay, well, we're not even there yet. This is you still got a half a day's ride. It's already dark 3. I assume you're gonna camp here in the wilderness.
Yes.
Half a day's ride away.
Yes.
You can either go, you can go off road a couple hundred yards and stay near some clump of trees, or you can camp right out there next to the road.
Why are we camping in the wilderness?
Because it's half the ride.
Because another half a day's ride, it's dark.
We had no problem riding 2 hours in the dark last night.
It's 1 hour.
Yeah, but it might be dawn by the time we get there.
Okay.
Because it's dark and you may not ride as quick.
And then we'd have to sleep during the daylight, and we'd have a big problem with that.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep.
Once again, I would ask the druid if we can gain any information from local fauna.
I will seek out.
You'll talk to squirrels and rats?
Not squirrels. Anything with squirrels.
Seriously. They're so flighty, yeah, they can't hold a thought for 12 seconds.
Yeah, no, anything, you know, raccoons, birds.
You might, down the little clump of trees you're at, probably the only activity you're gonna find animal-wise, when you start kind of, doing your animal thing, be some birds in the area.
Maybe an owl.
Yeah.
Owls are fantastic.
Yeah.
Bird in
Talk
the
to an
area.
owl all night. That's fantastic.
Lucky
Yeah,
you'll
you
find
can
an
talk
owl
some
named
birds.
Owl.
Yeah, if you talk to birds there, basically the information you get
He'll
from the
say,
birds
"Who can
will
call
be
me out?"
that, depending on your inquiry, will probably be that the riders you're asking about from 2 days ago, they rode northwest, which is back towards the cave, which you're already aware of.
Okay.
So.
He asked the owl, you see the bandits? And they say, who?
So that's kind of information to ascertain. Like I said, it's a small clump of trees, probably 4 or 5 trees, growing haphazardly anywhere from 8 to 15 feet tall. They look kind of like oaks, more or less, just out there.
Good specimens.
Scattered, yeah. Oh, they look healthy.
This is a good
They're
place.
pretty healthy. Yeah.
We
So
should stay.
Oh, no.
Want to
Yeah.
talk to an official?
you're not done yet.
Oh,
Remember,
that's
still
right,
trees
we're not-
half acre.
We're
Camping.
You can talk to the official stump in the
Right.
thick of the trees.
Camping, yeah. So you guys gonna camp out, set up a campfire, what you wanna do?
I'll be happy to take the first 5 hours
I'm
watch.
going to find a.
That'll be, we don't need to get bandit country, no.
There's plenty of land. to explore.
The first 5 hours.
No, not this time.
No,
No, you've had some good strong land, but now we're getting close to bandit country.
No.
Did Mike call you
No,
about
wait, save this up for
somebody
later.
on mouse server or something?
I have a trumpet, I can try that.
Mayfield. All right, somebody's got a problem.
I'm very musical.
Strongly, save it.
All right.
No, it was downstairs.
Well, I asked him.
Yeah, check with him, you need to reboot it.
I just talked to him like 5
Since
minutes
I
ago.
mentioned to make your compositions for later plan, for a symphony.
Music crap
He just decided to buy some kettle drums.
drums?
Oh, yeah, but I don't see the bugle trumpet thing.
I kind of made that up.
Oh, good.
I just
Well,
want to see their reaction.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy.
All right,
The
so
trumpet's bad enough, I can't imagine you
you guys
stringing
create
a
a
goose in
campfire,
a
do I want to do
trumpet.
any watches tonight, so it's just
Why
some
do we need
peaceful
a
and
campfire?
start.
Is it really?
No, do you want a campfire?
No,
Ask
we
me.
don't want
Let me know what you want to do.
Does anybody want
Get a
to?
campfire, just eat cold food tonight, I mean, that's what you
Yeah,
want to do,
yeah.
hardtack, whatever it is,
Yeah, getting close to the abandoned
Want
area.
to check over all the horses,
Low
make sure
profile.
none of them have taken any damage in the course of the last 2 days.
Horses all look pretty good, everybody's got their shoes on, nobody looks like they've got any pulled muscles or
Polymorph
nothing.
Griffin isn't happy though.
I'm gonna take off my armor, maybe polishing it.
Okay.
Oh, of course, that's what paladins do. It's sword, the one they never use. Yeah,
There
okay.
you go.
So the half-orc's taking the middle watch, so I'll take.
How are you gonna break the watches up?
I'll take the early
2, 3,
morning
4, 6
watch.
watches, how many watches? 1 watch?
You
I
wait.
wear one on each arm, I don't know about you.
3, I think.
3 watches,
No, I'm
okay.
an elf, I don't sleep that much
2
anyway.
people per watch.
So,
How long's your watch? Is that 2?
So I-
How long do you want to
I-
sleep here? Time, it's just getting dark, so time's about 8 to 9 in the evening. Sun comes up
3 to
between
3.
5 and 6.
Yeah. 3 to
You got about 8 hours of time of sundown, so I don't know how long you want your watches to be, 3 hours apiece?
3 of these. Yeah, those 3, and those 3.
Oh, you want to do it sets of 3, over
Yeah.
the link in groups of 3?
Yeah.
No, I won't be watching.
Okay.
What do you mean you won't be watching?
I won't be watching.
I got 1 word or 2 words.
I drop or I sleep. That's your 2 choices.
Well, I guess he's gonna find a slit in a drum head in the morning.
I know.
Oh, too bad you weren't watching!
I would hate that.
That's how it goes.
First watch is uneventful.
I think
Okay.
that was a
Who's on second
squirrel.
watch?
Me.
I'm on permanent
2 of you,
watch.
who's third watch? Who's the third person on your watch?
I don't know.
We're just doing
Oh, you're doing two and two.
Oh, so we're good. We're
She wants to be in the middle watch.
Oh, that's fine, okay,
Yeah,
so then they're the middle watch.
Okay, so that's
Well, now we're the middle watch.
Middle watch?
So somebody make up their minds, wake me up, go to sleep, wake me up, go to sleep.
So who's the middle watch?
It's
Half
Chris
orc?
going
Kurt,
gathering
sure.
since we're going on.
That means they're with.
I'm sleeping.
As a
Okay,
cleric,
so you're on
I
the
want
watch.
first watch,
Who's
so
the other
that then I
person
can
that's
get
on
plenty
watch
of
with
sleep.
her?
That would be me.
Well,
Yeah, so we're supposed to be the three of us.
I want
If
first
Ward
watch.
is derelict,
Second watch, third watch.
do never trouble again. If Ward is derelict and something's getting ready to happen
Okay,
right now.
Okay, good.
I will never
I'm
trouble
watching,
again.
I'm gonna climb up in this tree and watch.
Okay. I'm just
already up
asking
in
the
the
third
tree
watch, so you don't have a clue.
Yeah, I'll find a different.
Third watch.
Okay, I got you. Second watch is this side of the table.
Yeah, basically.
And you're
yeah.
actually watching or you sleep?
I'm sleeping up in
He's
this tree.
sleeping.
I'd like to point out, I don't need
Won't
sleep.
watch, that is.
So I'm on permanent watch all night long up in the tree.
I got you.
Am I
Watching
long
the
With
tree.
Jim.
No, I was already up.
We've already established that it's a different tree.
Permanent watching the tree.
15 feet.
Permanent watching the tree. You need to roll a dice. Roll me a die 20. I need you to roll me a die
Roll a
20.
die 20. This will be fun for you.
Roll me a die 20.
13.
Reasonable.
8.
You're saving
Yours was
versus
a 13?
insanity.
Yes, you
What was
will.
yours?
14.
Okay. Nobody notices anything.
I love
I'm
that.
high or the low.
That's all right. Roll me another
You
d20.
wake up in the middle of the night and roll some
There again.
dice.
You have the strange urge to get up and roll dice in your sleep. 17.
8.
Okay. You
Mm-hmm. My trusty crossbow, yes.
And
you
fireball.
hear
Yeah.
you hear like it's like it would be the sound of wings on the wind.
I love
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But
Like giant condors where the back feathers flap, 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 flap.
No.
Or, because it wouldn't be an owl, so I wouldn't hear that at all.
Where do you have percussion? This is
more
the
like
wind sound.
like a flying reptile would be the best way to describe
Oh,
it.
flapping
But I'm just
leather.
saying, you hear flapping leather
Oh.
in the distance.
Okay.
Okay, it's not like
It's not
overhead,
Hanson Cowboys.
it's not overhead, but you hear it. So
Okay.
that's just what you hear. Nobody else, they're sleeping, they don't know nothing, they didn't
Okay.
hear it. I'm just giving you
Okay,
the
so I pass the word to the one responsible person standing there and tell her that I heard
Aren't
this
you gonna
strange
shout up into
sound.
the tree that there's a
No, you're asleep, remember?
You don't know that.
But I hope it gets you
You
first.
think I'm a
You're served.
Rob.
You're the serving, Jim. It flies over, grabs you, and
Rob,
you're
have you
gone.
made it known to them that you're keeping watch all night? So he'll know you're
I've
awake?
been making known to everyone
Yes, I
that
know he's
I'm
awake
watch
up
all
there.
night.
So you pass the word.
But yeah, I have to do
All
it again.
right.
Okay.
Well, if he isn't blended into his invisible gig in the tree with his mouth.
Okay, then you pass the word.
Why do you care about what he's deciding?
The words,
No, I have to pass you the word.
He's
I'm
passing you the
only one that
word.
heard it.
I'm
I
asking
told
if
her,
he
I
passed
told
the word to you.
Something flying overhead.
He said yes. Something
Large
flying here.
wings.
Some's flying
Be
here,
alert.
you hear the sound.
He's a dwarf on the ground
Yeah.
who pays more attention to his ego than anything else. And I'm an elf up in a tree who
Elf in a tree.
who
That's
can't see this stuff.
Okay, but hold on a second. 17, 8.
I had 14 before.
Yes. but-
So if you add them up, I'm
It
ahead.
didn't work.
I'm still ahead.
I'm just saying,
It's a
that
dissenting
was for
intelligence.
was heard later, but now that you're aware, roll
you
me
get
your
the
20
word.
dice again. Same 3, 20 dice.
Same three.
Yeah, we're gonna be- yeah, I'm still on.
19.
Yeah.
Roll D20 again.
19.
15.
2. I'm up there
He's in the tree.
actually guarding.
Okay, no, here's
But you're not
Rob.
hearing.
Here's Rob in the tree. That's why I didn't hear anything. He's cleaning his ears. He's
I
cleaning
don't
his
think
ears,
so. I
okay?
have a better view than anyone up there.
I'm not seeing anything.
What's your
But nobody's
ears
seeing
that are a
anything.
problem,
Nobody's
apparently.
saying anything, they're hearing things.
Yes.
And they've told you
All
about
right,
it.
okay, fine.
I don't know what you're doing, maybe you're scratching your ears.
D20.
Okay,
100.
yeah, okay. Now you both hear it, but it sounds a lot closer.
Oh,
Okay.
well, I think I'm gonna go around and start gently alerting the members of the party by or wherever they're sleeping, very
Okay.
carefully. Hand over the face, wake them up, so nobody startles the church.
Just trying to kill you all.
No,
All right,
that was
so I
that.
don't know how you're gonna react as he wakes up. That's how he's waking. He's putting his hand over your mouth, and he's shaking you awake. You have to tell me how you react to that.
I go for my sword, but then I see it's him.
There we go.
All right, after a few minutes of waking everyone,
Does he have a weapon out while he's got his hand on my
I don't think so.
no, he's just waking
Oh,
people.
okay.
All right, as he wakes everybody up, everybody starts to alert in your little group here, or your little campsite. you start to hear what he's telling you. You hear the sound of something. It's like something flying somewhere near. It's not directly overhead, but it's somewhere out there.
Sounds like fun.
It's somewhere out there. You guys are up under the trees, so I mean, without, going out and looking around, it's middle of the night, it's dark. There's no moon in the sky per se, but the sky's a little lit, because the moon's, it's one of those low moons, kind of does this over the side of the.
I say we should spread out.
I grab.
I say everybody gets in a different tree.
Staying under the trees, staying under the trees.
I'm not going up a tree.
I'm going to the edge of the my bow and using my.
I'm giving, but I
My helmet, night vision,
Right.
see if I see anything.
Okay.
down the hall.
We all hear the wings now?
Oh, yeah, you hear it. Everybody hears
One
it.
pair?
That's all it sounds like until he's good. You guys will have to investigate right now.
Good question. I grab my battle axe and I'm taking a defensive position by a tree.
Okay, you
Trying
see
to
something in the sky, it looks pretty large,
What does that
long.
mean?
It's, because you're just using your night vision basically.
Back against the.
You can see it off, it's probably about 100 yards off, and it's probably maybe 100 yards up in the sky. And
And it's 100 yards long.
it's 100 yards long, baby, no. And it's flying. You can see it flying, you can see it flying out across the field, and it goes down for a ways as it gets quieter, and it makes a U-turn and comes back, like it's flying out, a pattern across the field coming this direction, towards you guys, that's why it's
Searching
Like a
for
search party.
Oh, wait, what is it?
it's a large,
Probably needs a landing.
it's a wyvern, but it's a large,
I could sound the drums of war.
you've never seen one, so you're not sure, you only heard the tales. You might think it's a dragon.
That'll give it something to do.
Yes, right, it's flying,
It comes in, we shoot the shit
it
out.
closes that way, you see it go off, and then it gets louder as it comes back flying.
Quick question, the people on watch are fully equipped, is everybody else without
You put
armor?
I am without.
I would assume most people were sleeping without their armor.
Then I get up, grab my shield, and move off to one side, so I'm not at ground zero.
What a
I
good
guess.
guy.
I guess.
As well as
Take
cover
one
my
for the
base.
team.
Well, currently it doesn't
That's what
appear
he's
that
suggesting.
it has seen anyone, it's just doing its little pattern, so, and based on its current speed, it's gonna be here in a couple of minutes, probably overhead.
Why don't you start
You got
driving?
2 to 3 minutes if you want to get armed.
Go up to the middle of the group.
Telling them what I saw,
Okay.
and,
So as it descends upon that point, we shoot.
So basically, you've been informed that it looks like a dragon. He doesn't know, he's never seen a wyvern or a dragon, but from what he's heard, it looks like it's a dragon in the sky, and it's coming our way. It'll be here in like 2 minutes.
I'm sure it's a lawful dragon.
So he's just telling you guys.
That's what I'm
And
sure.
it's because
it's probably looking for livestock to eat,
He did.
looks like.
Yes.
Scanning to see a.
How big a dragon?
Cow or something.
Well, he's trying to describe it to you what he's seeing, and it looks like it's 100 feet long or so.
Jesus.
Looks like 100 feet
Lawful
long.
dragon.
100 feet long
From
dragon.
tip to tail, yeah. From tip to
I'll
tail.
go back to sleep.
Mostly tail, you know what I'm saying?
It's definitely time.
You have a dream, Rob.
Actually, my drums are by the big round, okay? So that he can't land right on top of me. As we begin the drum sonata of war. As loud as we can pound those marvelous drums, we start the sonata.
And you're moving on.
I will never adventure with Jim
doing
Moore
it-
again if
he's
he has a
doing it-
musical instrument.
He's
I will not do it.
doing it under the tree. Yeah.
Under a great big
That means
tree.
he can still sing.
Great,
Yeah.
archers.
No, what he has for a voice
Okay.
is not a musical
He's
instrument.
got 2 drums. I think he's got 2.
Two great big kettle drums.
Maybe it's a cold dragon.
He was carrying one, on the
Well,
side.
he can't drum either, does he? Yeah, well, shit, I don't like
Yeah, I was asking what everybody was doing now that he started playing drums. I can tell you what he does.
Okay.
Oh, looks like the bandit.
Okay, well, once he starts playing the drums, those of you that are either getting dressed or putting yourself together for what may or may not come.
I'm gonna move to a different tree.
Okay.
Why is that, Erol?
As soon as you hear the drums, for those of you that weren't expecting drums, you're startled, obviously, from the drum sound. And those that can see, you can see this creature through some branches in the tree. Those of you near the edges will see it. Yeah, the creature makes an abrupt turn from its little path, and then comes this direction to circle overhead for a minute, above where you're at, as it looks like it's peering down, and then flies back off a little ways off to the field, and then lands about 100 yards out.
Is there any reason to believe that this creature had a rider? Did you see anything on its back or neck that would indicate that it might have a rider?
No, those that can see in the dark, no, you wouldn't see anything like that.
But he's beating on the drums, but it didn't go towards it.
Nope, it circled overhead, went about 100 yards
It's
out,
afraid of me.
turned and landed in the
Obvious.
field facing your direction.
Did it ever get an archery range?
It would have been close enough to take a shot, sure.
What if it's a
Depends on your skill with
Might
the
be a
bow.
gold dragon.
I shoot the person who shoots at it.
So, if you wanna take a shot at it, you can roll and see, you may or may not hit.
I'm not gonna shoot
Stern
it.
reprimand.
Yeah, hit him in it's
Yeah,
dark, it's
order
under
critique
vision.
isn't it?
It is under
If it had closed with us, but I.
Yeah, it hasn't closed, it just investigated now it's landed, so at the moment, it's out, you can see it out ahead of you, due north, in the field. Those that can see in the dark, anybody who can't see in the dark, looks like a dark, just silhouette of something large.
Yeah, we have no light sources. So
Nobody's got lights on at the moment, they're
even
firing.
if you're ready to fire, I can't see you to
Didn't
tell.
attack him.
Don't know, but it's
Because I
not.
was afraid of it, clearly.
And you're still beating the drums, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah, I'm playing the
Okay.
sonata.
I'm moving to the edge of the woods, but.
What's a dragon? You see where he landed? I'll bet there's a dungeon under there. I mean, look in the front of the book.
The dragon's lair, yeah.
You got it reversed, it's supposed to be Dungeons and Dragons.
There you go. All right, so anyway, he lands in the field, if y'all,
I go back to sleep.
he's going back to sleep.
Kinda hard to sleep with the drumming.
I love music.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
music.
the
You
creature,
have to deal with
That's
this.
noise and
yeah, it's 100 yards out. The
Because
creature,
you're a dwarf.
the creature kind of sits up very wide, and spreads its wings as wide as it can, and it just lets out this real loud, like a roar.
No.
All right.
Are we at the edge of the forest yet?
You're sitting at the edge of the forest, it's 100 yards off, and it's just,
It's like singing
it's
with
like
me.
saying,
I forget, is
it
that?
just makes a big loud.
That's
Is
good.
is that bow range?
100 yard depends on the bow type, just your
Short bow.
skill.
No, it's challenging.
Short bow in your best skill ain't gonna do 100
Singing along
yards.
with me.
Not well.
It's familiar with the
Fireballs, Mike.
I'm gonna ask the druid
It's calling
if
others.
those drums are anything like the mating call of one of these things.
Oh, Jim, I hope you're in
Hey, yeah, you
friendly
see
mood.
what's it?
Sorry that it isn't as nice as it was.
Yeah, you ever dated dragons? I understand they're kind of chauvinist.
5, 10, 15.
I bet it's saying something like, everybody
100
stay away,
Yeah.
there's this really horrible noises around here.
Yeah, really.
Well, that would be considered long.
Could have
range.
had the same.
That's what I said.
drums that we
That's what
had.
I'm saying though. It's gonna kind of skill. Yeah.
Painful.
I'm not saying you can't shot. I'm not saying you can't shoot at it.
But a high trajectory.
Yes, if you're shooting at 100 yards with a short bow, it's this, and then you're gonna have to roll in the dark. It depends on your skill with that bow.
Might bounce
A
off.
longbow's gonna have a lot better job. In other words, you may hit him in a wing versus a
Okay.
longbow's gonna be more accurate.
Can
That's what I'm saying.
I tell,
Proper
interpret this? I know I
bow.
can't speak this language, but can I interpret that roar? I mean, is it
you're-
purely belligerent? Is it warning? Is it?
You're getting.
Horny!
That'd be too bad.
You're basically getting, yeah, I would say more empathic thing. You've, what you get from him is somebody, because he doesn't know what the hell the drums are. It's something is in his domain and he's challenging whatever it is.
Makes sense.
You know, he's,
That's good to know, so it's not.
that's what you're feeling. It's not malevolent
So,
to say, but it doesn't belong.
are you gonna
So he's
tell us
letting
that
you know,
so I
I'm
can change
here
my
and I'm not
song?
gonna put it
Well,
on.
he's drawn it to
No, you gotta go out and represent us in the battle of the bands.
I'll be happy.
Disturbed by our.
Put on your,
Our drumming?
put on your best Kid Clark impersonation.
Okay.
Approach.
So quiet the drumming.
No, I have a different song for that. It's called the Dragon Challenge Song. Boom, 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 boom. Boom.
Okay, so you've changed the
I'm
tone.
changing the tune.
So is the tone, is the tone a little more angry than it is warning now?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a more angry tone. Okay.
I appreciate your gumption, but
Yes.
I'd rather challenge the dragon in armor. So if you could play the
I'm not-
Wait for a Little While song.
I do like that song. I can play that. It's like
The getting dressed song is a good one.
it's like a really nice little timpani.
Okay, well, when you change to your big challenging, when you change to your big challenging drum to the drum, okay, he makes another loud roar and takes about 3 of his paces forward.
All right, he's coming to it.
Yeah, and you know, does like a snort.
Am I the only archer here? We gotta have more archers.
No, I'm not.
I have a crossbow. And I have a
I'm
little.
an archer on my mother's
pointy
side, but
stick.
currently I'm a cleric.
Really? You can get like 3 fireballs into that thing.
There's 3 or 4 people here with bows. I can't remember who else.
I got a longbow.
Yeah, somebody's got a long bow.
Longbow.
If we're not gonna sneak away and leave this alone, then we have to start dealing with
He's
it.
kind of taking us down the path of
No, I'm not, I'm doing the friendly side.
No, you didn't,
Wes
you're
did
making it a
suggest
friendly
it.
song.
Yeah, no, before I get the challenge, absolutely. Now I'm doing the friendly drum side.
So he's responded to your challenge, obviously, with a little more aggression.
Okay, great.
What do you expect to do?
Come on, let's fire.
We all want to die here.
This is the DM giving as many chances as possible to not have a fight with a dragon.
Friendly drum.
I have no problem where you want to go with it.
Can't stop playing Kill the
Friendly
Party,
drum.
whether he's the DM.
Kill the party, I have that song. I can do that, that's in my repertoire.
Why don't we stop playing the drums?
Really?
Why don't you play I Feel So Bad I Wanna Die? Maybe it'll
Okay.
I'm gonna
drown
head back.
himself.
While you guys are talking to him about his drum habit, okay,
There we go.
whatever it is, all of a sudden everyone feels warmth as the sky lights up and a fireball takes out the whole top of the trees. Roll.
Doggone it, your fireball one.
Oh, in the trees.
Yeah, he's in the trees. Came from the dragon.
19.
Yes. What'd you roll?
You saved a
Oh
half.
yeah, you're right out of the, you saw it coming, felt the heat, you're on the ground. The top of the trees are in a flame right now, you guys are under the burning
Even
trees.
better than saving a half.
Yeah, you guys are under, I'm just saying you're under a couple of trees there, but the trees are on fire, and now you can, in the distance, you can see.
Hey, I get mine in my
He's
horse.
kind of a reddish, dark
What
reddish
direction
color
is-
now,
right,
and you can
which
see the light
direction
from the
is
tree.
the dragon?
Red Dragon.
That lights up a good 100 yards
Which
north.
direction is the dragon face?
North of you.
I am going west by southwest as fast as I can on my horse. And I go like this to the drum. And the rest of them, I was like,
In the dark.
This is.
well, what do you see or not?
But I can
Catch up.
tell that dragons are even more dangerous to the king's villages than some bandits.
Only when there's.
Kraus, what don't you do with them?
I am desperately trying to get armor.
Has everything
I've got
just
like
in a moment and the
I'd say you've got most of your armor on, although you might be unclipped on the left side while you're still holding the helmet.
You got it.
You've been dressing quickly, but you're not, there.
Alright.
You can
plates
go
are
in the
slow.
dark, kind
I'm
of
gonna
find
see if I
out
can
where
add
the
my
power
own because it was on watch.
Well, yes, because right now everything's
Yeah,
lit up
you
for a
were.
good 100 yards in all directions. You got a torch.
Oh, everyone's a target now.
Okay. I don't know if y'all are going to stay into the trees till
I'm out of
the
the
fire starts falling or what.
Now the long
Everybody there is in the fire zone,
If
buddy.
I feel it's still somewhat safe for the
And
moment,
you are
I'll
still
stay,
wet.
but, if it looks like branches are starting to fall and crumble.
Oh, some are already fallen because that was a nice toasty fireball there to take out the top of the trees. Yeah.
Well, when you look around,
got a fire falling in
you look
places
around
and
in the
then-
burning thing, you won't find the dwarf anywhere nearby.
West by southwest as fast as.
Yeah, you're on the
my
horse. You're skedaddling. Southwest, I got
Alright, so you
Alright.
guys do, you're running away?
No.
Well, is this called running away?
I said I'm not standing underneath the showering, burning embers anymore.
Yes.
Which is the whole area we were in, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So what do you want to do?
I put the growth between me and where they came from, and just gonna slowly back away with my pony.
Okay.
Brush the burning embers out of our hair.
All right. In your head, you immediately get a thought from the dragon about food. Food, because now with the light up, he's seen the horses. Food. So he's starting to make a line for the food. He's really not paying attention to you guys wherever your horses are tied. He's basically just walking towards the horses.
Okay.
We can
Now,
escape.
luckily, I have my pony, not with
We can
me.
escape if we let him have the horses. Or at least.
Because right now he just headed that direction where your horses are tied. You'll notice his attention's on you as he heads to the horse.
I'm just saying.
Maybe if we let them have
You're
8 horses.
Get it!
I'm going to
I'm out of there.
I'm going to
Look, when I go to China Walk, I don't eat the entire buffet, I just have what I want. So maybe if we offer him a horse or 2, it could balance things.
He's closed the distance to less than half. He's probably 40 yards out. So.
Meanwhile, I've arrived near the paladin, I say, how are you doing on fire resistance?
Not exactly resistant.
So, if you want to get into anything here, you might get into something here, would you like
All
to
your
be
horses got simmer
resistant?
tied up somewhere.
It'll last for about 45
Left,
minutes.
over there,
right,
Casting. Casting.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Let's try.
I don't know how big it is,
as I
really.
can, so.
Okay.
I imagine I can't get all of it, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, well,
Nine
you basically had originally had 9 horses. One took off. He's with his somewhere. That would leave 7.
I'm hanging.
He's grabbing his horse. So now
Yeah.
we're down to 6. So you're dealing with 6 horses.
I thought we were casting a help.
I'm gonna try and free a couple of them and lead them away.
That's true.
Okay, well, let's say you get
Yes, that's true.
you get 4 of the horses. 2 are still there tied, but you're dragging 2 in each hand.
That's what we're
And
doing.
he's still making a beeline. whatever you guys
I'm heading
do or
away
aren't
from the
doing,
dragon.
okay? The horses are all skittish now because
Yeah.
the fire's all there, they're trying to pull the reins loose.
Well, I definitely smell
I'm
it.
trying to
It's,
come
yeah, it's fire, they're ready to go.
Casting resist fire, paladin, 45 minutes, actually 50. but
For what?
Resist
Oh,
fire,
for this,
bonus
I got you,
paladin,
I got you.
50 minutes.
Okay, and then, about that town, I don't know where everybody's headed, anybody, anything else?
Casting,
Do we have a better notion of the size of this thing now?
Well, yeah, he looks huge. I mean, he looks like when he was sitting on his back legs to the top of his head, he looks like he's, 8 stories tall.
It's a really big one.
Yeah.
About the size
Oh,
of
about 8
Galveston
stories tall,
Island,
sitting back on his
basically.
legs. When he's walking, his head's up around 4.5, 5 stories when he's on his hands and legs. So he's a good 100 feet long or so.
Full
So,
grown.
Yeah,
this is
he's,
falling apart, good thing too, so I'm gonna go grab a horse and ride off.
yeah, he's got, okay, he makes it to the horses and of course puts his foot down on one and just grabs the other with the mouth. And starts chomping on the one.
So 2 of you are on foot.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm blessing everybody who's nearby. Bless this group, bless.
I'm making sure I'm between
for a
the
horse.
dragon and the rest
Yes,
of
you
the
can have
party.
horse. He had
but-
4 in hand, I'd say you grab it.
I didn't mean the ones that he got. I
Oh,
was
wow.
trying to say the remaining horses.
No, he got the last one.
The dragon's too close.
Dragon's got, yeah. I don't think you track because he's a
I
little too
get
close. Yeah. So anyway, he stomped one, chomped one, and now he takes off with one in tow.
I wish the orc.
And leaves us
And
alone.
leaves you alone. He takes off with one in tow. So now your 2
Wait.
horses down.
The orc isn't here. She takes her vorpal blade. And she strikes at the dragon boldly from behind while it's not distracted. And nothing happens.
What did you
Natural
I
one.
rolled a 16.
Okay. As long as you were, if you're rolling a 1, we'd see what really happened.
Yeah, no, I wanted a 20 to happen really bad.
Yeah.
So it left.
Yeah.
So now
it's
2
up in
of you
there.
are on foot.
It's in there. It's getting
2 of you
there.
are on foot. He's booked off for parts unknown and won't be back.
Yeah, I don't know how far he's gonna ride out of the city. He was booking, but I don't know how far he's going.
He robbed.
Yeah. So you guys are standing just outside the stump trees, it's burning, the tops are gone by now, they look like, lit matchsticks primarily. You're off the side here with the 4 horses.
Well, let's regroup.
2 or 3 got horses, you guys are just outside the burning area.
Let's try and move away from the burning area.
Okay.
and
I'll
try and-
play the goodbye
Kick off the
song.
rest of the
No,
dragon.
you won't play
It's
nothing.
like 3 o'clock.
I'm putting a dagger in each one of them.
All right, all right. And if you can't get them back out, I'll give you 2 to replace it.
Okay, and your drums have been cut up, if not burned.
I'm happy to say that I always bring spare drum heads.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Pins, drum
No,
heads.
no.
I expected this reaction.
Yeah.
Said Wyvern.
And I snapped the drumsticks over my knee to
Not
bring
the
those
proper
to.
attitude. You'll have to pay me for those.
Yeah, huh?
All right, it's about 3 in the morning, you still have a
Feel
couple
it,
hours,
see
2.5
me.
hours, like one left.
So let's relocate.
So, relocate.
There's a dragon who thinks this is part of his territory.
Yeah.
And we never heard about him. We only heard about these bandits.
I know.
That seems really strange.
It does.
Mr. Smith.
Well, if you get to town, you can ask these guys.
How is the fire looking? Is this
You haven't been to
going
Broad
spread?
Street to
Do you
ask
have
them
great
about it.
concerns about the ecological
Oh, sure.
viability of your woods? Or
Well, from fire, regrowth, and rebirth is also possible.
Why did you talk him out of eating our horses? What kind of a druid are you? You couldn't talk him out of
Life
it?
and death.
He doesn't really talk to
I can talk to
dragons.
dragons.
Oh.
No.
He doesn't have quite that skill.
He can, they just don't understand it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
talk
he's
to them
not-
all the time.
he's
It's like talking to a 3-month-old. You moles. Could we take a break for 5 or 10 minutes? We've been doing this about 2 hours.
Yeah, go do your whatever you
Oh,
got.
I just gotta walk.
Yeah, walk around, take a leak, get some.
5 minutes or so.
Well,
It's 5 minutes.
Oh, Rob came back.
so
You
we
must
burn
have
the
heard we
rest of the
didn't die.
woods and then eat the dragon.
Why would you eat the dragon?
He took a horse, ate a horse and left. So 2 of you guys, 2 of them are on foot.
That's right.
My trusty pony.
I've got Rex the Wonder Dog.
you don't need it. You just have to carry your drums.
Yeah, he was just looking for food.
So
I
that's.
think I'm gonna
As
sell
long
my.
as nobody shot at the dragon, nobody was dying.
Will we be done by 6?
Oh, yeah. But we have to be done by 6.
There's a schedule to keep.
Why do we have to be done by 6?
Well, because that's when all the other games start, so. we gotta let you
What
know.
time is it?
It's probably 4, something like that. but
Yeah, it's a little before 4.
It's almost 4, so we got 2 hours left.
Wow.
You got about
I never play evil characters.
Well, you know, when I put lawful evil on yours,
Yeah.
2 people at the table said, that fits his person. That fits Jeff. And I said, okay.
I can do the stereotype, because, you know, when I GM, I do evil characters all the time, but as a player.
I just thought it fit. I was like, yeah, he can play lawful evil. I can see that. Yeah, I broke mine. I gotta get another one. I tore the thing out of it. I leaned on the table.
What is it? With the notch?
Yeah, I pulled the notch out of mine.
They never make those things very strong.
Yeah, I can get another one later. Yeah, no, I had a party once. They were all first level. Probably.
Are we taking a break?
Yeah, everybody want to take a quick break. Smoke, get some drink. Go
You
to
gave
bed.
us all the idea.
Well, I had vacated, I had a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a party once.
I wasn't about to stay in an incendiary attack zone.
Yeah, there was about 10 or 12 of them, first level. And they ran into a black dragon in the middle of the night. Just a lucky roll. And they were on watch. And they had a small fire going, and they were all, didn't know what to do. First level party, they'd never played D&D before. Just rolled up new characters. And here comes the black dragon. It was a small black dragon, not a large one. And it had made an overpass to see what was going on. And it freaked them all out. They started waking everybody up. So they came by to do another pass a lot lower to the ground to see exactly what was there.
Right.
And they started casting spells at it, trying to cast spells, and they hit it with some light spells, lit it up like an airplane, basically, hit it on the dragon. But nobody fired at the dragon yet. And then on its third pass, when it came by, people were firing arrows at it, shooting magic missiles at it, everything else at this dragon. And at the very front, right in front of the campfire in the direction he's coming, was a barbarian. And the barbarian rolls a crit with his two-handed sword. And the dragon is low enough to the ground, he's only about 15 feet off the ground because he's planning on snatching something. Catches him right here, and the momentum of the dragon and the 20 crit with the big barbarian just slices the dragon all the way down from stem to stern, and this baby dragon, which still weighs about 3,000 pounds or more, of course, guts and all come right. The barbarian doesn't get hit because he's the one doing the slicing, but this dragon nose drives right into the campfire and just lays out across 3 characters. 3,000 pounds of dead meat, you know, so he kills 2 out of the 3. One of them's got broken bones poking out. And they're all freaked out because he killed a dragon in the first level. And out of the party, you know, 2 of them are dead. One of them's got acid burns where it sprayed acid when it was coming down. It was just hilarious. I was like, you know, I didn't mean to roll a dragon for you guys. But they went ahead and decided to fight it. You know, if I'd have been first level, I would have won it. So anyway, it was pretty funny. But don't provoke the dragon. Don't provoke the dragon.
How did the dragon go away?
The dragon got close enough to, there was 2 horses still left tied. The dragon's just hungry at the moment. Really wasn't worried about you guys. Anyway, chopped one horse and grabbed the claw and took off. Since no one threatened the dragon physically,
main horse in our dirt for the road.
since no one physically threatened the dragon's okay with it. He's not there to maim, and you'll find out more when you get to Gross and ask about the dragon.
Now, the party speed has now been slowed.
Yeah, you have to double up on some horses. Well, you've got another half day's ride to Gross. You could probably purchase horses there, but I mean, you have to wait till you get there, so it's gone. So Jeff D's all worried about the fact that he didn't know anything about the dragon in the area, but the dragon doesn't come out as far as the last village, so the people in Gross will know about the dragon, but you're not there yet.
Dragons are, you can claim any domain that they are recently flying through.
Yeah,
No one's gonna argue.
that's right. Nobody argues about this dragon.
They're very mobile.
Yeah. They're really not into a lot of destruction, you know. They kind of like to hoard their own stuff, do their own thing.
They mostly hunt.
They go out and hunt, find food, things like that. I mean, they're just like
It's path of least resistance. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a nice big horse. I think I'll.
and if they're bad enough, they don't worry about you. Like
Yeah.
in that case, he really didn't care what you did. He was just after the horses. Although had you attacked him, that could have invoked a different response. Sure. Kind of like the bear putting his hand in to get the honey. He doesn't really care about the bees. And if he eats a couple of bees while he's eating honey, that's not a problem.
Or the peasants must be smart enough to bring him food.
Or it might be they let a cow loose every night, so in case he's hungry, he'll leave the village alone. We don't know. But anyway.
No worries.
Yeah, we don't know. But it's safe to say that hopefully by the end of tomorrow's ride, you'll be at the cave.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's jog.
It's three, it's,
safer in the cave, actually.
even though no one's returned, it's safer in the cave.
You know why? Because at least we've been fighting something in front of us instead of ourselves.
Yeah, he was trying to vorpal the creature with your weapon there.
It was an imaginary moment.
Yeah.
It was a Dallas dream scene.
In the bar, it's mine. It's like, wouldn't it have been great?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The story.
That's actually the story that's gonna be told.
Yeah. The story you can tell. We got Tim Frank coming in on this one.
So, how much experience do I get?
For that debacle, everyone should give, I don't give out any experience.
I think everyone's at a negative at the moment. Just take a picture.
You have my
Take away.
attitude.
I haven't seen any, exemplary, role playing there.
Listen, lost two horses, figure out the experience points for it, divide it for the, those who have gained for a minus. We lost treasure, how much do we get?
Yeah.
Nice try, Bucko.
I'm just glad you didn't decide to attack the dragon. I really don't know if he was gonna attack you or not.
Somebody said any other color of red.
Well, that's what he thought it was. He didn't know.
Any other color of
Anything
red?
he's heard about is the wyverns.
Our fireballs don't affect the red.
Didn't even think of
one.
dragon,
Well, yeah.
None of y'all have ever come across
greens or
a
blacks
dragon or a
or
wyvern. It's
yellows.
only the stories and the tales you've heard.
Yeah,
So.
what we needed was a green dragon gassing us. That would have been nice too.
I figured he was gonna whoop out his wonder fireballs and go to town on her or something.
You waited until you heard the color.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured if he went to town on it, realized it wouldn't do much damage,
Much done.
Exactly.
Probably would have healed the thing. Oh, it was only down to 5 hit points, but once you fireball.
So let's start riding and walking towards the cave.
Well, y'all right now, you're still a half a day's ride out from that village you were headed to versus the
And
cave.
Tim wants to
Y'all,
find out what the hell's going on.
y'all were gonna go into that village, I guess, to get
Oh,
additional
okay.
clues
Right,
originally.
enough of that.
Y'all went, instead of going this way to the cave, y'all went kind of this way off
Okay,
to the town.
okay, well, let's start proceeding to that.
Yeah.
Towards the town, half day ride. It's 3 in the morning. I mean, you can either sleep your last 3 hours.
Yeah, I
or head
go to
towards
point
town.
again, I go to point.
We'll get back to sleep after that.
Yeah, there you go. The adrenaline's pumping.
I'm really awake.
All right, now remember, you guys are short 2 horses. So you're gonna have to double up somewhere on a horse or 2.
I'm not doubling up, I'm just jogging. Dwarves get to ride in the back.
That works. Dwarves right in the back.
There we go.
But now Tim's got his own pony. I know he has it, so I don't know who else is riding.
Who lost
There's
the
2
horse?
people without
I
horse.
My horse was dead.
All right, your horse is dead, and 1 other horse is dead. Anybody want to volunteer a horse or me to pick a horse?
I saved my horse.
Yeah, you saved your horse.
Actually, the spare horse died.
The spare horse. There's no spare horse.
Oh.
Okay, so your horse is dead.
Yeah.
And,
Nice try, James.
oh, and the half orc's horse is dead. So.
Oh, no.
You lost your horse too, a
Yeah.
lot of this.
Nah,
Yeah.
credit somebody else's.
She gets to ride on somebody else's. She's gonna force somebody else off their horse.
Yeah.
She's the half orc. She can do it.
Yes. She has this glorious
Especially with the sword.
So who's gonna double up with the half orc?
Well, it's not the scout. I have a light horse and I'm riding point, so somebody else is gonna double
Okay,
it.
you-
The paladin has a war
All
horse.
right.
That would probably be.
And I guess you're riding on the back of whose horse there, Mr. Drummer Man?
I'm jogging.
Oh, you're not gonna ride horseback?
Heck no.
Okay.
He's
You're gonna
drummer. He's
I can jog much faster than these horses can trot. Common knowledge.
Okay, so you're gonna get back on the road, head to town.
We're about
All right.
5
so
minutes.
far.
Y'all will arrive at a little bit slower pace than normal. But you'll get to town since it's 3 in the morning, you're leaving, you'll be there by, noon, a little before noon.
Okay.
As you come into town. Get in town, you notice right as you get into town, there's a big burnt field, huge burnt field off to the left. I mean, it's acres and acres.
Now they tell us.
Well, but this isn't from the dragon. This is from the guy report telling you about the raid.
Bandit
The
reports
guy's
were
raiding.
saying they were burning.
And you're gonna come in there and
But it
find,
is weird.
you'll find the first buildings burnt when you get into town, on the left side, one on the right side. Looks like a home off behind a building has been burned.
But I'm looking for a bunch of hoof prints.
Well, you're gonna find hoof prints. I mean, there's hoof prints there from all kinds of horses. I mean, people that ride around town. If you
But I
wanna
mean,
go
is
circle
there
out-
like a group of a mass of horses?
Sure, if you get
that all-
outside to the far left side of town out there, you'll find where a bunch of hoof prints, a group, you know, if you would try to figure out the number, say, I don't have the rangers here, but, you know, it's a good set of hoof prints, probably a dozen or so horses.
And I'm
They were all
asking
headed off
the
towards the
druid
direction of
come
the
with me
cave.
To see if they can tell me about the size of the horses.
Sure.
They just look like standard sized horses, there isn't anything odd, they're all shoed, you know, they're all shoed horses, there's none that are not shoed.
You mean
Nothing,
unshod, yeah.
unshod, whatever. There's not, it's not like any of them look like heavy, like they're heavy war horses or on plate or anything like that. Just standard horses, nothing that would indicate anything other than a standard horse somebody would use.
I want to interview any witnesses to the raid.
Okay, well, if you were to ask around town, there's a few that can tell you they saw, but since it was at night, most of it was, you know, silhouette, just dark figures on horseback, you know, running through town. Some were getting off horses as they went into buildings to do stuff. People were being pushed down the street or run over with horses on occasion. You know, they saw weapons brandished and know they heard screams. But I mean, nobody saw a face or anything. It was at night.
How many do you think there were?
12 to 15, I don't know, a dozen or more. That's all I really tell you, 12, 15, something like that. They didn't think there was much more than that. I mean, that's just.
Did they hear any of them speak at any time?
No speaking.
None, no
No
commands?
speaking, no commands or anything. Totally silent. Come into town, did their business, left.
Did anybody see anyone? Could they identify them as human or otherwise?
They disappear human. From what they can tell, from what they see, either from the moonlight, the fires as they occur, they just look human.
Some animals and.
Are they masked?
Didn't speak as
Are they cowled? Can they, do they have, you know, are their faces visible?
As far as they know, there weren't any masks, no.
One has been
Don't
killed,
appear to
and
be
it was a
masks.
human.
Yes, there's been one killed in the past, in the last 6 months, not necessarily for this town, but has been killed in the past, it was a human. It was taken back to the king, they've gone over the material, what they have, trying to see if they can identify where they might be from, the type of clothes they wear, things like that, but there's really nothing descriptive about who these people are, like they're from somewhere else or whatever, it just looks like anybody else that would live in the kingdom.
And they've never taken captives.
As far as anyone, nobody ever reported captives, nobody ever reported captives or people missing. Anybody who's been missing has been found dead. You know, so the ones that, for instance, that chase them, go into the cave and come back, they're assumed dead. Those in the town, if they don't see them in the morning, they found them dead somewhere.
And there were some fatalities during this attack?
Yes, there was 4 killed in this attack.
What killed them?
They were killed by, 2 of them were killed by, like, crushed, maybe run over, trampled by horses, knocked down. Okay, 2 others were killed by weapon of some sort, one sharp weapon, one blunt weapon.
Okay, I'm gonna proceed slowly along the path that the bandits left on.
Oh, back out of town.
Back out of
the
town,
cave. I wanna like pick up any horses.
Just,
Yeah, we need 2 more horses.
Okay.
just trying to use my
You're tracking
critical
into
assessment skills
there we go.
to see if they dropped anything or if I see anything unusual along.
You don't find anything out of the ordinary. I mean, it's not, there's no parts or pieces of anything left out of the order that doesn't belong out where, you know, just.
Or if they dropped any of the loot.
Well, you don't even know what the took, without asking, see what kind of things are missing. But no, you don't, there's nothing abnormal, just you're just tracking hoof prints in the dirt, some places it's muddy where it might be wet in a stream or something, depending how far out you get. If you guys are gonna go buy horses, you'll find a couple of decent horses down at the stable.
Are there
They're willing to
griffins
sell.
for sale?
They'll be a little more expensive than
Yeah,
normal
there's
because.
tons of them.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
No, they got a great drum score.
If you, since you were inquiring earlier, I assume you may still have the same curiosity once you're in the town, you're saying, oh, it's funny, we haven't heard about the dragon, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the dragon itself, yes, these people are aware of the dragon, the previous town's not aware of the dragon, other than if you were to ask someone, they've heard stories of the dragon, but they aren't aware of any specific things about the dragon. The dragon doesn't seem to bother the town for the last 60 years, the dragon's been in the area. They only see the dragon on occasion, maybe every month or so. And so they usually take to allowing some of their animals stray on occasion because they know he comes in the area and hunts. And so just to be sure he hunts and stays away, they sometimes let some of their livestock roam around just for the strict reason to allow the dragon to eat without bothering their town. And for the last 60 years, they've never been directly attacked by the dragons.
I have a drum beat
Nobody
that
has-
changed that.
And their world, so the dragon doing his little back and forth out there, he was just hunting, and of course, had he found something, he would have eaten it, but.
Well, if they have a local music store, be sure.
Obviously,
to
y'all
get
did a
some
little bit
symbols
of-
to go with your
Apparently it's burnt to the ground.
That was one of the things that burned was the music store.
Hey, you know, every village we go to from now on, I'll bet that music store is burned down.
Well, the symbols wouldn't have burned down, they're metal.
That's the
Yeah,
scouts.
but they're all
Yeah, people start playing Kelly
Going to the town.
They're all warped.
burned out.
I think his training
If
was
you
on-
find any, be
in
sure to
Kelly.
insist on clerical symbols instead of music.
So,
Is there a leather worker in town?
sure.
Great, I'd like to talk to you just a few minutes.
Oh, no, he's not making any damn skins. No, no.
Stop it!
No.
Quit taking away my fun!
Yeah, well, your fun's gonna kill us all.
Mr. Authority, how were the dead handled?
The dead were buried by their respective families. 2 of them were buried in the town grave, the other 2 were buried at their homesteads.
We should check out that graveyard.
I'm not digging out any dead bodies. No. Dwarves don't do that.
How long ago did they?
All of the.
This rain was about 3 days, this is about 3-4 days ago now.
If it's
Have all
vampires,
the
how long
bandit
does that take?
bodies been sent to the king, or were they?
There's only ever been one bandit body and it was taken back to the king.
They got nothing from him?
Nothing in particular, that's what I said, they went through all his belongings that they found on him, his clothing, things like that, trying to identify, maybe they were from someone particular. They can't identify anything specific, but that's where the magic user was gonna have the ability from some of his stuff to be able to magic you to a location without dropping you off in the mountain.
Did the king have any clerics whatsoever? Did they speak with the dead?
Yes.
But they still couldn't get any input?
Y'all didn't ask those questions back in town with the king,
Okay.
to see what they might have discovered.
Turnabout's fair play there.
But obviously they didn't get enough information to be able to tell you where to go other than through the cave, and they could magic you probably to the location.
The king must be behind all this, and it's a setup.
That's why I said
And
we
they're-
should have sacked the place to begin with.
They're trying to get rid of us, because we're the only threat to finding out that the king is behind
We're
it.
the only threat to
The
ourselves.
king loved my drumming, I can't believe it.
Oh, I didn't tell me that.
Yeah. He loved my drumming.
He warned me to take away your drumsticks.
He did
So,
not.
you
Yes, he
guys,
did.
it's, like I
He
said,
did to
it's 1
practice.
o'clock, 2 o'clock, you're still at your standard riding pace, which I consider like a trot. You're about 5 hours or so from the cave.
Oh, I wanna
Of
get
course,
there
you can
tonight.
Absolutely.
obviously ride faster to get there quicker, you know, put a little more wear and tear on the horse, but it's up to you.
Do the townspeople know anything about where the dragon comes from?
No, just in the mountains somewhere, they have no clue.
So he could come from the same cave.
Probably not, I would think not, because the dragons usually perch high up, they're not gonna be on the ground walking the cave and then like be up there somewhere. Just in general.
Well, let's stay here and leave it first light, then we can get to the cave. while
Yeah, if you
there's
left
still
now,
some-
you're gonna get there around 7 in the evening, about a couple hours of daylight left, maybe an hour and a half daylight left.
That's perfect,
Or you can
it's
wait-
dark anyway.
Or you can go wait till the morning,
Yeah.
your choice, your choice.
Yeah.
I'll just sneak up to the cave entrance, we should go now.
My fixed drums sound as good
We
in the
would
night
then be
as they do
sleeping
in the
inside
day.
the cave. I have no problem with that.
I agree
We'll
with
get there at
Kraus. I think if we are trying to approach in covert manner, the darkness is an aid for us.
If we get there at
rather
7
than-
PM, it's not like we need to immediately, what's your bedtime?
Right.
He's a paladin.
For non-drinking dwarf.
dark.
Yeah, he has to go to bed.
Yes, I did do it, man. Come on.
Be nicer to the paladin.
No.
So y'all wanna stay the night here and leave in the morning, you wanna leave right out and get there a couple hours before
Now.
sundown?
Now.
Votes for now.
We got
What kind of rest?
For now.
Now.
Excuse me,
Going
what
down.
kind of rest have we had? How much time did we spend getting?
Y'all slept for about 6 hours before the incident. So y'all may be a little tired by the end of the day as far as sleep goes, but I mean, it's nothing gonna hurt you, it's only 1 day's worth.
Good adventures.
Yeah, you could go probably go a full day without sleep, be all right, but
We're
you've got 6
hardcore.
hours, come on. you're
Well, I'm down one to resist fire, but that's it.
Yeah.
Well, let's proceed then.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all headed out? towards the cave.
Could you give me an hour to fix my drums?
Nope. No, I don't think that's giving you an
I
hour.
understand.
Alright,
Here.
y'all headed back kind of northeast now, northwest, back towards the cave. And as you ride, there's nothing really eventful that occurs. There is a stream that runs on this side near the mountain, kind of runs along the mountain for a ways and then back off through the valley, through the rolling hills that way. You'll find some muddy footprints there, disturbed areas where there's lots of hoof prints. So it's probably where they travel through when they come. And as you get closer to the cave, there's lots of, it's a big cave, okay? So you get to the side of the mountain, it's just hard, looks like, like granite type stone, gray, hard rock. The opening's about as wide as, say, 4 to 5 horses or so, right abreast. So it's a good sized cave, and it's probably as tall. So, you're talking 18, 20 feet type cave entrance. And as you look into it, the cave just, it goes for 40 yards or so and kind of curves off, and then I don't know how far you want to go in, but it seems to appear the same size as you look.
Does it seem to go up or down at all?
It doesn't seem to go up or down. It just, if anything, it just kind of rise and fall a few inches here and there. There's no apparent up or down.
What kind of weather we got out here?
It's nice weather, just regular, it's spring-like weather. It's probably 78 to 80 outside.
Okay, I've got the same idea in my
No, it's
mind.
Texas it is.
Yeah, spring, 78 to 80. It's like
80.
spring
That's
in
early
Texas.
summer in the Midwest.
High summer in Alaska.
He sweats a little in his full plate during the day.
Well, he always does.
So.
That's
I know what you said about the
self-imposed
natural
burden.
history, but I've still got this bug in my mind.
About what?
How big is the cave entrance compared to the size of the dragon? I just want to make sure we're not walking into the dragon.
I would think if the dragon were to put his wings down and squeeze, he might be able to get his face in the hole, but I don't know if I get his whole body. Okay.
There we go.
How wide across is this again?
About 18 to 20 foot.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is unfurl that king's banner. Okay?
He's been toting along all the time.
No, I grabbed it. I grabbed
Oh,
it.
he gave it to you.
I'd like to
Well, we
stand
took
in
away
front
his
of the
drum, we
cave.
had to have something to put
Okay.
I'd like to stand in front of the cave and use the leather worker's horn.
Where did he get a horn?
The leather worker.
He went to the leather worker and bought a horn. Okay, he's tweeting now. Okay, you hear it echo. You hear it echo.
Now that's great. So that they know that the king is now here.
Well, I'm not sure they know that this is the king.
It's like somebody who can't play a horn with the
I'm not
legs
sure
out
whose
there.
numbers they think it is, but I doubt they think it's the king's.
The
king planted.
I'm using the king's coronation
Playing
music.
about a year ago.
Well, you don't play it
Probably-
back.
Oh, I don't play well. Dang it.
Sounds more like a moose getting strangled.
Yeah, that's
Hold that plant before it's
I try to use the king.
That's okay, but nothing happens. I mean, you guys hear him echoing the sound down the
Echo that sound, yeah.
No,
I can hear that.
And you know what,
Once I
Jim?
find I'm not playing it good, I have
Hey,
to
Jim,
stop.
you know what? The fourth echo still sounds bad.
and it's about an hour before sundown. So
Okay, an hour before sundown.
let's go. What do you guys want to do? You want to go in the cave or you want?
There's another tune for you to
Let's go
play.
in. You
Let's
head
go
the
in,
cave?
it's dark inside, what's the difference?
Okay.
Torches.
Are you torches? Okay, torches up. We're gonna ride single file, 2 abreast. You could not ride
Riding.
4 or 5 abreast because there's a curvature to the.
I'm
you
not
probably
riding,
ride 3 abreast.
we're riding into the cave.
If you want to, I don't know. I asked you. They ride.
Is that what this thing is rideable into, right?
It's right
I'm
on to
just
3 abreast.
Do the horse
Okay,
Right.
and I'm reading my
go into
horse.
the cave?
Yep. And and you see a lot of dirt and dust to the cave, but the floor of the cave is more hard than dirt, so there'll be places you won't see tracks where it's actual rock and other places.
I think we should start spending about half
Rest on
of
horseback if you want in the cave.
Casting
Lead
a
our
spell.
horses.
Me, orc, and dwarf paladin, front rank.
Casting a spell.
Something to do with
Like-
traps?
Okay, you got light going. We cast light on.
I think I'll bless
Casting it
everybody.
as far ahead and upwards as looks feasible. So I
That's-
want it high in the cave.
That's about 40, 50 yards.
Okay, and I want it as far in as I can get it.
Okay.
I have a 12-inch range. It'll last almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
let me know if I
I'm
can-
blessing the group.
Okay, everybody's got a bless.
Finally, after all.
That
the
lasts
curses
like
we got.
3 minutes.
3 minutes is 3 minutes. Come on. I'll do it again in 10 minutes.
All
I don't think we should ride it.
I hope you have some more
Yeah,
blessings.
we're kind of all getting off our horses. That's
Well, right now, that's what they're deciding, whether they wanna ride in on the horses 3 abreast, or you wanna walk in the cave, it's up to you.
I'm leaving my
Horses.
faithful
I wanna
pony.
leave my horse outside the wall.
The bandits bring their horses with.
Aren't there horse parks?
But.
You
Yeah, there's
think-
horse marks, so you can see where bandits have ridden in here, so they obviously ride through here on their horses.
I don't mind
Because
riding.
when we
I'm
try
walking
to
my
get
horse.
away, if we need to get away, we wanna be on horseback, cause they're gonna be.
Well, that's why
Unless we
I'm
take
walking
our
my
horses.
horse through,
Oh,
not
you wanna walk
riding
in?
it.
I'm leading my horse in.
Yes, I'm not
Yeah.
And
riding.
I try to stay behind anybody who's still mounted.
Yeah.
Dwarf, I'm gonna be in there, I'm riding with my horse eventually.
I'm
I'm looking around warriors.
I'm leading my horse in and.
Yeah, you're leading
I'm
the horse,
positioning
she's
my-
leading the horse.
Listen to me.
Okay,
Don't fill it up.
have
Anybody who
horse
stays
in,
mounted,
I know
I'm
that.
behind.
okay, us 3 fighter types are mounted.
Okay, so you're mounted,
Yeah.
she's mounted?
Yep,
Okay, and y'all are in the lead,
yep.
But
abreast, okay.
I'm looking at the stonework to see if this place has been worked.
You have light, so
Yes.
that'll help the examination.
If there's any, like,
You can't tell specific, yeah, it could be on the dwarf, you can't tell specifically how this was cut out. Some of it looks like there was tool marks, but not all of it. Some of it looks almost like the rock was melted at some point in places, but not all of it. So it's been a combination of something over the years that's,
and I'm also trying to see if there were any defensive traps at the entrance.
I got you.
Like,
Yep, no, you're not spotting anything out of the ordinary, other than it's just a big rock cave.
And I'm leading my horse also.
Okay, you guys are behind the guys on horseback leading your horses. Okay, so you're gonna lead 3 abreast as well?
Leads on also.
Okay, so I got, who's the middle 3 leading, and who's the back 3 leading the horses? I got 6
I'm
pulling.
in the left side of the middle. Then in the second
Middle,
row.
you're the second row on the left side, I got you.
Kraus was watching the party rear, but now you've moved up front.
I'm gonna make
So
it
we
the
need,
table, so.
I guess I'm stuck with the rear, I'm in plate mail. So, and I can fight half.
Okay, I got Curt, I got Jeff, and I got, is it Jillian?
Are we in the front?
Yep, on your horses, 3 abreast.
Good.
And I got Dennis, who's in the middle with you, Dennis? Leading the horse?
You have that big fucking sword.
You're gonna be in the back.
You'll be in the rear.
Alright, I got,
Leading my
Remember
horse.
that,
Yeah, I got
big
Frank
walking
leading
sword
horse.
up there.
Tim, you're leading your horse, are you the
Oh,
second
yeah,
row or
my
third
pony,
row?
I'm leading my pony.
Second row or third row?
Third row, middle.
No,
I'll
that's
watch
Frank,
back.
Frank's middle.
All right, I don't care, I've got a ranged weapon, so I'll watch it back. I'll
Third
hit it
row,
back.
right or left?
Okay.
Okay, put Tim on the right. Are you gonna be the very back or second row?
How many ranks do we have?
3. You're walking 3 by 3, basically. 3 on horse back in the front, and then the other 6 are leading them. Yeah.
Front ones are riding,
I'll be in
the
the
rest of us are
middle
leading.
center.
Middle center, okay, that's Rob right here behind Jeff and in front of Frank. Where are you,
Sure.
Errol?
So you're like right.
whatever's
smack
open.
in the middle.
Okay, there's 2 spots left open. One's for him and one's for you.
Okay.
One of them is far left
Go
bottom.
any which
That's
direction.
fine.
One of them's here,
Once you
one of
center
them's here.
yourself.
Why don't you go in the middle and I'll go in the back?
Okay.
Okay, so back here
Oh,
we have
God.
Jim.
Oh,
Drummer
no, he's
boy.
in the back.
And,
I get the drummer boy, that's
no,
all right.
he doesn't have the drum, but he
We'll
has the
smack
horn.
Me and him.
He doesn't have the
I'm
horn.
carrying a long walking staff, I'll just reach over and
Okay, well,
smack
I'm
that
not
horn
taking
out.
the
Makes up the third rank here.
Yeah, there you go.
And if he gets too bad, I'll web him.
Okay, so y'all headed into the cave.
I got a silence.
Forget wasting the whole planet.
As you get 50 yards or so, as you get into where there's light is, you kind of pass beneath the light, and the cave just kind of, starts to meander a little off the other direction, up a few feet, down a few feet. And as you get to the end of his light, now probably, 60, 70 yards in the cave, as his light starts to fade, because you're curving enough, you're not catching all the light. Those of you, well, you roll.
Hey,
Who's
my
the
light's
who's the
not
other, who's the
fading.
other
You are.
dwarf? Who's the other dwarf? Who's the other dwarf? Oh, you roll. 29.
Roll.
And
Okay.
Good number.
dwarf and hard.
Well, you notice, whether you tell anyone or not, that now that you've traveled about 70 yards into the cave appears to be a little bit wider. Not a lot, but you're noticing it's a little bit wider than it was, maybe by 10 feet. Not huge, but he hasn't noticed it yet.
Due to the widening of which areas?
Well,
I'll be like, it's getting a little more spacious.
yeah, it seems to be more space. It's right. It seems like it's maybe 4 or 5 feet on either side wider, maybe even a little bit taller.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
and
So you're saying is we've also gained some ceiling?
Yes, a little bit of ceiling.
We have torches out, yes?
Yeah, some of the party has
Not me,
torches.
I'm using infravision.
I want somebody watching
Well,
the
just
sides to
torches,
see if there's any passages.
But now as you're looking,
concealed
but now as you're going ahead, those are the
I
information.
say, let
And
us
see,
stop here
it's still
and,
dark.
and let me go forward.
But it's gonna get darker as
investigate.
we get away from his light spell that's up there, but you're gonna be able to see with your torch, and you'll see the
I'd
shadows.
like to suggest a stop to the party. I'm gonna proceed very slowly ahead and investigate for the next.
Okay,
15
are you gonna
seconds.
try to pull the horse or go without the horse?
You wanna leave the
I'm
horse with
also
us?
leaving the house.
Okay, you're leaving the horse?
Yeah,
All right,
we'll take care of his horse.
all right, he'll go between the
Very
front
brave
ranks,
of you.
and he's headed out.
Make you an especially sneaky horse.
Until something else
Stealth
happens,
horse.
just as
We need
a
to get a
general
stealth
rule,
horse.
as I'm going along on the left as we proceed, I'm gonna be looking to see if there are any.
We're not proceeding yet, though.
I understand.
He's just saying from now on, he wants me to know he's doing
Yeah.
this, until he knows.
I'm gonna be looking for, see if I spot any secret doors on the side or any, footprints. that
Yeah,
go
out of
into
the, out of the
wall.
ordinary type stuff, okay, okay. So you're gonna leave them behind in
Now,
the
if
cave,
it's a
and how far are you gonna go
4-0
out?
horse, then it has several feats, including detect danger and all sorts of things.
401k, don't give it.
How far out are you gonna
Yeah,
advance
you're
there,
riding a
Rob?
magic horse who can detect
Master Rob,
magic.
Master Rob, how far out are you gonna go and leave the party standing there? How many, 50 yards, 100 yards?
I don't know, I'm using my infravision by getting away from the light source.
I got you.
And I wanna see what the accomplishment, if this thing continues to go out, it goes down, it goes up, and what I see within it for.
Yeah.
For how long, I mean, how much can I see in front of me? I mean, I have 60 feet.
Yeah, well,
How much, you draw us out a little diagram for us.
it's all in here, man. It's all in here. Okay, as you're going out ahead, you can see you're 60 feet ahead of you, but obviously, as the cave is darker, there's nothing to see in particular. You can tell that, you can see the cave walls to some extent, and at a distance, you're gonna lose most of your light at that point, your infrared, because there's nothing heat to see.
So you're saying we're entering a ever-expanding area here?
Well, we don't know if it's expanding, you're not.
It's only expanded a little.
It's only
bit.
expanded a little bit at this
I'm
point.
not-
I stop and I start walking here, and I'm trying to find the parameters. I'd like a map.
We could be shrinking.
Okay?
We don't need a map.
You could be shrinking.
Are you mapping?
I am now.
Well, if somebody wants to map, that's fine, but
You can map.
yeah, it's, if you actually wanna, get out there and measure it, you'll have to go out about another 60 yards or so, and then you might detect that it appears to be about another 3 or 4 feet wider. You really can't tell by height because it's too
So
dark.
what you're saying is that we're in a space that continues to expand, and it's trunk, well, it's actually inverted trunk. Okay?
Possible. Yes.
Yeah,
Up to
possibly.
this
I'm
point.
gonna,
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna
it
stop at one
appears that
point,
it
I'm
started
gonna
this
stop
big
at
here,
1.50
and by the
yards
point
out.
where you're at, even though it's
I'm
still a
gonna
little
move
distance from the mountain,
laterally
it's got a little
back and
wider.
forth
a little
for a
higher.
long time. I'm trying to
Suggestion?
get a bearing about how wide this is and how long it is.
Well, it started around 18 to 20 feet wide, then it started around 30 feet,
No,
28
I'm
feet,
not
and now you're up
concerned
to
with
around
what's
40 feet.
behind me, I'm concerned with what I've discovered.
Lead
Yeah.
people, quick comment, this
Yeah.
would be an ideal place for a concealed pit. Where you go
Yeah,
right
ideal place
down the
for-
middle and then
Yeah.
kaboom.
I've
So
been
basically-
looking for them.
Yeah, but the folks in front are up on horses, and perhaps a tap the ground with 10-foot holes thing might work
I
better.
can cast a detect snares.
Is anybody
and
carrying
pits.
10-foot pole?
That might help.
But it only gets simple pits underground. so-
Yeah.
But if no one else has a detect traps.
Well, I have a full-blown fine trap, but
Maybe
it's
save.
limited range and it only runs half hour.
We drove,
So-
Well,
we
this is
drove
much
dwarves
shorter
in
than that.
spell pits.
Are we sure? Oh, we still see-
Working over there.
I didn't know, I'm sorry. It's true.
Any end in sight? Looks like
Not
this
yet, no,
keeps
looks like it
going
keeps
forever.
going, yeah, you're only, again, if he comes back and reports between where you're at and where he's gone, it's only about
I'll
100
burn-
yards or so
I actually
in.
took two, I'll burn one, it lasts like 10 minutes.
All right.
So I'm gonna cast a
Hey,
detect
we should
snares
go full
and
light,
pits,
okay.
we're only at pits underground, so we can move
What's your
forward.
range on that, do you recall?
It's,
Errol, say 68
Was that a
feet.
Drew?
It goes out about 40 feet or so, doesn't it?
Drew 1, Drew 2?
second level.
I think it's-
Drew
I
2.
think it's-
But
Okay.
don't cast it until the scout comes back
It's-
and we
right,
start
it's
proceeding.
40 feet
Oh, yeah,
out.
after
about
about
100 feet.
100 feet, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come back and report that it
Yeah.
appears to be a little bit wider from where you're standing now, and you can't really
Keep
tell it's much
scanning.
taller. but-
Yeah. We
Yeah.
can go forward 10 minutes with the spell
So-
active.
So, well, okay, you're traveling along, about 10 minutes, I'm gonna say you've probably gone another 100 yards at least.
You're looking
So you're in
up,
the cave a couple hundred yards, at least 200, 225 yards, and you can definitely tell from when you first came in, the cave is definitely wider, and with your torchlight, you can tell it's also larger, so, taller. So it seems to be about still circular in nature, it's not like it's abnormal or anything. There's still the same type tool marks and or some odds and ends of marks that may or may not be from tools. But now the cave's definitely wider. Instead of being 20, it's now around 45 or so feet in all directions, you know, as far as height, width.
Are there any stalactites?
No. It's like something bore this thing out. It's not like
Yeah,
a
like
natural
a
made.
lava vent.
It's not like a natural made cave of any type, you know. So parts of it may have been natural at one time. That's why you see some of those type. It would look like it's natural, but somebody's been in here and honed it out with some tools or with some magic.
Is this still
we don't know.
granite?
Yeah, it all looks like solid rock, chunks of rock. You know,
No, you take it for granted.
yeah,
Are there any like etchings on the wall or anything?
no etching.
Well, let's fix that. I pull out a piece of chalk. And leave some
Somebody
graffiti.
Leave some
bore out
graffiti.
granite
Yeah, right.
and they're smooth
Do you have
walls.
chalk on your list?
Are these walls smooth or rough unit?
No, they're in places they're rough, still marks. It looks like, I told you, there's
I
places
didn't
that
even
look
go
like
for colored chalk.
there's
just
even
plain
parts
old
of
chalk.
some of the rock that looks, you know, melted to some extent. I mean, it has that kind of, you know, something like,
Fused.
yeah, fused
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I write in common, Glupus was here.
Okay,
There we go.
all right, so about 225 yards in.
It's very
And
silly.
there's still no end in sight. You're not seeing a light from the end of the tunnel or anything yet, so you're somewhere in the middle of the mountain, I would presume, if you were taking a line.
I would really feel better off to one side of this passage rather than right
I would
in
like
the
the
middle.
dwarf, I'm gonna talk to Tim's character, the dwarf. What's your name?
Tim.
I'm talking to Tim's character.
Tim. Tim the dwarf.
And I'm gonna ask him to examine the rock to see if this, within the confines of history, when was this formed in your estimate? This boring
Oh,
and
and where
fire?
did they bore it out?
If you talk about the different parts of it, you have no clue on the natural stuff, how long it's been here. The tool marks look like they could be, you know, a couple decades old, not too long ago, 20, 30 years type
How
thing.
about the firing?
The molten one's a little harder to tell. He's not sure. That could be as recent as, you know, a few years back to centuries. It's just hard to say.
Yeah, fused rock.
Because the way it's
pretty much
fused.
looks like fused
Yeah,
Yeah,
rock.
it's fused rock. It really could give you a good estimate there. The tool marks will give you a little better estimate, but they're only 30 years old, maybe 20.
Okay, as we proceed in, I'm sticking near the left wall, so I can still keep looking.
We have no information upon something that's been excavated of this nature in this yard by the king.
He said to.
Oh, you can, he's obviously a
It's all
builder.
that the king excavated.
You know.
It's behind
Less
us.
than normal.
That's what I said at the
Well,
beginning.
if you actually
Hey, I was all for it. I said, just like nice at the dinner table. That's good. That was good.
But as we came in, there were no tailings.
EPs, right? It's all about EPs. I'm gonna get.
So, do you want to proceed off to the left on the cave? Do you want to stay abreast? Because now the cave's wider, you can obviously ride
Yeah.
5 or 6 abreast
No,
at
I'm
this point if
staying
you
on-
want.
Yeah.
Or you can stay in
The
single
They can
file.
be in the middle or whatever, but I'm gonna be on the left.
You're on the left side or elsewhere.
We'll stick to the left side.
Are y'all all going to stick to the left side basically?
Yeah, I'll stick with the left.
Single file, 2 wide, 3 wide, so you're covering half the cave, how you want to do that?
Not being that regimented about it.
Well,
We
yeah.
should, we certainly should. We should work
Well,
out a plan and vote on it.
I think
but-
that we should spread out. I think we should widen the area between each other so we cover more space and we're less
No sign of life.
So far, no sign of life, no.
susceptible to an
Nothing
area.
to
Hey, on horse driving?
Yeah,
Nope, no horse drive.
But
no
not
more
even.
areas, see more stuff.
No, you're not spotting any
Spread
bugs.
out a bit.
I mean, you might have
What
a
I'm
gnat or
suggesting
mosquito on
we take
occasion,
as a
you know, it
skirmish.
flies around,
But
but
no
nothing,
drop.
You know,
no dropping.
in a large area like this, otherwise we'd be.
Something must be cleaning it up.
Yeah,
Because
no
you
doubt.
ride horses through here.
Yeah.
There's no signs of bats, you know, anything like that.
No, the
Okay.
point is, Rob, we're
Just
looking,
make
it's
sure
no
nothing's
horse
like above
drop,
us,
it's
so
nothing.
that's installed.
Yeah, there's
Nothing
nothing,
alive,
there's
no
nothing up there.
insects.
All the sides look the
There's
same as
another
the top,
passage.
the same as the
There's
walls.
probably a secret, this is Alibaba, you know, and we have to find a secret passage.
Is there any?
Well, I'm doing my
strong
dwarven
breeze
best
or
to
anything
look for.
You got a little bit of a breeze
But I
coming
haven't found
through.
anything
Yeah,
yet.
if
I don't know what else,
you
but
feel a
I
little
do
bit of
that.
cool air, but it's not fast or whooshing or anything. It's just a light little breeze coming through. It's actually coming towards you.
Is it stale or fresh?
No, it's fresh. I mean, there's no.
Coming
you're not getting a
towards
smell
us
still.
or coming at us?
It's coming
Towards us.
towards you in your face. The breeze comes from the direction you're headed. It's.
Wasn't that odd?
Yep. And it's not. There's no scale to it. No
Is
scale
it
to it.
because wouldn't we have picked up a draft earlier since there's events?
He just asked, and I said,
Okay.
okay. Nobody said they were trying to detect something like that. So you got a little bit of a
That's
draft.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair, nobody asked if there was a
Yeah, there's no breeze.
I suggest a
I mean,
brief
look at-
pause and a
Nobody asked how to
thorough
smell.
search to see
He
if
did.
there's
He
any
asked if it was stale.
scales
I said
laying
no.
around or other traces, claw marks, anything to indicate how this was made.
Good idea.
Or what, because it's real suspicious. There's not even a single horse apple through here, yet there were horse tracks.
Right. And if you look at the areas where you can see dirt, because there's some areas that are still hard, like the rock, and some areas where there's actually, you know, it's been crushed in time, so it's like dirt on the rock. You can see hoof prints, so you know there's been activity through here. That hasn't changed. It's not like there hasn't been horse activity, but there are no horse drives. You haven't come across any horse drives.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I'm actually gonna get off my horse.
Well, I gotta
Point,
check
so I'm gonna
basic-
close
Okay.
the
But I got a
ground.
base chance as a dwarf simply to see it with information in stone.
I'm still trying to
You're
smell out.
still trying to-
smell out those pits.
Smell out those pits. Okay, you smell pits.
I
I assume they're still
would
gonna move
find
forward
those
then,
pits.
just
Yeah.
move forward at a regular pace. Right.
No results on the
But it
stairs and
depends on
pits,
how he-
obviously.
No results on stairs and
It lasts
pits.
about 20 minutes, but it's.
Yeah, I got you.
Find out
So
what's
at the end of your 20 minutes and your spells are wearing off or whatever, we're still walking the torches. We probably got another 100 yards. We're right around 350 yard mark
And
or
we
so.
spread across in a single line still?
No, y'all are kind of in a half-ass, excuse the term, jagged group of people that's not really abreast anymore because they're trying to space out, not to all fall in the pit
Well,
at
I'm gonna
once.
go on
You're
the
kinda-
other side against the wall and start
Half-ass.
inspecting the walls.
It's called a skirmish advance, thank you.
Well, it depends on what
Okay.
book you read.
One point, I want to light up a hooded lantern,
Yeah.
Okay,
Tell me about
going.
tactics.
because I don't like
I don't
breezes
think
and
it's about
open
that.
light sources when I'm human, and if they all get blown out by that
Sure.
breeze, then.
Yeah, the breeze isn't strong enough to blow out your torch.
Well, it might get
It
that way,
could.
so I want a hooded lantern to make sure it's
Okay.
not getting blown
Okay.
out, and I'll switch to that from my torch.
Which is about 350 yards in or so, and you know that the cave seems to be getting even bigger.
350 yards.
Yep, and it's still bigger. Yeah, it's a big mountain. It's actually getting bigger, you can tell, so, you know, right now you could probably ride it, or most of your
Pikes
group,
Peak
you know,
distance.
abreast if you had to. But you can tell that you're probably getting near an entrance, because the air seems fresher, the breeze isn't necessarily any more breeze.
Area.
But you're getting to some area that might be just up around the corner kind of thing, you know, feel like it's just up around the bend,
Should have gone around.
because you're you know, close. So there could be an opening somewhere.
You went ahead and gone through it.
Now, even if we're approaching the hole, we're not gonna see light because it's dark out, right?
Yeah, y'all went in here
It's
at
night.
dark times, it'll be dark.
Okay, I'm going ahead, once again, on foot.
Okay,
Your left side, I'll take right
Okay,
side.
and I'm
Information.
going to, I wish to hug a wall in this case.
okay.
Left wall, I'll take the right wall.
I'll take the left. And,
We were all over the left.
Most everybody was to the left.
He's going, yeah, and I purposely went to the
So y'all
right.
are gonna wait for these two guys to scout ahead of
I
it?
did,
Well,
start what
okay.
inspecting the
right, well,
walls.
we're gonna come in and see if this thing probably truncates. what-
Okay,
what
when you guys go ahead, probably about another 70 yards or so, then you can tell that there's an opening out ahead of you, probably another 50 yards, and it's still getting wider, you can tell. And of course, because you can see that you're no longer in the pitch dark, you can actually see the light of the night sky. And, you know,
Stars.
maybe stars, and maybe in looking against that silhouette, you can see, you know, parts of a tree or something, so you know that's a cave exit or something at that end, or tunnel exit.
Just curious, Mr. Druid, Mr. Sorry, that was a
Yeah, emphasis on the.
Can you tell which
Sound like a
direction
cat
we're
and cow to
facing
me.
by the star formations, whether we've curved and we're more to the west or east?
So I would then go out to where these guys.
Well, just peer out
You could
through the
triangulate
hole up
that.
ahead. I
Yeah,
can
Yeah,
see
well, yeah, if you wanna move up to about where you can
stars
see the hole, it's
Well,
another 50 yards ahead.
stars.
It feels like you're still facing north.
Okay.
You know, you get the detectors to, the cave is definitely wider now, you can tell. I mean, it's, when you first started, it was about 20 feet. Now it feels like this cave is well over 120 feet in all directions, you know, it's big.
And then it
So it
opens
went down
abruptly.
too?
Well, it didn't go down, it just, from where you're at, it's now 120 feet up here.
What did
150
that
feet on all
then
sides.
make, what is the opening?
That would make the opening 120
Well,
feet
that's what I'm
wide.
saying.
Yes,
It's a pretty grand opening.
it's a nice big opening at this end, yes.
Very good one. yeah.
It's gone from
So
20
it's
feet to
a-
120.
Yeah, it doubled, didn't it?
It didn't double, it six
Sextupled.
times.
Sextuple, went
Sextuple.
from 20 to
Went from
120.
20 to 100.
Well, we went
Hey,
from
it's
20
a
to
family
100.
show.
Yeah, from one end of the cave to the
Oh,
other.
I thought it was, I
No,
thought it was
that's
60.
sextuple.
No, it's 20 coming in, 120 at the other end.
Okay.
So now we're at the.
So you're 50 yards from the
Now
entrance,
we're
you're
at the
looking at,
wide
you feel
end
like
of
you're
the
100, so
funnel.
if you wanna get to the actual
I'm creeping
end.
along, continuing along the right wall, inspecting the walls
Okay.
with my dwarven skills and
When you get to
information
the,
until I get to the very
okay, when
edge
you get
of
to
the
the,
cave
when you get to
opening.
the edge of the cave opening, I mean, there's some type of countryside valley out here, you can see way out in the distance, other parts of mountains in the silhouette. You can tell there's a town of some type way down the hill, out there in the valley area, because you can see some buildings in the night light, some lights on in the buildings. But you've noticed that if you're paying close attention that there's a couple trees right outside the entrance, but the trees, these aren't trees that are 15 or 20 feet tall. Some of these trees are closer to 60, 65 feet tall. I mean, they're a lot taller than the trees we left before. Some of them are even taller than that.
What kind of trees are they?
They look kind of like the same oak trees you
It's
saw.
just gigantic?
Yeah, they're gigantic.
Old growth.
They're tall.
We had a hidden valley.
We went from this small area to this gargantuan proportion. We must be in Texas. Okay.
Or
we went through Texas.
Yeah, but anyway, there's big trees.
We haven't been checked by Jack.
All right, hypothesis.
I'm like, now, so can I tell these trees, like, they're bigger, they're much bigger, but you might think that on the theory that we've actually shrunk, you could tell the structure of a tree that was actually that much bigger would have certain textures to it that would suggest, you know, that it was a tree.
But you're the druid.
Yeah.
So you can tell the age of the tree.
Right.
So the age of the trees, they don't seem any older than the trees that were where you came from.
Right, okay, so that suggests something odd is going on.
Yeah,
Above
like
and beyond
we've
that,
been
if it
diminished.
was an actual tree that was that much larger, you'd be able to look at it and see certain structures within it, you know?
Sure,
Certain
right.
textures of bark would seem smaller or unnaturally larger if we were actually
I
smaller.
wanna go back through the tunnel,
Comparison.
get back to our normal size and go around the bloody mountain so we can.
So does it appear that the tree is?
The tree appears normal when you're looking at it, other than, I mean, it's larger. I mean, it basically looks like it's, 6, 8 times larger than what it should be based off the trees on the other side.
And we're in a tunnel.
Why would that be?
Because we
No,
shrunk.
he's looking at the tree, and he can tell the age of the tree. The tree is
Are there
small.
any
He's trying to
critters
tell by the age
around
of
out
the tree.
here?
Its size is just
You
about.
see a
like
10-foot squirrel?
size is
Yeah, I know,
normal
you're
size
dicing.
squirrel.
I think he would tell us if we saw a 10-foot squirrel, but I'll.
You haven't seen any, you haven't seen any animals yet. It's dark time. Most of them, there could be some nocturnals, but they're not here.
The tree.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it?
The tree's bigger in the same proportion
Exactly.
that the tunnel is
Yes,
bigger in the same
basically.
proportion.
Yeah.
As though we got smaller.
We didn't. I know.
Oh, okay.
Well, it depends on how you look at life. Either gets smaller, or everything else gets larger.
That's why I know we didn't.
So I don't know, y'all were just outside the cave entrance, or right at the cave entrance. I don't know.
We should investigate the town.
Well, could be there.
It's probably, it's just probably right at midnight. 11
They'll never
midnight.
see us, we're so small.
What if the bandits are hiding in miniature form on this side somewhere? And thus we're about their same size at the moment. But when they come riding through the tunnels, they expand up to normal size. And this is why nobody's been able to find them, because they're like micro-miniaturized by going through the tunnel just like we have been.
Well,
Thus, if we were to go around the mountain, I'm gonna contradict my own theory. If we were to go around the mountain, we probably wouldn't even be able to find them because they'd be so tiny. What if the tunnel works both ways? Makes us smaller as we go this way, and makes them smaller so they can go hide when they go this way. But when they're coming out to do their raiding, they expand out from micro size to big size.
But no one's ever.
I would
told us
suggest
whether-
we test the theory.
Well, we
by
don't know.
having-
Everybody who's come
by
into the
having
cave has never come
somebody
back.
stay inside the cave and go.
Everybody they've
outside.
sent
no
to
one
come.
can report.
No one's ever reported. They've always come into the
So
cave.
no one's-
Even up to
So I'm
50
saying,
men have ridden through this cave and
Where's the
never come back.
demarcation point for the man?
Dangerous place we're in.
I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if it's just an enlargement reduction that does both, depending on which way you
Well,
go.
Wait, so if we went like,
are you saying it's gradual as you go through the mountain?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Well,
but the mountain makes you bigger or makes you
back
smaller.
through, around the mountain and back through?
And
Gradually or
That's
permanently
the
or all at once?
It
And
looks
if you
like
went that way,
gradual, we
you
didn't
figure?
notice
Yes.
any change. I assume it affected us, and it also affected our equipment, so
Right,
we have
but
no
see,
yardstick to
continue-
measure it
everything's
by.
high- everything's starting to get bigger because we were shrinking.
Yes.
We're doing this all based on a big oak tree.
All we're doing is
I don't feel
upon
any
these that
different.
are all based upon the information.
I'm
that's
still
coming
shorter
from
than
the
you all.
science. You're right. Okay?
Can you speak with plants?
Is that a natural druid ability?
No.
No.
I do not have that spell.
No, it's
So
a-
just let
it's
them
a
concentrate
respectable
on it for a
spell.
night and
Yeah.
then.
That's my theory, that this is an larger shrinker.
Is there only
Mountain.
one tree or is
Amazing.
there?
Well, there's more trees out there. It's right here to the cave entrance. There's just 1 or 2 trees. You can see other trees here. The trees you get out towards
How
the
far
building.
does this go
Well, you
back?
can't tell because at your vantage point, everything looks off in the distance.
Right? Let's do
You know, especially at night, you really can't
I'm
tell
going
if
up
those are
to a
smaller or
tree.
larger
What about
trees right
Near
here.
the entrance, is
I'm
there
going,
like a,
yeah, these guys are going on. I'm gonna go up and get a branch that's either fallen or take one off a tree.
Okay, well, these are pretty big branches then.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'll take part of it then.
Okay.
I pare it
A
down.
smaller trip,
Okay,
smaller
and
twig.
then I'm gonna ride like hell back to the other end, and I'm gonna see the measurement of it. I'm gonna measure it to begin with.
Back towards my light.
Yeah,
Oh, you went out to the tree, well, but, back to the light in the cave.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna ride back to the
Going out,
cave,
getting
I
a
got you.
fallen branch.
and it's
I'm
gonna
gonna know
And
it's,
riding back through the whole cave to get back to my light.
Okay, as you ride, you're holding, let's say it's this long,
yeah.
and you're riding through the cave, all the way through the cave, nothing changes, as far as you know, other than the cave appears to get smaller as you get closer to his light. So when you get to light, it still seems this long.
No, I said I measured it.
Measured it, okay, you measured it with what?
Well, it doesn't matter. I take a measurement.
Oh, no, it does.
Oh, okay,
In his
okay,
perspective,
but
it
hold
does
on,
matter
but hold
what
on,
you
okay,
measure it
let's-
with.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, hold
Because
If
if
you're
I measure,
carrying a ruler, it gets bigger and smaller too.
no, I can
All right.
measure it with my
Okay,
finger.
okay, but here's your fingers.
Your
Okay, let's
fingers
say-
get bigger and
okay, but
smaller
look, right,
too.
But okay, let's say measure with this, and it's that long, it's as long as your finger.
shrinking.
When you get to the end back where the light is, it's the same.
Everything is even.
Casting.
It's even, yeah.
Casting is
What do you
about.
cast?
I am currently near the opposite end of this cave that we went through the whole cave to get to.
Yeah.
We looked at all the
Yeah.
giant trees.
Yeah.
Casting detect magic.
Detect magic, what, towards the new entrance
I
where you're
put
at?
it up and then I'm able to detect magic in a direction and just radiate around.
The whole area you're in, the cave, the whole valley,
checking the
everything
cave.
appears magic. The cave,
Okay, cave's magical, folks.
Yeah,
Looks like the
you're-
tree out there's,
you
I
got
don't
some-
think
you
I
got
can get the tree because I only have a 6-inch range.
yeah, you can get the tree, you can tell there's magic that emulates out in that area. It's not as heavy as the magic in the cave itself, but you get magic in the area right outside the cave for a distance as well.
I think we should get out of the cave and go around the mountain.
We should go become giants.
Well, we're already at the other end. Why would we go all the way back through and go around?
Okay, let's examine the situation. If our theory is correct and this has magically shrunk us, the
They'll be
bandits are
little
also
too.
magically shrunk on
Doesn't
this
matter,
side.
we're at the same size.
Yeah, but we might not be able to find them if we skip this shrinkage and go around. Because nobody else normal size has ever found them.
On the other hand,
Maybe they're living like in a snail's shell that's turned into a castle somewhere here.
We don't necessarily have to find them if we go around the mountain. If we find.
All we have to do is
it's yet
actually
big,
step on the snail shell.
we can
Okay.
close that off.
Gonna kill a lot of innocent snails.
Maybe. Closing the cave would definitely be a good thing, the way it looks.
Wait a second.
or,
As I see it.
or we could go back, go around the mountain, go down the cave a second time, then we
Yeah,
can
the
giant
concept
size,
doesn't
and
change.
go
And
back.
I thought of that, except then we'd be giants. Not only would we not find the bandits, but the townsfolk in the whole area would probably rise up against us.
Yeah, but we don't.
We can kick some righteous
That's a very
Well,
bold.
it's my it don't feel like you got
Okay,
shrunk.
We now figured it
But they're
out.
on a good theory.
So we are
That's a good
now-
option to look
Do
at.
we have a theory
It's looking
as to
for
what
needle in a
these bandits
haystack. We
really
could,
are?
as giants, cover an area.
There's all kinds of
magic to
tiny
find these.
humanoid guys.
One last
Who are
thing.
getting big and attacking the villages.
bandits.
Where are they getting tiny ones?
There is a village right in front of us.
There's a village down in the valley, you can tell it's down there.
Is it a tiny village?
Well,
You-
like I'm saying, it's dark,
normal.
and from your vantage point, it
Yeah.
looks normal in the distance.
Yeah.
It may be larger than normal if you could really pay that much attention to it, because everything else seems
I
large.
gotta mention
That
that.
tunnel kept going, right? And
No, you're at the end.
There's just two ends, the way we
Yep.
came in
Right,
and
the way you
the way
came
we
just
went
came
out.
in.
Oh, okay.
I gotta mention that Goofus here just pointed out our,
Lupus.
well, you say it your way. But he pointed out that our instructions are not necessarily to wipe out the bandits,
Right.
but provide enough clues and information to materially change the situation. And we
Right.
may have just done that, simply
Right.
finding out that this thing
The
is magical.
point is, this
We
is
would need to
probably,
test our theory and make sure it is an enlarging, shrinking thing, and not just, oh, it's magical, you know?
well, of course,
Gee,
this
it
might,
purifies water.
this also
Okay.
provides a clue as to why these other
I
groups
think.
are disappearing and not returning.
So I do think it behooves us to investigate somewhat at least. Now, if we get attacked by a 30-foot robin, then we know what's going on.
Yeah.
But should have
We're not in fantasy world anymore.
Do we have a dispel magic or something?
I have one.
Could we
No, I'm
possibly?
sorry, I skipped that one in honor, and I changed it, never mind.
Oh, we don't have dispel magic.
I don't have a dispel, do you have a
Sure,
dispel?
what I do is
For future
The dirt looks
reference,
bigger when
we
you're out,
can
when
just
you get to this end of the cave,
eventually
it gets
carry a
bigger.
small
Like, we
into
can
the water
see, like,
area,
come
around
around
the
this
mountain,
big,
bring it
come
through,
around
have
this
big,
big.
and
the goal. 6 times as big.
That's
We're not
true.
looking for something
We should
that's the size of
definitely
the
build
house.
some
The
kind
rocks,
of a.
you know, the rocks can't really count because we're,
I mean, to them, that's
Find a little
how many
cave entrance.
hundreds of miles.
There-
We know the cave is meant for, we know stay near the cave.
Yeah, but otherwise, we're gonna go up with this limited.
I mean, let's see, I was.
remember
sure.
Frank, let's do your thing. I think Rod's got a good idea. We go back out of that. We'll try to go find it. Now, we may be looking for a dollhouse by the time we get there because we're not. If we do, we can step on it.
Yeah. But
Or
might
we can
not find
confirm
it.
our theory. We don't have to do diddly, go back to the king, collect our reward because we gave him everything he asked.
Well, it's one of two, we have one of three choices right now. We could go back with the information. 2, we could continue looking either in shrunk or giant form. I suggest giant form first, because we cover a lot more and they can't deal with us, okay? Otherwise, we could deal with them on their terms in an area that might actually be hidden more than we could find in giant form.
Well, plus there's at least 12 of them and only 9 of
In
us.
either case, I think maybe we should start with the other one first, to see if there's any possibilities before we go to the direct confrontation one.
Possible. As a,
Ride like hell back
as
to
a
the
side comment while we're discussing, I think if we end up in huge form, we better be fire resistant, because the dragon's gonna get pissed.
Why don't we just get.
Good point. I forgot about that guy. He might be hunting again.
Well, yeah, but that's just goes with everything else.
I mean, yeah, he might be a dragon only 3 feet long, but nevertheless, he's got that many hit points he's delivering with his breath.
Well, I got a
So we
few.
might be huge, but huge like a helium balloon in the parade, one prick. And
Oh, except that he said
I got a anti-aircraft guy.
entrance, so
Deal with him, I think.
maybe
we couldn't
hope.
Especially if
entice
he's
the
little.
red dragon to shrink himself.
True.
Darn it, that would have been awesome.
There's still too many variables. I vote for, yeah, we definitely need a vote. Let's vote for what we do from here.
Well, what are our,
I
there's 2 choices we're gonna vote.
We
Leave
have,
the cave and investigate further and try and firm up our theory. Or go backwards through the cave, send our scout around, come up with some scheme maybe to see what size they are versus us, etc. You know, taking the tunnel route versus going around. Now, going
Why
around
do you-
might take you 2 days.
Well, I was
It's
gonna
an
say, why
entire
do
bloody
we-
mountain.
Why do we think we can even go around this? Like,
Well, let's see if we can.
Did it-
Because we're here to
from
collect
looking at the
info. We're not
mountain, did it
necessarily
look
here to
like it
kill
would take
stuff.
days or?
All right,
Yeah, when you were at the
hypothetical.
cave entrance,
What if-
when you were at the cave entrance to the right, back towards Gross, which was kind of this way, that mountain range, when you were at Gross, you can still see the mountain range going that way. So, who knows, 2, 3, 4 days to go that way around the mountain? It's the other direction, no clue as well. This is a big mountain range.
Now,
It
what
actually
if
splits the
Lupus were to
continent,
go
so it does.
around the mountain and show up as this giant-sized figure that we have in fact all been shrunk,
That's
because he's
what I think
perfectly
was-
normal.
Oh,
That's
I'm not
so-
gonna let us stay there small and see if he
Right.
looks
We go
giant.
back, there's another possibility. We ride directly back to the wizard, the king's wizard. We say, okay, first of all, there's this magic tunnel which we think is shrinking people, so if you can just use your powerful magics to make that stop, problem solved. Or, if not, we can deal with those people instantly if you go ahead and teleport us directly there.
'Cause then
Not
they're
through the
giants.
tunnel, because bang, we show up with giants, we crush them. And we'll find our way back.
Here's an interesting
everything
alternative
leads back to
plan.
Rome when I
We
said.
go back, we go around the mountain, we go but through the tunnel the wrong way and end up huge size.
Yeah?
We go around again and see if we can get in the tunnel at all.
well, that's what I'm
Okay.
thinking.
But if we are in
can
huge
go around the
size,
tunnel,
we
we'll be
stomp the
giant,
mountain
we won't
like
be able
an
to walk
anthill.
into it because it'll be a really small entrance.
Yeah.
If we tried to go back through the tunnel, we wouldn't be able to get through.
You think so?
We don't know.
Like,
No, they don't know, because they don't know how the tunnel works
No,
yet.
if
We don't know for
it's,
sure.
if it's 20 feet across here,
It's
and
interesting how
and it
Luke
seems
got
to us to
like
get
that.
6 times bigger, it
Yeah.
can still be it can still be 20 feet on either end.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
issue
exactly.
right now, though,
Now, it did wind a little.
we don't know whether we
Yeah.
can even
So when they came
find,
through,
get around
they-
all the
That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
That is the problem, that's
Yeah,
why
from
It
where-
might
from
be
where
2 or
you're
3
inside,
days
you
just
see
to
a valley,
go around
you
it,
see
but more
mountains
dragons
in the
encounters
background.
and,
That's
you
why
know,
I'm suggesting we go back to
Yeah, you're in a valley
the
somewhere
road
in
and
the
teleport
mountains,
us.
but I don't know.
Wait,
you
this
know.
could change something,
Yeah.
because
How far
how
in?
do
What if we
know
plug
those
up-
people
Rob's got an
spend
idea.
the
What if
whole
we,
time
That actually have a
have
Frank
gotten
saying, stop the
big
mountain
shrunk?
if we go
yeah,
around it.
plug up the mountain and then they're all little.
How do we go look at big again when we go back?
we can make ourselves giants and stomp them
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
That's
Just keep getting smaller and
Yeah.
smaller.
The king's men are back, they can't see them. That's why we should send the scout right now.
That would be bad.
We should send a scout right now, back down the tunnel, to find out whether he gets in line.
Well, he rode the
Oh, he
tunnel,
did, though,
he rode
okay.
the tunnel with the stake back to the light. And when he rode back to the light,
The
the
tunnel
tunnel was
the correct
smaller,
size
with
when
the
he
correct
gets back.
size, and
All
nothing
right.
changed. So
So we
if
have
he
a-
would've rode to another 50 yards to the entrance, it would've been like he was regular size,
Yeah.
20-foot
Okay,
tunnel, so
If everything's proportionate, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
it's proportional.
All right.
It's even to carry a ruler.
Furthermore, we also have a ratio of 6 to
Well, if I
1.
make a
If
mark on
it's
it.
working as we've hypothesized, we're down to about 1 feet tall at this point.
Correct. Right now, you're about
1
a
foot
foot tall.
tall minus.
The reason.
We still don't know that we actually shrunk.
Well, all you know is that everything's larger. Y'all are on a hypothetical. They're guessing that you shrunk. I can't tell you whether you did or didn't, but it's y'all.
Because a giant, you know,
Yeah, 6 inches. That's what I'm saying, this pin, if I measure the spin, and measure doesn't matter where I'm
If
at.
you're carrying a ruler around and you and the ruler are getting large, you're shrunk. It's like always
We
looking at the
should
rest
do
of
that. We should do that instead of sitting
Why do I need
here.
three people to tell me about something I know?
So, Doug-
I don't care to hear
This
about it.
big group
All right.
have decided to go down to the
There's a
village,
point
so
being there's a way-
everyone here
Listen to this.
You're going to the village?
is going to the village.
But we're not entering the village right away.
Well, you said, but sir, you're gonna keep riding down the road towards it.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
there is one point we still don't have an answer for,
Are we
who's
gonna ride
cleaning
or-
up the cave?
And you can say that as we're going to the village, but we
We're going.
decided not to stop and talk. We're talking as we're riding.
All right.
Okay, you're gonna
fine,
ride
that's
or
fine.
walk with the horse? Ride or walk with
But
you?
why is the cave so meticulously clean without even a single horse?
And
Maybe we'll
that's
find
an
out.
interesting idea, but we're continuing to go towards
Okay,
the city.
as
It
you're
might
riding
just be
towards the
part of the
city,
magic
as you're
or
riding
something,
towards the
but-
city, it's a little ways off, so it's gonna be, you know, a half hour before you get down there. But
Do we need to do this right away, or should we cancel it?
All right, are you guys coming with them? These guys are riding
It's
down
back
towards
there
the town.
I don't know. We can ride
Magically
down
flake off the walls.
Are y'all gonna stay in the road?
Good point, let's look.
They're riding back towards the town.
Where are you going down to the village for?
We want to
Because we
send a
wanna see
scout
the
back
top
to
of
check
it
the
as well,
graffiti
and
and
not-
see if that's cleaned itself.
Well, why don't you suggest
Okay.
doing something else besides going talking at the
We're-
village?
we're going to the village.
Mr. Scout,
Mr.
please.
Scout, he's got a mission for you, should you choose to accept it.
Yes.
Yes, I'll go around the mountain.
No, he wants you to go back into the cave and check where he wrote the graffiti on the wall and see if it's still there or if it matches what he cleaned up.
Oh, good point. That could explain where the horse is.
Because if there's a magical cleaning operation here, that
Well,
could
that's
give
what
us some
Tim and I were just discussing.
We're almost down to the village.
Wondering.
Well,
what the
I'll get there in just a second. When you get about 10 minutes down the road, you know, again, now this place is a little more foresty, has a little more
I
trees.
think
that we
we're
can't
going
follow.
to the giant trees.
Giant trees.
And
and you-
giant critters?
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, I go check out his.
Okay, you're checking on his graffiti,
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys are
going
writing
with
down, you're going to the
Yes.
graffiti. Okay,
Yeah,
y'all are,
we're going
y'all
with
are in
the
town, y'all are
graffiti.
looking for graffiti. You guys are another
Whatever
10 minutes
gets
down,
us
third
to
of the way down
the
towards the village.
size.
You definitely notice that the trees are now larger here than they were at the mouth of the cave. Yes, and now I need everyone to roll a 20 die here.
We love doing that.
You're shrinking more?
20 die here. Everybody, you got a 20 die? Yes, he does. You rolled a 2?
There is no.
And I rolled.
Eight, two, eight.
a 6. 19.
Okay,
Suddenly, we all got run over.
what do you got,
by-
Erol?
All done.
That's it, okay.
All that.
What was yours?
No, I mean 6.
Okay, you three,
We're working well together.
no problem, okay, you're gonna hear it, but you two with the 2s here, I'm gonna have to roll for damage here in a second.
We said it,
Oh.
Parson. We said
Yeah,
it,
you're
Parson.
gonna, you may dodge the damage, okay? You two here may or may not dodge the damage, okay?
How many times
This-
can you split a hair without?
Out of nowhere, an arrow strikes the ground, but this arrow is like 20 feet long, with a head like this wide, hits the ground, okay?
It's hard to hit those little guys.
On one side of the road, somebody fired an arrow at it, and you're gonna take 6 points of damage, and you're gonna take 3 points of damage, and you didn't get hit.
How do I duck it?
I only rolled a 2. Do I get-
Oh, you're the one that rolled the other 2.
Yes, wasn't me.
Sorry. I'll give you 6 points of damage as well.
There we go.
You didn't take any damage, okay? But now you guys ferried out of the way.
I'm sorry, you
You have to see somebody's registration.
He'd like to have made you got your fair share, Jim.
Where was it?
The arrow came out of nowhere, so it isn't over there. Well, you guys aren't even there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the road, off the road!
Hey, y'all haul off the road, go hide behind a big tree or
Rob,
whatever.
Rob,
How
Tim,
too big is that arrow?
Rob, Tim,
That barrel's
Can you like
large.
rip
quick
off
point,
a piece
you're
of bark
blocking
and like hide under it?
It's got the arrow itself
There's
is
plenty of
like
big
20
stuff
feet
to
long
hide.
instead of a foot long, so it's 20 times larger than it should
I
be.
can hide underneath the arrow.
Actually, your arrows are about normally 2 foot long. They're about
Okay.
21 inches long.
Yeah.
With the feathers on it, and this
Dig a
one's
little hole and
20
bury
foot.
ourselves alive.
So it's per inch, it's gone up to 12
so
times.
6
We're
to
about
1,
12
we're up
times
to
now.
10 to 1.
I've
Yeah,
been
10 to 1,
behind
because
one
the
of these
numbers
giant
change.
trees, trying to figure out who or what shot that
Well,
arrow.
you'll shortly, now you hear somebody hollering and it's in common tongue, sounding an alarm. So now alarm's been sounded and you see 2 people off in the distance that have jumped from their post. Now that you can see it, a silhouette from where you're located. There's actually a post up there where apparently guards are. Somebody's seen it and they're coming to run up the road towards you. While somebody's sounding off the alarm, there's a light that's been lit.
We got our answer.
You know, you can hear
But is
horses.
this a thundering
Fireball
voice
one.
that's coming
Now.
from a huge...
Well, he's up in the cave still, he doesn't even know this is
Yeah,
happening. When y'all get up back there where the graffiti is. The graffiti's still there, but
It's the
it's
diameter.
almost gone.
Ah, fading light.
Yeah,
Okay.
fading light.
So we answered that question.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Then the scout will come back and catch up.
yeah.
Oh, we're not too sure we're gonna do that. Listening to what's going on
You only
down
see 2
there.
guys, yeah, and they look pretty big coming out.
How many of us
Me
are
and the
there?
scout are thinking
There's,
about going out and see if we
7 of
can
them.
get around that.
So here's tiny guys. Oh, what kind of guys? They look like normal. They're probably wearing, huge leather armor, equipped with a bow, a short sword, small shield.
Super giant though.
Okay.
Yeah, they're super giant because you're now about 1/10 your size, which puts you around 6 inches or so. You're not very big.
There's nothing I can do to these guys, so I'm hopping on my horse
Can we
and
try and run back?
pulling a
If
rock.
your magic
Yeah,
does,
this is ridiculous.
anybody with magic, if your magic does the same damage now as it did when we were big, then we're not in trouble. If your magic has been reduced in power, assume it's been reduced in area of effect and range.
This is the only one of our fighter types that's got magic. And I don't know how she's gonna get that little sword out of the guy's neck.
true.
Well,
Well, she has the purple sword.
we
Yeah.
should retreat to the tunnel.
Yeah.
Cut somebody's toe off.
Yeah, I'm riding towards the
And in the main
Are you gonna try towards the tunnel?
Running toward the
And
tunnel, but in the
tunnel.
main path, right behind us, I'm gonna put an entangle
Huh?
down, just hope to maybe catch a foot or something.
Okay, you cast Entangle right behind you?
Yeah,
Okay, what's the area of effect for your
Erol, don't
Entangle?
you think that's gonna get us?
no, you guys are all ahead of me.
You guys are
He's
ahead of me.
tailing Charlie. He's still
Yeah, but
behind
I
the
want
group.
you
This is
to
a
cast
crucial
the spell.
point, because we're gonna find out whether his magic is shrunk or whether it's full normal
I'll be
size.
spellcasting too.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm gonna cast an enlarge on myself and my king's pole.
Okay.
That's an odd nickname, King's Pole. I don't think I've heard that one before.
I think that's a lot of what the King's sorcerer does. is-
You're doing Entangle?
Yeah, I think that's right.
It has a range of 80 feet.
Has area of effect of.
In the under 40 yards.
Okay, has area of effect of 40. You cast the spell, you guys are heading on the run, the Entangle goes off instantly, and I mean, it goes almost all the way, halfway back to the cave, you're all entangled, okay?
What?
So
No,
thanks.
he did it on back
Thanks,
of it.
Erol.
Doesn't matter,
But
the area of effect is so large
But isn't,
compared to your size.
So your area of effect is normal
It's
size.
Normal
And we
size.
verified that we're shrunk.
Wouldn't the range increase?
How, what was the range increase?
Wouldn't the range increase proportionally?
if the area effect?
But you're targeting.
Yes, but you're targeting just right behind you, you weren't trying to target it way out 80 feet, you're just targeting right
Well,
behind
I'm
you,
pretty sure
because they're
you
ahead of
can
you.
catch it.
The problem is that the diameters, it's instantaneous, the growth,
Errol,
so it grows.
We could have, we could have
Right behind you.
just.
Still, right, okay, we still got it, that's fine.
you're used to a 40 by 40 yard area.
Correct.
But when you cast it,
Right.
Now that you're this small,
it's like
yards is
360
huge.
yards
Yeah,
square.
I thought
Down.
that my,
But you're casting back this way.
right, the range at 80
crap,
feet is
I'm
still
in
80
entangles.
feet.
Yeah, so y'all are all, these huge vines are growing all over the place now, they're huge. I mean, you're entangled, but it's more of a, you're not entangled like just grabbed on your foot, because these vines are huge, so it's like the jungle just popped up in front of you in all directions, okay?
Interesting.
You know, because they're huge. The magic you cast has the same real area of effect,
Right.
but you're shrunk.
Yep.
So it's 10 times the area of effect to you.
Okay, don't worry, got
Okay. But also the
But we're-
entanglement of the vines is 10 times, so they're not actually grabbing your feet, they become obstacles more than they have
Right.
entanglement. Okay?
And cover.
Okay, so that's what's occurred. So now to get back to
You
You're
have a
actually
more
slow.
blade.
You're actually
you
slow.
can cut
Yeah,
through
you
this
better
stuff.
start trying
But these
to.
guys are almost on top of you, except
Grass.
they have to, except they're gonna have to deal with the entanglement themselves as far as
And they're
saving
gonna
against
find
their.
us.
Yeah, because now you're down
They
and all
can
this.
find this
But it's
easy.
dark.
You can hide.
We're too tiny.
There's a 2-foot guy with a flag there.
Well, they can find you.
Well, yeah, he enlarged himself from like 6 inches to a foot or whatever. Now.
Oh, you enlarged yourself? Yeah.
He cast enlarge himself.
I don't want to be
doubles his
anywhere near
size.
him. He's got a
Doubles
big
his size.
bullseye painted on his
Let's go. All right, so let me roll.
Drummer is brave, I'll give
And
it.
the outfit are standing in the mouth of the cave
Now,
going,
he's
I know where the hell we're going out
Wait a
there.
minute.
He cut
Does
their
his
attention.
enlarge spell only make him 2 foot tall, or
It
does
only
it
makes him a
enlarge
foot tall.
Okay, does it only make him a foot tall, or does it enlarge him the amount it should be from his normal size?
No, the enlarge just enlarges what your current is to double that, whatever that is. If you cast enlarge on this, it only goes to twice that size.
Right.
So we're like,
So since he cast it on himself, he has now made himself.
Make that marble thing hum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's only made himself twice as tall.
Hopefully they can find me and see the king's banner.
Hey, Tim,
See, it's-
break the Tim.
All right.
We really need a lightning bolt or fireball.
Yeah, no kidding. But I gotta see something before I can do it. If I take it into the
Just
entangle,
saying.
well, I
It's
know,
the
but
only
if I throw-
range significant damage.
but if I
we
throw
got.
it into the entangled mess, I'll catch a couple of you.
Up high.
Yeah,
I see something
and that'll
to shoot.
happen just like Erol's spell.
Make it up high.
Um,
And you
yeah.
already got the clue. Allow
What
12
percentage?
times normal
Percentage, yes,
volume
sir.
of the black.
Seems to get
And
a
aim it accordingly. Wait the hell up.
71.
Okay. You're gonna catch another arrow, or you didn't catch it the last time, but you're catching an arrow because somebody's firing it at the flag waving maniac.
He doesn't like the king's banner.
Flag- No, he doesn't cast it more, but I need you to roll your, I don't know how much damage you're taking minus what you roll.
I'd like to take 34
I
points.
need you to roll a 10 die,
Okay, I can do that.
and we're subtracting that off of 30.
1.
Okay, so you took 29 points of damage in the hip, okay, so you're crippled, it's hit your pelvis.
I don't seem, and it didn't take my whole pelvis. I seem to have fallen, but I can't get up.
Okay,
I'm glad I missed that part.
and the rest of you are now obviously trying to find your way through this jungle.
Yeah.
You know, your horse, some of you have been knocked over because the horses, you know, it's you, scared the heck out of your horses, obviously. Jungle coming out of nowhere.
Well, the question is
Here's the
it worse
scout
than that
and
or
my
less? Because I
request
can
went back
use
to
the
check
spell
their
it.
Yeah, because they're right behind you here, but now that they've got the entangled, they gotta deal with how they trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think.
But they can see, because for them, you're not that far away
However,
technically.
we proceed
I mean,
out of
the
the
area of
tunnel,
effect
and
still
we're being
affects them,
attacked by
but
normal sized
them get to the tangle is probably
And
faster
the-
for them than it is you
The
trying to fight the jungle
differential
in
is
the face.
like,
Well, if they
18 or
say,
20
if
to
they don't
1
make
on
a
the
mistake, they
side.
can't do it all.
Correct.
From this.
And they're just
We
about to enter,
tried
so I'll
to
enter on the next
druid
round. He got
dropped
fired
it
for before they enter, because he's
entangle.
waving a flag.
I'm trying to figure out what happens
But
to
it
them.
showed up
Okay,
400
so-
yards
all right.
across.
And I'm going to light a torch.
Okay, you light the torch?
Well, we're
It
down
looks like a little
to
matchstick.
hiding
understand.
in the entanglement.
Still lighting it,
Which
and
is
I'm gonna
too
see if I can
large
burn
to
my way through the
entangle
web.
us per se, but
It's not a web.
nevertheless
It's not a
a
web.
Entangle is plants.
It's
Oh,
grass.
That's why I said it's like a
I'm
jungle.
not setting that on fire.
Okay, yeah, it's on fire, it's fresh
Things
baked.
like-
Cluster
I thought it was a web.
Right?
No, he was doing the tangle. Okay, first guy steps into the deal and steps again, so he's made the savings.
So he's 50% slow, which isn't that much.
Correct. He stepped in and takes another step, but he's having to be cautious how he steps.
We need
That's the
max
same.
damage on the attackers.
The second guy steps in and he's fighting the, he's
I
not,
got it, but
he's
I
not
can't see
proceeding, but he's
anything to
fighting,
shoot.
trying to hack it to get him off his feet and
I
stuff.
got the
Yeah.
one, I'll blow off all 17, but I gotta have a target.
So there's one guy who's
You don't
stuck.
need
There's one guy who's stuck at the edge of the entanglement, and there's one guy that's already 2 paces in, but he's 2 paces in, he'll be at you next
Keep
round.
saying that.
But too high.
Can we hear them actually trying to get through? They're not
So
just
you-
waiting for us to.
Gee whiz, so you
You gotta
spend
remember,
3 charges
entangle for
on a fireball that
them
doesn't
is
do
low
anything, you could
range stuff,
slightly
so
from
you
there.
can actually see him.
You'd rather operate
You can see
with
him
no
up there
info
from now.
No.
and not use
You
it,
can-
save
you
it
can
for a
see
later.
these guys.
No, I never go down.
Have you
with
guys come,
charges.
did you guys come back out of the cave yet?
No, we're standing at the entrance of the cave, and I'm looking for something to zap the wall.
Okay, so you're at the edge of the cave, if you look down, now they gotta remember, they wrote about 10 minutes
we're like
of their
Yeah,
size.
like this.
Yeah.
But you see them because they're not really that far
The
away.
arrow they shot at me
technically
was 20
from the
feet
cave, but for you, they look like a
Yeah,
distance.
it's
But
10,
they're
they're 10 or
not too
12
far from
times
the
our
fireball,
size.
obviously.
Why are we engaging them?
But you can see them, the people chasing them are.
I'm gonna take your one. Now I'm gonna hit
He
the point.
cast an entangle
About
as we were
75
running
yards
away.
beyond
Unfortunately, it
the
caught us.
entertainment mount.
Caught us in the entangle because of the area of effect.
I'm gonna aim about 75 yards from the cave,
Very
about
effective
75 yards
is
from
real
the air, and
size,
I'm gonna
whereas
look
we're
off the
at
far.
about 1/12 normal.
So you're throwing it way up in there.
Yeah, I wanna see the area effect, I wanna see how big.
I don't fault you at
Okay,
all
the air
for that,
effect,
but
when you
it
stand
did
there,
give us
it's
hard
hard to
data,
them.
we know a ratio.
Okay, to you it appears to be like freaking huge.
Yeah,
But we
I
made
can
the
do it.
fireball
Like a
on
nuclear
in
bomb,
action.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so you've gone so far in the area, you didn't hit
Not
it.
gonna matter.
Oh.
Okay, it's right, it's, they see it, they see the big fireball.
Oh,
like
look, what's the
normal,
ratio of that foot, about
Fireball.
Alright, then the second
You
one.
fire it far enough to hit
This is a
it.
wand, so I have a
Fireball.
zero.
Yeah, above everybody's heads.
Alright, we're at 75
We
out and
were talking, so
75
you better
down.
tell everybody.
Okay, while you guys are, looking, the guy's gonna be there next
We're
round.
hiding in the
One gets
jungle.
stuck in the entanglement, people that are listening can hear horses in the distance, probably coming from town. And out of the wild blue, the sky lights up with a big ball of fire. To you guys, this big ball of fire looks like a freaking nuclear explosion, okay? It's huge, the whole sky's on fire. The guys below you, of course, look up to see what's going on. To them, it's a regular sized fireball that's going on, so they're looking to find out where the fireball come from. One's still hacking, trying to get himself loose. But the other guy's now paused for a minute. He still knows you're there and can get there in another step, but he's looking to find out where the fireball come from. Horses are on their way.
Question,
Yes?
do any of the attackers look clerical?
What horses?
No, they look
Any
like, no, they look like men at arms, you know, they're carrying
To
regular
attack and
troops.
kill the quarter-inch people.
Yeah, they basically have two guys,
Were you in charge of this?
Alright,
short
Oh,
bow.
heavens,
Yeah, he
no.
was, he was.
Alright, second shot. Second shot, 50 out, 50 out.
I thought they were
Go down
good.
there, effect, I'll start catching.
We tried, we failed
okay.
miserably.
we're all hiding and running around like little mice in the cornfield here.
Okay, the guy that's out there
We'll be
trying
roasting
to
Curt pretty
hack himself loose isn't really paying attention, and the fireball clips him, so he's on fire. He's now trying to put fire out because his hair's on fire, his shoulder's on fire.
Do we know how much damage he took and didn't fall?
Yeah, well, he was the one that was hacking, trying to get his feet loose.
Okay.
He's on fire now. He's fighting the fire with his foot stuck, so he's preoccupied.
She's like,
The other guy's kind of ducked to the side, knowing the fireball was coming, caught the fireball in the corner of his eye. So now he's got to decide, you know, do I have to deal with these guys or deal with the new fireball guy? So he's kind of trying to get himself back out of the main road, direct line of sight of this guy. And he's hollering, you know, to you it sounds like the mountains come down because he's hollering.
So whenever we can,
He's
we
hollering
need
at
to
his buddies.
retreat.
Yeah, we're trying.
He's hollering at his buddies. And you guys are trying to go forward and fight your way through the jungle.
Well, I think I'll just spell it now.
Okay, he's going to dispel the jungle.
I'm wanting to see
He's
something
gonna
that
catch
isn't
us
one of
there,
them.
catch us anyway.
Okay, well, right behind them, there's one guy that's right there. There's only 2 paces away from him. He's going to be on.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But they cast
The
the.
closer we
Alright.
get to the tunnel, the
So you gotta
bigger
remember,
it
he's
gets.
about 2 paces, which is about maybe 10 feet away from them, real feet.
Alright,
To you, it looks like long distance.
wand,
We're on
right under
the
his
road.
chest.
Yeah, you're on the road, you came through the road. You'll
The
stay-
road like started at the cave entrance?
It's gonna lead to the town.
It goes down to the town.
Okay. And did the road get bigger as we walked down it?
Yeah.
The road would
Like
have
the
gotten
tunnel?
bigger, yeah, when you got 10 minutes down the road to you.
So the farther we get back toward the tunnel entrance, the bigger we will be.
That is
Right.
correct, yes.
Okay. Is there any undergrowth off the side of the road that we can use for cover?
There's some bushes off the side of the road and or trees.
That's the one advantage you have for being tiny.
Well,
Right, but you guys are in the road, so you gotta remember the road's a bit
100
wide.
That would bring it down to about.
It's not just jump off the road, because you're right walking across the freeway.
6 to 1 roughly.
Yeah.
For the
It's a little
tunnel
hard to
per
get all the
se,
way across
and
the
that
freeway.
increased from there
Okay.
afterwards.
But anyway, he'll be on you in
So
2
you're
paces.
probably 100
Are you gonna fire fireball?
I
where
did,
at?
right at his chest.
It's just
Right
one of
at
those
his
things that
chest. Okay. The fireball at his chest will hit him in the chest. But since that area of effect will cover way out beyond where they're standing by a good 20, 30
Sorry.
yards at least, I need to roll some saving throws here with some 20 die. You got a fireball
See,
blowing
the
up all
GM
around.
doesn't kill us.
Now you and me, Rob, we're in the cave. Rob, we're in the cave, we're good. Frank wanted area effect fire, so I laid some
You want
down.
to say, you want to hide,
Hey,
right?
Jillian,
Yeah, you got your further on high.
Well, I suggested boomers, that was the most
Well, I just kept
disposable.
bringing them down.
What'd you
Yeah,
get?
you said you
What'd
had
you
a
get,
lightning also, but.
Well, that
I'm
takes
dead.
time to.
Oh, you're
I
dead?
can't
The
get
arrow
the guy
killed
coming
me.
after
Oh, okay,
you.
I didn't know if
Without-
you
I'm not killed by the arrow?
Yeah,
20 feet tall.
Yeah, your call, absolutely. I don't want
29 points of damage to
Yeah,
his
I'm not
pelvis.
lightning. But
Caught
the
it
wand's
cooked in his
instant.
pelvis.
It took out my pelvis.
Took out his pelvis.
So we need to make a
Did you go to neck 10?
I went below neck 10.
Okay, yeah, you're dead.
Hey, the drums are gone.
Alright, 14, 14.
I'm the one who's willing to engage in
But a great release
conversation.
nonetheless,
Okay.
James.
Hang on a second.
A great relief.
That actually improved my charisma towards the bandits.
Not nice. It's mean. Just so you know.
Did my friend ask you about?
No, it's never.
Oh,
All right,
They took out the drummer.
who had the 15?
The drummer boys killed.
15, you're taking
That was
17
standard
points of
bear
damage.
goes
Who
along.
had the 14s? Taking 20 points of damage. Who had the 13s?
Yep,
Taking
not
23
dead.
points of damage.
Minus 23.
23 points of
Did I
damage.
need
Lord.
Oh, yeah, no, you were in the best,
Don't
yes.
throw
So
another one.
not in the tunnel.
No, you were dead.
Natural one.
Oh, natural one.
That's about
Oh,
14
my.
hit points.
14 is okay, but it's less than you had. Be careful.
I mean, you gotta.
I had a lot to start with. I will actually
86
get level.
points of damage in my ears.
Class
I'm only
freaks.
second to 2-3. Or 3-2.
Now I really want to get out.
Yes. Okay.
ouch.
Get out of here.
Yeah, okay, you took 29 points of damage, but it was primarily to your legs, so you can't walk. Your legs like charred meat.
That puts me at -1.
You gotta
His
legs, leg, his legs,
Everybody took damage. One of his legs is like charred meat, and he's unconscious on the ground.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lay on hands as soon as I.
Where is he in relationship to me as we're
Well, y'all are all kind of together.
Alright, let me try and drag
You
it.
guys are
Drag him in.
3 to 5 feet apart.
Drag him.
Okay.
We're trying to drag
You're
it.
minus
dragging
4,
me?
okay, so he's unconscious in the road as well, so
Sure
you
you're
hang
not
on hands to him.
Yeah, I lay on.
Alright, you'll regain consciousness, you can roll how many points you're healing for.
10 points.
Okay.
I guess.
So you're gonna regain consciousness, which
Do
is,
I have anybody within my sight who can, if you get healing, or are we out of sight?
No,
Did I lose one?
I'm still at 25 hit points left.
Technical
I'm
question.
quaffing a potion of healing.
okay.
You're gonna burn,
Is that gonna have a magnified effect?
No, it's gonna just heal you, it's just gonna do the maximum number of heals, heals you to full effect.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll heal all the way to the top. A potion of healing, I will heals you completely.
And I heroically wheel my horse around, and I ride back a couple of paces and grab up the charred remains of the king's standard.
Also, very important.
Yeah, leave you there, Jim Frank.
Make sure to get the artist to render that.
Yeah.
Summon insects, okay?
Yeah, right away.
Pretty sure it's all
Summon insects right away, okay.
Attack these dudes.
You're
Okay.
gonna have to render, he's
Obviously to
Is
you,
Jim's character anywhere near me?
No, not even.
Jim's character's behind you guys, you'd have to run back,
Well,
40.
that's where I want to head, once
Okay.
I wake up again.
Okay.
Several hundred yards.
Well, yeah, but you're, as far as that goes, you're gonna have land right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know,
moving
when
about half
standard
speed right now.
bear falls.
He's doing some serious damage to you.
Who's hurt that they've managed to get back into the cave
He's
mouth?
-4, so
Who
no
was
one
the
has to damage
standard
land on the
bearer
ground.
anyway?
He's
Who's
casting
carrying
a-
the standard?
He's casting a swarm
Well,
of
who
had it.
I had.
insect
You had
swarms.
the
If you guys
drum
are paying
and
attention, or if you're watching,
The drummer
I
boy
said,
and the
cloud of
standard.
insects,
I gave
they all look like
him
a huge
Let
birds come
what
up
they
in
have
the direction.
These are the standards.
Correct.
And I thought I'd keep him busy.
Did.
Well, no,
Yeah, so
but
you
that's
started
required.
with
The
horn.
He asked me, I did.
So you're gonna see him, he's now battling off the insects, okay? He's in the insect
What
swarm.
insects?
He called it insect swarm.
This is good.
But it only attacks the bad guys. So the bad guys now.
Attacks the bad guys.
Yes.
Good idea.
He's down
Fireball.
These are normal sized
Attacks
insects?
the bad guys.
Yeah, they're huge to us.
Okay, good.
It doesn't only attack the bad guys, does it, Frank?
It depends where
No,
you're
it
at.
attacks everybody.
It attacks
But it's however he wants to
But it
run.
depends where he's at. He casts it on the guy right there, and the insects are coming to the guy. You guys are away from the guy at the moment,
Yeah, okay.
The insects aren't gonna see you.
I don't care about
They're
it.
the big guy.
Well,
All right.
they might smell his
Yeah.
dead body.
Does anybody do anything with Mr.
When I
He's
get
laying on the road.
when I
He's
get an
not-
opportunity, I'm
Where
gonna
your
try to
pelvis
grab
is
him
coming.
and put him on my horse.
I'm pinned to the
Grab
ground.
him, put him on the horse. All right. And you're trying to let back to him?
Well,
They
no,
only attack the creature the druid points to.
There you
Just
go.
for clarification.
There you go.
Okay, very good, very good.
That's good.
So keep your mouth shut, or you might point to him.
There is duration. There is a
You see I'm pinned to the ground.
Remember,
20-foot arrow.
you can be selective.
You're missing a pelvis, basically.
Yeah.
Laying on the ground, you're split in half, man. That's,
I split in
yeah,
half.
you're basically just, this whole chunk
Let
of
me
your
know
body
when I
is
can
gone.
get to him.
Okay, you'll be to the next round, you're putting him on your horse, you cast the spell.
Where are we?
The horses sound like they'll be here like in a second, it sounds like huge thunder coming.
Oh, we gotta go.
Yeah, huge thunder coming from the horses from town.
Can't you fireball the
Well, if we can
horses
see
that are down
things,
the
we
road?
can't see them. We can't.
Yeah, I can
We can see
fireball
the big
anything I
guys.
can see.
Wait a minute, I would have clarification. From
Where you're standing, you can see your buddies, they're down the road from you far enough that it would take you, 10 minutes to ride there. Okay, that's how far down the road they are. Yep. And on your
Can't
side
you throw a
horse,
fireball over that distance?
because his fireball still travels the same real distance, not
the
your
scale
simulated
thing,
distance.
that's why
So
I-
scale
So
thing.
it's the sort of the,
Yeah, so his spell is still normal size, it sure did.
The range
So-
is also
not the
triple
physicality of
outland,
limits?
so
Correct.
he could shoot.
So
He can
we
shoot way
actually
far
have
with
a divided physicality
But,
going on.
right, and so,
there.
correct, so beyond the distance of them though, you can see the horses coming, there's 4 riders on 4 horses coming. So you can see them from your vantage.
Oh, well, fuck,
Alright.
one, baby,
From what
fireball.
They're coming from the town, to the side of them, the road's,
I shot him.
Did I make it back to them before he shot it?
No.
not before he shot it
Way
down.
far away.
Because remember, the horses are not on anymore, because when he did the entangle, the horses got scared, you guys came off horses, you stumbled around in your jungle, the fireball's gone off, some people have taken, everybody took damage, the horses, whatever damage they may have taken, they're running astray, they're not handy, they're off in the woods back towards the cave.
Most of them may be dead.
Yeah, some of the
Your
horses
average
could be dead.
fireball for a wand is 21 points.
Correct, so you guys are, the horses, you don't know what is
And
left
they're on
behind or
white horse
otherwise, y'all
box.
forgotten the horses in
Yeah, white horse is only 2 dice.
So it's gonna take a while to run back into the
These horses that are coming from town,
Take 2 minutes.
the horses coming from town, have we identified them? These mounted figures.
You haven't identified them because they're riding up from the town from all the ruckus that's
Do they
going
have
on, seeing the fireball go off, hearing the alarm sound, they're coming up here to investigate, but they're out there away from you guys, and like I said, that's down the road, for you to ride it would be 10 minutes, I mean, it's a distance for you because of the size.
No, he's in the cave with me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because you're at the cave, so it's 10 minutes down the road,
But I can shoot that distance.
but they'll be here in less than, they'll be here in a minute if they ride to the cave, I mean, they're
My
so much
mother
bigger,
said
they'll be here in
Bill
no time.
Baker.
I zap him with a fireball.
They're coming at the 4 figures that are coming?
Yeah.
Yes, the guys that are coming to attack us.
He knows
with
his,
arrows.
he knows his fireball's full size, so
You
he
want
knows it's gonna do
66?
a full.
Well, we haven't.
full range. All right, so we're gonna roll to see if anybody on the horse.
So the village that we passed through is inimical to us? Is that what
Y'all haven't been to that, but y'all.
This is the one, they're coming from the
The
one.
village of Emical is further
The
down.
village will still down the
This
road,
is
another
the-
half hour ride for you guys, 20 minutes for them.
Will you just get to the point?
Yeah.
Instead of your bad puns.
I'm Gygaxian, what can I say? There's the point.
One. All right, your fireball goes off, people are in flames.
Yes.
Horses are falling all over the place. Only one guy ducks and rolls outside the range of the fireball off into the brush to the side. All 3 of them, plus the 4 horses, are on fire, dead, smoldering pieces, screaming, stench of flame.
Run.
Okay, that's the guy's riding up on you. You're already to him now. So it's like dragging him.
No, casting.
Okay, you're casting.
Call me Weber.
All right, are you-
Animate dead.
Are you animating dead? Okay, you're casting that.
He carries his own damn stuff.
All right, he's in.
There are drums to carry. Hang
He
around.
undead drops
He's
him.
kind of dragging himself along
Yeah,
over
he's
there.
gonna be dragging him on like.
Big guys.
All right, so he's got to cast
In
it
case you're
in.
wondering, it's right there.
Yeah, I got you. Animate that. I'm with you. So,
Both parts should go, shouldn't they?
All right, the guy
I
that
said
rolled
your roll's
away.
cut in half.
See,
This
it's
whole
all
part's cut, this side's still connected.
Yeah, all right, the guy that
Pick up all your
rolled
stuff
away,
first.
what's he doing?
Well, he's coming up out of the brush because again,
He's
there's
stopping
fire.
parry.
So
Oh,
he's
okay.
stopping. He wants to be more cautious now, obviously, because his
Okay.
buddy just got
I can't
fried.
even blow my trumpet because I'm not breathing anymore.
What a pity.
You got him on your horse, I guess. Oh, you got a horse, and the only reason you maintain your horse, you're a paladin.
Swing through.
All right.
I put some white powder in your drums.
And you're trying to drag him off.
Yeah.
Where are you guys headed? Most of you guys are on foot, and you're
It's
trying to collect
flower.
your horses if they're alive. You can look around and see what horses you
You'll
still
look
have.
like you need a little flower
I think I
drum
might be
something.
able to call.
All right, looking for horses, you see 2 horses that aren't far away. I mean, you could run to them and get their next round, but they're all skittish now, and especially after the fireball.
Words of.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got something.
Words of
They're
truth.
there.
I'm preparing a spell.
If there happens to be a horse on my way
Within a
running back
within a round back, there's a
I will
horse.
try to grab it.
Okay.
But if not,
Screw it. I'm
Okay.
just making a beeline.
Yeah, she's making a beeline to the cave as well, she's running.
All right, that guy coming back towards us.
No, you saw him off in the bushes, and.
How far away is
Yeah,
he?
hip run.
How far away is he?
Well, you gotta remember, for you guys, it's like 10 minutes, but, you can see him off in the, you can actually fireball him again if you want, but you can tell that he's hiding in the bushes, because he's checking the area now, before he wants to come out, so you can tell where he's at. He may not be able to tell where you're at.
Brains.
Yeah, only the brains I tell you to.
Okay.
I am your antimator.
Brains.
Both of you guys are moving about the same speed.
Sure.
Him with the busted leg, and you dragging the body along. Yeah.
Brains.
The guy in the bushes hasn't come out of the bushes, you guys are still heading back while you're riding.
All right, now, giving these spell.
You both now have a horse, if you wanna try to get up, they're still gonna be a bit skittish.
I believe this is the proper,
Yeah,
I believe this
you'll
is,
be able to mount the horse, it's just gonna be a bit skittish, wanting to, you know, just don't try to ride it back towards any fire.
Okay, no, we wanna leave the fire.
all right, you guys get the damn horses
You're
and
hollering
get back up
you're
there.
hollering at him, all right?
All right, guys, get up here, will ya? Get out of the way. I've got
You guys
more
are
shit coming.
You guys are on a dead run.
We're all heading back to the
You'll
tunnel.
probably.
Good, get out of the way. I've got more online.
Okay, the guys that are running.
Get out of my line of
You'll be back
sight.
to the cave probably about 3 minutes or less on a dead run.
Okay.
Okay, because you're just
No,
trying
you
to before
passed
down.
me at the tunnel mouth?
Yours be just attached to
Rob and I never left
with
the
an extra
tunnel mouth.
person on it, but you're gonna pass on your way up. You two
We'll go to
guys,
the
you're
side
you're
as
already
we're coming
full.
in.
But as you're coming to the thing, you're gonna notice you're passing her on foot. She's trying to run to the cave.
I will ride up alongside
She's,
her.
okay,
Snatch her. and-
snatch her up, get her
Throw
on
her
board.
up.
Grab her by the neck.
You still have the Warple badger?
Yeah, she hasn't lost her stuff.
Okay.
And so y'all head back. So within about 3 minutes, everybody's gonna be at the cave front.
Good. As soon as
Except
they are.
those two guys here, they're not speeding, they're gonna be up in another 3 minutes. But now you hear, this first group get to the cave, those guys step up 3 minutes out, you guys are gonna hear the thunder of more horses again, as people, in the shouts of voices, as people are trying to come up out of the town now, because they've seen more fireworks and more guys are awake.
What up?
When I get to the tunnel, I'm gonna cure, you're the,
Do it.
He's down to, you're down to next 6
I'm
now.
gonna cure, let's do one cure
You'll
light.
lose them every round, so you're down to next 6.
Start with one cure light.
Go through the same
Was it 1 to 8
Sure.
plus?
What, somebody's done it?
1 to 8?
Well, when I catch up to you, I'll give you a sure yes, he ate
Plus
first.
you-
Did you pass?
Do I still
There's no plus.
5,
Pass
you're
by
at a net 1.
Okay.
Did you pass by me and he passed?
No, he's at the.
We're right to the side of you.
Right there, because I'm a clerk. You're gonna drink
Some healing.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It said that.
It was
What?
5 to you.
Do what now?
Does the healing?
No, this is a full heal.
One.
Drink it, you're healed.
Yeah, you
One.
bring it back.
Yeah, it's full heal.
The
Nice.
light
Catch another fireball.
When he tells me he's drinking a heal potion, and it's what he's bringing, it's not a
Okay, that's
cure
good.
light or cure serious,
wow.
it's a full heal.
Wish I was a cute little girl.
So, well, I let him.
Yeah, go.
Okay,
Plus 2 now.
you're plus 2 now, all right, so you wake up, obviously, don't know how you got to the cave, but you're kind of still out of it with 2 hit points and the damage, you know you're in a critical situation, but. So these guys are coming up in a couple minutes, at the sound of the riding horses, if they're coming straight to the cave, they're probably gonna get here by the time these guys get here.
That seems fair.
Except for Tim, not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got a little surprise for him.
Now, you know you're killing townies, but it's not the bandits.
I don't know.
Just saying.
All I know is
They
I'm,
are bandits. We don't
From the town is
No.
proceeding fire.
And I'm assuming they're the
Bandits on the
bandits.
mountain.
I bet you know
Killing
this.
towns.
He just
They
shot
shot
at
at
us
us
first. They shot at me first, yeah, right.
As they're not
They're just
shouting,
defending
they're
themselves.
aggressive, they shot at
So
us.
they're not
They've
nice.
acted very
I think
aggressive.
that's where the
Little
bandits
tiny
hang
people,
out.
as if we had undiscovered their secret. It was kind of weird. They were very aggressive to these little
Just,
people.
I think the bandits are all, and their horses are all hiding down an anthill about 100 yards from the cave
That'd be very
entrance.
clever of them.
Yeah.
But it also could be. We're gonna find out, because there ain't gonna be any bullying about
All right, well, then here come the horses. The horses come up over the hill. You can see that now, the guys riding the horses
I
don't
wouldn't think
apparently
so,
know
just
there's
by
these guys
outcome.
here trucking through the
Let's stick with
road,
the
like they
simplest
don't know they're there, so
solution.
they.
Just 1, 2.
Well, yeah, they're big, these
And not
horses are,
complicated.
10 times normal size.
Okay.
So you guys, the horses are coming, and all you're gonna probably be able to do is try to hide in the rut. Because it doesn't look like they know they see you, so they're just gonna run right over you. And I don't know what you're about to do if you're gonna do something.
I'm checking the lane.
You guys, what are you doing?
Make
I'll stay in
sure
the
that I
cave
don't
entrance,
find my
basically.
own
Well,
guy.
unfortunately,
Yeah,
I
the
know
cave
he's
entrance, you're
dead
not as
because
tall as
the
you were,
animate worked.
technically. You know, but you're still small,
Yeah, really, huh?
you're a foot tall instead
Are
of.
we in? It's an animator.
You are at the cave entrance.
Give them back.
All right.
You're at the cave entrance. Everybody's at the cave entrance
Are
except these
the
two.
oncoming horses shrinking?
No, the oncoming horses, no, they're not shrinking to match you.
So if we go
They ought to be
inside the
getting
tunnel,
bigger.
they won't be able to get at us. Oh, if the,
No, because it's 120 foot across.
Right.
If the effect is true outside the cave, they should be getting bigger. But if we were enchanted by the magic of the tube,
yeah,
that we kept shrinking,
yeah.
and that actually outside, but did you say the area outside when I used the detect magic?
You still
Would be
detected
more,
magic. You still detected outside of the cave for a distance, but we don't know how far.
So I don't know how far, but outside the cave was still magic, so they ought to be getting larger.
They're either gonna get even larger or they're gonna stay the same size. Either way, they can't follow us into the
The
tunnel.
range is
Apparently,
extended, then it should be
Let's get out of
far enough
Yeah.
away, we'll give it a shot.
Absolutely.
What a great idea.
We have a lot of info, we can go back, tell the boss and say, okay, here's all, you know.
All right, as you guys book into the cave mouth, I'll hang, wait until they just get outside and I'll let go of web at them.
A web at the guys.
Right as they're coming towards, I'm hoping to bring them down.
Can you
and
possibly
tumble
break
them.
down the tunnel entrance with those fireballs?
No, at this magnification, some of us would probably die
Right.
from back blast.
Jim and Frank, y'all both need, since the horses are riding over.
Did
you
we
should
ever
always save them.
find our horses and all that?
Only 2 horses were found besides when he was on this.
No, I said as they got past and they,
No, we're talking about, no, I understand, but the horses run over there, I gotta roll, make sure they get stepped on.
Oh, okay.
So I need you to
Yes,
roll,
Jim needs
roll
that,
a 20
that's it.
die, and he rolled 20 die.
I don't care if he gets them.
Yeah, but he could be slower than he is. A
Three.
3, oh, isn't that just
See,
great?
I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3 on 20 sides.
Just thinking about 15 more rolls, Juliet.
Yeah, you'll have an average.
Alright, roll me a percentile.
2/3 behind
His
the
dog
average
was
roll.
34.
Alright, you're gonna take 10 points of crushing damage.
And down I go
Are you
again.
down again? Is it -1?
Yep.
Alright,
How far,
He's
where was
unconscious.
Frank in relation?
Come over.
You're okay, you're still dragging, even
Where's
though
Frank?
you're
You're
oblivious.
throwing
You're
left.
just-
Actually,
Yeah.
How far was Frank in relation?
Roll me anymore.
Jim, you can eat whatever.
Stop.
So Frank,
I think he tipped.
No, he's got some of the initials.
You can do what?
Okay, well, how far was Narf,
That's
Frank?
pretty doubtful.
Okay,
in
y'all,
relation to-
That's pretty doubtful.
well, like I said, he's
First
out on
step
the
to find
roadway,
where
he's a
I
good
put
3
it.
minutes out from riding a horse.
Frank, I'm talking about
I
Frank.
keep
He was
it
3
in
minutes
Canuck
out, the big
jar,
horses
Jim.
rode over him trying to come to
Jim, it's in
the
Canuck
cave.
jar.
There we go.
The big horses rode right over him, so they're almost on you guys, and he's about to spell.
Will you
I just wanna see if
please,
you
can you
got it.
answer my question, please? How far is Frank away from me?
About a 3-minute trot on a horse.
He's a neg one.
yeah, you were back
He's at
in the
a negative one.
cave,
You were at
I
the
was
cave
out there
entrance. He was out of
messing
the
with them
distance.
and all that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I have to do it relative to your size. He's not very far for the big guy. but for you-
I'm not arguing about it, I just wanted to know.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Thank you.
He's nobody's controlling him at the moment. He's just wandering, I guess, aimlessly.
No, I have to.
And you're doing what?
I have to
You're doing
visit
the
my
web.
friend,
You're
don't
doing
I?
the web.
You come with me,
And I can tell
You're
you
doing the web on.
along the way, since one of my legs is screwed up, almost as bad as
Well,
Tim's
I'd
leg,
like to hit it.
then I'm leaning on you to help me on that side. Unfortunately, you don't go very fast, so,
It's got the same multiple.
oh no, I just dropped.
Okay, so that's
That's a good point.
Same size. I don't affect the web.
I'm at neck 1,
It's
clear
half an
down.
inch per
I need
level.
to eat your brain.
Hey, I'm running,
My
I'm.
brain?
No, 25
You're the only
yards.
brains in reach.
You're the only brain to reach.
Real life, no.
But real life, you
That
don't throw it.
specializes on.
You are,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Look, I am riding as fast as I can towards Frank's character so I get with that spell ring.
you see, I'm about to be attacked by a zombie musician.
Yeah.
I shoot an arrow at it
Yeah.
as I come forward on my.
Okay.
Right.
He's left over from the Prince band.
You've taken off
Years
riding
ago, yeah.
towards him.
Purple rain is something
Right.
else.
It doesn't appear the horses know you're
Purple
there,
rain
so
and
you're
zombies.
riding wide of the horses. It's not like they've noticed you specifically on their horses.
I don't care who knows.
I
me.
understand.
have a mission.
I understand. You have a mission. I understand.
Good to have a mission.
You're just wandering around gaming.
No, I'm not.
Rest of you guys
But
can
you
cave
know,
headed
it's
back.
complicated.
Are y'all headed back or something? Looking back.
If it appears no one is left,
Right.
Well, he's throwing a spell, and if you're, because you guys are at the cave entrance, a web just covers the whole entrance to the spell, the whole entrance to this 120-foot cave over a period of time.
Does that put Frank on the other side of it?
And you, because you're on the other side of it too, you ran out to go after him, so you two on the other side of the web, as is his crawling body.
I didn't try to time it that way.
Yeah, you jumped when he cast the
If I
spell.
had had nuclear bomb, I would blow this over.
Okay, and the guys come to an abrupt stop, the horses come to an abrupt stop, the horses hair, jump up. It's
Tell me when I get within range, either letting loose
It's
with an
wet.
arrow at Mr. Zombie Man, Purple Rain, or throwing a spell at him.
No, of course, it's still small.
Huh?
It's the range of.
Well, I'm out there, so I'm on the other side of the web and I'm touched.
Yeah, you're down. He's right now too.
Oh,
He's
okay,
got he'll be there in under a minute. Okay, so
I'm
you're right.
shooting at him as I come up.
You're right. Well, he's running aimlessly. He's not necessarily attacking anymore. He's not aimless animated.
No, he's not. He's trying to
I'm in
use
a
his
all-out
brain.
charge to get
He
this.
said at least 3 times he's trying to eat my brains.
Okay, he doesn't control me anymore. So
I know.
it's natural for me to eat Frank's
Well, this is how you make zombies. You cast an animate dead. What are you, half elf?
Yes.
Okay, a dead half elf.
No, he wants to eat your spleen.
It wouldn't work if you were full elf.
Well, anyway, you get there within a round. So if you want to cast a spell and he's dead, where you're in
I
neg
haven't
1,
touched, I
you're in
have to
neg
clear
2.
him.
Okay, he's in neg 2.
You
You want to touch him? Person.
He
It
can't.
only took 1 minute?
Alright, cave, this cave
do
needs to
around.
be destroyed.
So I said, because you're on dead
It's
run.
5 points, and I hand him a potion as well as I turn the deal
Oh,
over
here
to
is done.
Okay, so since he's
So
touching
no
Frank,
synagogue, so
I'm going to try to
so
eat.
I come up to +3.
Yeah.
FYI.
Try to eat Rob's Frank.
I handed you a
I
potion.
got a 14.
But you're not close enough.
Oh, no, he was right.
You're moving. You're moving on.
No,
That's what he said.
I made it very clear. I was trying to eat Frank's brain.
Frank was using it as a device on your.
He was right there.
I turn on Mr. Zombie.
How much is it?
Oh, that's right, innovate that you don't have that much free will.
I don't let you have free will.
Oh, 1 day gold pieces?
You're just aimlessly,
You'll carry your one.
Walking around, gnashing your teeth.
you're looking for the nearest graveyard.
I
You heard?
understand.
No.
I
I'm dealing with Zombie Man.
Okay, so
Alright.
Zombie Man's just aimlessly wandering at the moment.
He's
I thought you said he was eating.
You
No,
want that to do?
I won't
didn't
let
get
you
you done,
control
so
those
let people
zombies.
do that.
I don't let you
Well,
control
now
the
that you're
zombies.
back up, is he still?
I woke up.
Yeah, you're unconscious.
So
So
I
you
don't
can
think
command
you'd
you.
let me. No, it doesn't matter. Doug, do you think you can control me now that he's awake?
Yes.
You
He didn't
can.
die. He didn't
Okay,
die.
great. Could you order me to eat Rob's brain?
I just say wait.
So, Rob, when you turn around, you'll
I
notice,
guarantee it's too much for you.
you'll notice that the riders are off the horses now because the whole cave entrance is covered in a web, and the guys are dismounting, lighting torches to try to burn the web. That looks like what they're about to do next.
Oh, good.
I don't think
I
I'll
help
do
him.
the inside.
I turn around, light some oil and throw it on it as they're near it.
Well, you're not back to it yet, but. yeah.
Well, how
You're on
far
your
away
way.
am I? See, what
Three
happens with
minutes.
the map
On a
situation,
dead
I want you to
run,
describe
on
to
a
me.
dead run, you're about a minute away on your horse. On a dead run, you're about a minute away on your horse. That's how you got there in 1 minute.
So I was 3 minutes away.
On a trot. 3 minutes on a trot, dead run, 1 minute, okay? Because they were just trotting down towards the town, that's why they were 3 to 10 minutes. All right, so you can ride back if you want on a hard run by yourself to get there, but you can see the big guys on the big horses are getting off.
How's Frank doing?
Frank's okay, I mean, he's limping along because he's got a
Can I
bad leg.
cast? No,
You got a
I
horse?
started moving.
Oh, you're not moving, yeah, you can cast if you like.
Have you got a horse?
Pure light,
That's
but
No, he does
Frank's
not,
horse.
he does not have,
pure light
I mean,
itself got 7.
okay. He's healing himself, what are you doing on the other side?
I'm waiting to see if they're successful and trying to see if these two are gonna get back through the other side and figure out a way to
It
get them
answers
through
the
and
initial
try
one.
what's
It's
on
good
it.
enough.
Okay.
Frank backwards. Okay, all we gotta do is add K.
Where are you guys doing, hanging outside the cave watching?
There's no point us riding off yet, so I'll dismount, get out my short bow and start plinking little arrows into the legs of the giant.
No, it ran off or died or something.
You can roll for that.
What, through the web? You're doing
Yeah,
this
through the web, he's trying to shoot between the.
Besides, I have my zombies to run.
I mean, you gotta remember, now the web's full size, so the distance between the
We'll stay down here out of the way from all the
Well, I would
people.
say it's stuck in the web.
No, I just cast a spell to cure myself.
Remember, there's a web in the ray,
Yeah.
and so you can fire.
But you two afraid to argue and agree inside the web.
So you can
Until the group decides to leave.
anything over a 10 misses the web, can go through the strands. So
Okay.
any of those can possibly hit, but the only ones that are gonna hit the guys are gonna be anything over like a 15, so.
What size am I in relation?
You can if you like, so you know how many.
A dozen times.
What size am I in relation to the people attempting to get through the web?
You're about a foot tall, they're 6 feet tall. They're about 6 times your size right here at the entrance.
All right.
One of their fetlocks?
That's good.
What?
One of the horse's fetlocks?
Okay, so what y'all see is you see him charging on his horse at one of these guys, you know, shins or whatever from behind. Because they're facing, they're off their horses, they dismounted, their horses reared up, a couple of them fell off.
hit from behind.
A couple of them, no, they're
Wait a
facing.
minute, I just asked him how big it was, and he says I was a foot taller.
You're about what I'm saying is you're about a foot tall, they're 6 feet tall.
Oh.
There's about a six times
No,
difference.
Pass
At the
as
end.
soon as I can.
Okay.
Achilles tendon, my friend.
Yeah,
Not
you're-
the Achilles.
You're right down here
You're
in the
right
leg.
Boy, that
You guys on the other
fork
side
will be
see
handy right
Rob coming
It
back
doesn't matter, I'm charging.
on his, and there's the web there. He's shooting his little arrows through the web.
I hit 3 times, one was a 19.
Okay.
That's worth anything.
Okay, roll for, it's not gonna be a lot of damage because they're not very big arrows, but roll.
What do I get? D6?
Because
Spit on
if
before
it's
you
enough
shoot him.
damage, you might distract the guy to figure out what the heck to stab.
You roll
him.
normal damage and then divide by 6 to find the real.
Just roll
Is that a
yeah.
D6 each arrow?
Yes.
That's the base.
A 4, a 2, and a 1.
Okay, so you get what, 7? Yeah, so when it hits him, I mean, the guy, because it's a 19, hits him in the leg and it's like a prick. He stops to, you know, pull whatever's out of his leg.
1.17
Yeah,
points
he's
of
like,
damage
what the
from
heck?
all 3.
Yeah, so he's stopping to do the prick. You're attacking the guy?
No, I'm taking a specific point on his
Yeah,
body.
dice off
That's
at
pretty
0.7,
good.
I went to
So what are you attacking?
I'm attacking his Achilles tendon.
Okay, through his leather boots. All right.
Okay,
I didn't know
whatever.
you were Greek.
Once he had probably something sharp.
Yeah, yeah, and well, you gotta remember,
You know where
he's
your-
fighting
where
with a
your-
sword that's, you know, if he's a foot tall, his sword's, you know, this long, and he's trying to strike through the hard leather boot. It's a lot thicker, so he'd have to do a pierce, probably more effective than a slash.
Either way,
Just
a
give me
hit's a
a-
hit.
Yeah, so roll, we'll see what
I
happens.
wouldn't think so, I just rather at this. A chop would be much more effective against.
Not with a 1 inch
Okay,
tall.
quit the end, guys.
Oh, sorry,
Sorry.
Much more powerful. Punching through that?
Transition.
I don't know, I would think punch would work through.
These are
1
Okay,
inch
we're
versus.
in
Because you gotta
DM.
remember, the leather's about 6 times as thick as it normally would be against your 6 times smaller sword.
Try to tell that to a pixie, is it does the same amount of damage.
Well, they're magic.
But they're magic.
You're not.
I'm elf.
Casting.
You're not magic like a pixie is.
Okay,
It's all like
13.
a silence.
13.
Silence just didn't.
On the head of one of these 30-foot tall.
You get a plus 1 for
Good
being
move,
an
because
elf.
one was about to cast. He casts, well, the next thing you know, the whole area goes silent. I mean, like, you don't hear anything anymore, no combat, you don't hear your breath, you don't hear the horses.
Even all the way up to where the cave is?
Yes, yeah, he just cast it that
Okay,
direction on one of the
the
guys.
attack
I'm
was.
gonna run up to Sustare so they can hear something.
Yeah, the whole area just went silent. You gotta,
I'm running down the
Okay.
other way till I get.
yeah, you're gonna have to ride up about, I don't know, 90 feet, something
I
like
need
that.
to do that. I need
And
to
I can
cast-
pretty quickly.
What I realized is, I'm
You have to ride up about,
gesturing at
well,
least,
6
trying to
times
get
that, you're
people
gonna have
back
to
to
ride up
the
about
cave.
180 feet, basically,
Yeah,
or half that
13-foot
distance.
radius, so that's 30 diameter times 6.
Oh, so it's 15 times 6.
diameter here.
Yeah, so you have to ride about 90 feet to get outside the area.
I'm gonna do that.
Like,
Now I know what
90
to
feet
do by
for you.
too many chiefs and not enough Indies.
Alright, so you strike the guy, what'd you roll, Rob?
16.
Okay, it's 16, roll for damage.
So he was casting a spell.
Yeah, I was about to in the next round.
Was this being considered a large target?
I think there's no doubt there.
I would say that's a large target, sure.
It's a giant target.
11 points of damage to his
She's doing a
Achilles
fine
tendon.
job.
Okay, well, he'll actually take about 1/6.
Yes,
Take
yes,
2
you're
points,
right.
but you caught his attention, because again, you just stabbed something.
What do you mean, attention? I put it all on his Achilles tendon.
What, 2 points of damage in his Achilles tendon, 2 points for him. Maybe
Well,
12.
how much does he take?
Well, he stops, obviously, to turn out what it is, he's already reached down.
Ow.
He's not even running.
Now he sees
He
you.
went, wow, he went out to see what that was.
You stabbed him in the foot, you took 2 points of damage. Well, chopped him in the Achilles, but you took
Oil
2 points of
slave,
damage.
wait here
If you've been running on a horse and trying to
no,
beat
wait,
somebody,
clear.
you're gonna lose all your momentum.
He's
Yes,
turning
master.
around to
Okay,
get
here, help
Robert's
me
got
out.
his
So
foot,
happy
right?
joyfully.
And now he has
You
you
can't
have
talk.
his attention,
Shut up.
because he sees you on the horse riding around his feet there, obviously.
I can mouth.
Well, I hope he does, because he's got him.
But now it's so totally silent in all directions,
Can you make bleeding noises?
I can.
and you're
I
riding
can
back.
trumpet, but I can't breathe into it.
I'm standing at the cave
Oh,
entrance
wow.
trying to draw
Here,
people
give me the trumpet.
to the cave.
Okay.
I'm trying to get
The
people.
guy's got a torch lit, and he's like,
Yeah,
torch.
where are
He's
they on the
trying
other
to get out,
side
give him
and
a copy.
releasing these other people? Because I'm gonna stick the wand through and I'm gonna shot somebody
Wait,
with
I'm
it.
not sticking to what I said, you know.
Yeah,
it's
but
fine
I
now.
blast radius.
Oh, the blast radius, okay, well, he's not gonna be in the, he'll be at the edge of the blast radius. He's right in it because it's the
Out
foot
and
of
works,
people.
jumping
He's
up
that
I
way.
know, I
Yeah.
can't use shit because I can't use lightning, because I can't talk, I can't use fireball because he's too close, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, he's in the fireball range, he's right at the edge of the range.
I was just hoping that they'd go,
Oh,
oh, it's
yeah, there
natural
is something I
science,
can
let's
do.
run away.
Higher area.
White spell or phantasm or anything.
Why
Yeah, he's got cast silence, so you can't use anything that takes a spell with
What
that.
the hell do you cast silence for?
Well, one of them looked like a magic user, so he was trying to shut him
Yeah,
up.
I was
Now
locked in the
spells,
building.
I'm trying to find something that'll scare them away.
Well,
And I
the
was
fireball
hoping they'd go,
doesn't
ooh,
scare 'em,
magic
I don't know.
release silent, let's run away. You know, something like that.
Anywhere, no, I
Yeah,
can't.
well,
It's the last blow in my quiver.
Yeah.
And the web's starting to catch on fire. This guy here's trying to turn around and swat at you now with his short sword, because he sees that you're down
Oh,
there.
he drops his own friggin' leg. That's a pretty close attack.
That's
I'm
possible.
right down by his
That's
leg.
possible, yeah.
What, are you ever aware of the attacker yet applies?
Is that way prayer works?
No, it's allies.
It's
But if
only
I
allies,
decide
right.
that I don't like it,
Said that.
Oh, nasty. I like it. It's nasty. Ooh.
Idiots. Total idiots here.
You don't shut up, I'm gonna nail you with a burning hands
I
right
don't
through the
really
web.
give a shit. I drink a flying potion.
Okay, he's drinking a flying potion. All right, I like that.
Okay, good. Get
All right, he's.
You were the doofus who was supposed to fry him to begin with. Don't talk to me about it.
I've never
I
been
can't
so
throw
far.
fire when you're
The
in
guy swinging at you, he clips you with part of his sword, you take 6 points of damage.
Alright?
not too bad.
Now, while he was drinking the potion, it caught you off guard. You got hit while you were drinking the potion. But only 6 points of damage. But now you're in a fight with this guy because he knows you're there.
Yeah, I'm flying around him.
You'll be flying around. This next round, you'll be flying around.
Like
Okay,
a
what are you still
picture.
doing? What are you still
And
doing?
I'm aiming for his eye next time. Right?
I can't do anything right now. I
There's
can't, I
AD&D
can't
rules
use
for that,
this
right?
magic.
Well, make it up, Jim. Or did you go too far into the deep
I can't use one as long as they're
You're out
outside.
there, Erol, but now the web is on fire. You feel the heat. You have to back off a little bit. The web's burning. The guy's on the other side. You see one dude swatting at him with a sword. The other dude, you had shot with the arrows, now back, looking for who shot him through the thing, but he's waiting for the fire to burn down.
So now
And
is
one
it-
of them's kind of confused. That's the one that actually
Now
paid
is
more
that
attention.
guy's
Looks
back
more like
to the
this
tunnel
one.
entrance?
Huh?
Now is that guy's back to the tunnel entrance?
No, none of them are to the back. Oh, the one with the back to tunnel entrance would probably be the one fighting him.
Which is the same one I shot arrows at you.
No, that's a different one. Yeah, it's a different one.
And then this cute little zombie is helping this wizard come up the path.
can't talk about
and
it.
the
No, they
zombie-
said we were waiting
Oh, dang it,
until that foofara with the flaming web and all
All right, I'm
that.
sorry. At
There's
this point-
30-foot tall giants up there. We are gonna wait here until the area clears.
Are the webs on fire?
The webs are burning. Webs are burning.
Cards, we should spend some time
I'm
playing
gonna lose a
Pinocchio.
horse.
I got 5 decks behind the thing.
No.
I have 5
While
decks.
we're waiting for the flaming web to clear.
Yeah, really.
You're gonna attack the guy?
Yeah, I'm aiming for his eye.
Okay, roll me some 20 die there.
I wonder, I have some marbles.
Call
Do we
shot,
marbles?
roll an act 20.
I'm sure I can.
Here, swallow this.
Happily. Just 3 drops I could
I'm
swallow.
aiming for his eye.
323?
Yeah.
Now, let's see, if I remember what
That's
your
a
name
natural
used to
20.
be in life, I'll take some.
I was
notes
aiming
and
for
draw
his
that on
fucking
your
eye.
chest.
Called shot hits with an act 20.
Yeah, I
Hi,
understand
my
that.
name is
Roll your dice,
Jim,
your damage.
or is it drawage?
No, it's Jim.
Okay.
4 points.
I have been.
4
and
points
always
with your,
shall be
Yeah.
what kind of weapon is it?
Your master!
Yeah, there we go.
Scimitar.
It's a scimitar. Okay, it's out here, it's a scimitar.
So good
All right.
for you.
Roll me a 20 die. And what's your strength?
12. 10.
Okay, you stabbed him in the eye with a scimitar, but you lost the grip on it, it's sticking out of his eye, and now he's doing this number.
Okay, I grab my dagger.
Okay, so you see this on the other side, the guy he's fighting is now, got some stuck in his eye, he doesn't have a weapon anymore, he's flying.
I don't have my main weapon.
The webs are starting to, hang from fire and everything else, but it's still totally silent, you don't hear a thing. The guy looks like he's screaming, because he cast silence earlier, so you're all within this area of silence, so you don't hear any loud at all, it's
So-
totally silent.
So.
It's like watching an animated black.
I don't think there's any point trying to
contribute to this ridiculous mess. The giant guys. So I look back over my shoulder at the orc,
contributed
and
before.
I look you a look, orc, which is like,
You're getting a look.
Hey, Tim,
Yeah, you can't talk because it's
you didn't
quiet.
want to.
I hear it, he says, what do you think?
He has to go far.
not knowing how far the noticing the dwarf mage's mounting frustration.
Yeah.
It's like,
I tried to calculate.
It's like,
It doesn't.
Get on the other side of the
It's
goddamn
90-foot radius.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
usually on the
But
other
only
side.
on this end of the thing. If
Right.
you start enlarging, it'll strike from 90 down.
I
Yeah,
motioned
I
to
know,
you.
but when you're too right there, I don't.
He's
care what
worried
it's
about
Having seen the dwarf mage's mounting frustration and getting the go-ahead from the orc and the other dwarf, and not knowing what the blast radius is of a fireball if he decides to just start cutting loose with them, you're just gonna ride.
Okay,
We're ride as fast as we can, back up the tunnel, back to the real size world.
To the real world. Okay, so now we're heading to the real world. You can hear people coming
I'm
behind
waiting
you.
until things calm down there.
Until you get down,
Hey,
I
I'm,
can't finish it.
I'm looking, and I'm flying. I'm looking for an
Why would you see me
opportunity
just
to get
stick
through some space here
But
that's
through the
being
burning
opened up by
web,
the building.
Yeah, I was-
You
got that space, you gotta be careful getting through the hard grass, because there's beds on fire, but you
I
get,
leave the scimitar sticking to the guy's eye.
fly through. Okay, you're flying through.
I whistle for my horse, follow if I can.
It's silent, keep breathing, because you're being crazy.
That's right, I'm in silence.
Okay, what are you still standing near there?
I'm backed up about 40 yards behind the gate as it starts to the metal webs start to melt.
Okay, so you're backing out of this, you're backing out of the silence.
I'm out of silence.
Well, 90 foot will put you out of the silence.
I gotta go a whole 90. All right, 95.
Well, you said 40 yards, that's what I'm saying, so 30 yards is 90 feet.
All right, I'll go 30 yards there when I fill the silence.
Tell us which one to roll, and they're getting excited to get rolled.
Okay, you'll see him flying through, he's already coming through the tunnel web, so he's halfway back to the room, he's heading that direction. Frank's still back on the other side.
Well, understand, we're keeping an eye on the gate,
Yeah,
right?
I got you.
Waiting to see a signal or if something.
And I've been doing this the whole time.
Yeah, you can't
Get in here.
The one guy's dealing with the eye,
Right.
okay? You've got one dude that swung but missed him on the way through with the torch, swinging at him flying by. You didn't even know it, and behind it, swinging and the torch comes by. And the one that you cast the silence on has, he doesn't, since you cast it on the guy, he doesn't know it's on him, he thinks it's in the area. He's backing away from the cave himself towards your direction, which now.
While I'm watching all this, I roll another pure light on myself.
Okay, he's now back into the direction, so now you fall within the silence, but you realize that as you're moving back, you only get about 20 yards back, and all of a sudden you're no longer in silence anymore. So it's because the guy has the silence on him, it's moving with him, away from him. He's trying to get out of the silence spell himself, but he's the magic user that has it on him, he put it on his head, so.
All right, can I see this other guy who's walking?
Yeah, you can see him backing up, you don't know that he's the man, well, he looks like a magic, if you pay close
I figure
attention.
even if he makes the save and
Well, I got
move
a
out,
special
he'll be moving out.
Okay, not a problem, you guys are right now, okay. Actually, we got about 10 minutes, and we'll stop.
I've got one,
Okay, so what are y'all doing this turn? You're still flying back into, you'll notice it's no longer silent anymore, you're not here again, and he's out below you down there messing with spells. If you turn around, you see two guys in the entrance, one guy's still jacking with the fire, and the other dude's still getting the rest of the web out of the way, about to step through. The other dude's walking off. There's one dude behind him, he's pulling the sword and getting his shield, he's ready to come through behind the guy with the torch.
Here, carry my bird and the bird.
Yes, of course, I'd love to.
I'm flying.
Actually, it probably died somewhere in all the food for
Like them, the rest of them, okay, because that's where they're headed out. They're headed out town.
All right, matter what they're doing, I'm going
What do you
down.
want to do?
Okay.
is the, what's going on at the cave entrance.
So that's what I was explaining. At the cave entrance, you saw the magic user guy go back a little ways, he's trying to get out of the silence because it's no funny. The one dude with the torch is just kind of like burning the rest of him.
All right, well, what about the shopping expedition here?
Those guys are still back there behind. They're on the ground back there behind the.
Well, until I either kill them while I kill the rest of them, or I wait for them to come through and then try to kill the rest of them.
Okay, well basically,
By the way.
two are trying to come through. One of them's about to step through. One's behind that sword. The other dude's still dealing with the pain in the eye.
Well, the guy that steps through
I go back to
gets a
town.
lightning bolt right square in the chest. And probably good chances of getting lightning as well.
Every time before you get back.
First guy catches the lightning bolt right in the chest.
Try to draw them away.
The second guy catches it off of his left shoulder, like right here.
Okay, well, it's still gonna screw him
Yeah,
up.
he's damage.
What do we want?
Your lightning bolt.
So it's like a
The
That's 5d6.
That's what I'm telling you.
Alright, the first one I caught in the chest,
Yeah.
7, 9, 1, 13 points.
Okay, you catch the guy in the chest, and I mean, you know, like you leave a hole in him. You see the stunned look on his face as he falls to the ground, and of course the torch hits the ground right up there inside. The other guy catches his shoulder right here.
So, oh, he gets.
Yeah.
What, he hit him when they put a hole in him?
Lightning bolt.
I blew a hole in his chest with a lightning bolt. 4, 8, 6, 14, 17 points.
No, the guy you catch in the shoulder like almost blows his arm off. Not in there. It's all in the
Now
shoulder.
we're talking.
It's all in the shoulder. You're not hearing anything, but you see all of a sudden a hole clear through a guy fall to the ground, dude's arm flinging off the side.
Well,
You can see Rob clearing out. The one dude's still dealing with his eye, and the magic user's right near you stepping around. He doesn't know you're there still. He's still trying to get out of his cone of mouth.
Now, when I get done doing that, I start preparing another spell.
Do what?
I'm preparing another spell.
And they're moving towards you. You can see them moving towards you about half speed because they're still hurt.
That's good. That's good. And I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for him.
Alright,
I'm
so
waiting for him.
Fireball.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna let you get through the door and let it with my other web spell.
You brought a double.
Yes, I did. I always bring 2 webs.
Okay.
I never
Make
bring
sure
this one.
everything burned out first, otherwise you.
Yeah, I did. I'll do it the smart way.
Basically, I mean, at that point, you can escape. You're all in a mess back at the end. So you get back to the king with some, you get back to the king to report your findings. Okay, you can report the fact.
Scary, but.
We will make sure to report to the king our deepest apologies at the accidental deaths of some villagers.
That's not his kingdom.
Who unwittingly attacked us when we were.
Well, you know, if you actually kill him, as soon as he gets reports, any dead villagers, he'll put that with it right now. But basically, the king.
We fessed up.
Yeah, you tell the king what you discovered, you go through this thing and see the shrinkage as best you can tell. Everybody on the side still seems to be large, so I'm not sure how that works. But there's something, so that gives more information to the mage. As time progresses down the road, what you end up discovering was the people on there, that is the bandits in the village. Those are the bandits you were fighting, okay? The thing is what happens is they all wear a special brooch that when the one was killed was taken by his compadres, that keeps them from shrinking. So when they come through, they always maintain the same size. Correct. So you all shrink, so that's why on their side, the hole seems to be 150 feet, but it's still 20 foot at both ends. So they can ride through it all day long, and they never shrink when they come through, but anybody follows them, they shrink. Yep, the horses have it on their harnesses. Everybody's protected, they all wear it's a little brooch. And if you had found a brooch, if you'd gone the other route, you got teleported in, what happens, you've been teleported in, you'd actually wound up in a closet. You'd have been like, been in a hanging sack, or in a damp leather, you'd have been in somebody's shoe or in a pocket. You'd have to find your way. Correct, you teleport in tiny because everything in this valley is tiny. If it doesn't have the brooch, okay, it's magic. And anything that wasn't part of the magic is all tiny. So if you've been teleported in, you'd been tiny, thinking you'd landed in the world of giants and had to find your way out. But had you been a little more sneaky, being that small, you might have had to deal with a house cat, and maybe the mouse on the wall. But you might have noticed that everybody was wearing the same brooch because you might have done it in daylight, and then you would have known, ooh, if we can get a brooch, we could be here the same size as everybody else, and we could pull the brooches off and go down the sides. That's the way it works.
But if we told her to go through this,
There's no way to get around. You have to get the whole valley. But once you were in the valley, you would have shrunk as soon as you got in the valley. The tunnel's just that one piece of way out. Once you got in the valley, you shrunk.
Right now, it's really strange.
Yeah, it's all right.
That was 10 days.
But see the way, so the way I play Magic always stays the same size in its relative terms. So it could, just like when no one casts a fireball and an ogre, they're both the same size fireball when they hit. So the same thing happens when you strike the small, your fireball still is the same size. and the same range as if you were human size.
Now,
So
it's
the magic
nuclear,
never
not
shrinks.
nuclear winter.
It's nuclear winter for you, so you gotta be careful, because what I was worried, if you teleported in, you thought you were small, and you didn't know how magic works, and you decided to shoot a fireball at the house, you'd fry yourself. You know, it would just go
I
there.
think if you cover that magic to start a point where we can probably fix this, you know, world. I want him to get it.
I said we should have sacked the damn king's town.
I said that at the beginning.
Yeah, Knights of the Dinner Table.
Don't worry, I will not.
Just kill everybody. How many enemies?
Yeah.
Hope you had fun, Jillian.
That worst part is psionic discipline reduction.
Yeah.
And I've used this, I've done a similar scenario.
I'm good with that.
The bad guys are from Monster Manual 2, but they go
I never read
at you and they trick you while you're walking.
Here, a lot of right. After that, people land giants. So I, because something you don't know Jack or something like that. So Jack being Jack the Beanstalk, that's why I titled it "You Don't Know Jack." You know, that's the whole point of the title. You don't know Jack. That's,
Think about that.
yeah. You don't know Jack because Jack and the Beanstalk, you're the whole giants. And hopefully it was misleading enough to make you think you were going to land a giant. Sure you weren't.
Right?
That was how it was. I
Well, so it starts at 7. So my schedule for 7. I'm not running at 6 o'clock.
You're running 7. You understand? Anybody running at this table is running
He's telling me
7.
it's 6. I'm trying to hurry you.
It's 7. Your games are 7 o'clock, right? You and Tim.
Better not do that, Joe.
Well, no, we actually sit there and say that whenever we're
Thank you.